Oh man, I'm so tired, dude. I'm trying to join me in Genji fan heaven. Is this such a thing, dude? I feel like every time I believed in Genji, it's always been a rough ending. This is the year.
Welcome everyone to Worlds 2025 in a beautiful Mercedes-Benz Arena as Top Esports is taking on G2 Esports in our third quarter final. What a matchup we have.
Okay.
Look relaxed, boys. You need to be relaxed. You need to be locked in. You need to be ready to do this, and perhaps Caps is feeling that way indeed. My name is Shox, and I'm
I don't know, man. I want to believe in Genji so bad. G2 as well, but
listen, it feels like this is one of the first quarterfinals where I feel it could go either way, and I don't have that much certainty about what the script might be.
I mean, I thought that yesterday, to be perfectly honest. I thought it would be a little bit closer, but coming in G2 versus Top Esports, I could not be more excited.
You really can get away with every single prediction you can think of in this series, because there is evidence either towards some of the mental today versus some of the gameplay we've seen thus far. It's going to be a banger.
It's going to be a good one.
I'm so excited. And I'm even more excited about the fact that we're celebrating 15 years of Worlds, and Riot is posting a bracket of all the most memorable moments. And the next round we have Uzi's Vayne Flank versus Huni's Quadra Kill.
Yeah, with audio went weird again. I told
the Stanya Knights have been used very early. Uzi is coming in from the back.
Do you want top? Yeah.
Kill for White.
It might be top win.
This one. They focus down Uzi, but look at him. He's still alive. He's still surviving.
But G2, I don't know. Yes, I mean, because like yesterday, I thought the matches would be a lot better, right?
You're gonna see the work for Ganks right now as Rainover comes across to the
But the fact that yesterday's matches were kind of like one-sided kind of makes me think today might be one-sided too. G2 loses?
On Nikita's keep alive. Reckless tries to zone the team out. This Annie's so low, but there come the teleports. Huni has arrived, and holy crap! Everyone's dying in this fight. Reckless goes down. Zatai gets a bunch back, but Huni, the double, the triple kill, the quadra kill.
I should advance the Uni Quadra Kill just because of the cast, honestly. But I think it lost to Uzi's Vayne Flank in this bracket.
I can't believe they did my boy Huni like that.
I can't believe they did my boy Freak like that.
I'm really glad they did Uzi like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think still Faker's Azir Shuffle versus the Varus Flash at a ruler. It's written in the stars, so we'll see as the Legacies of the Rift will update throughout the tournament. But let's talk about our matchup today, and let's first
I did not sleep.
Talk about the fact
that
we have a knockout
don't show me the bracket.
For the first time in 5 years with G2 in it.
It's so insane! The boys are back! It's been a long out drought for the LEC, but finally we have made it back to the playoff stage.
Finally, the West is back.
No.
We are here once again. So excited to cheer for my Western team.
G2 did. You know what? I'll take it because you're on my desk today. There we go. But let's kick it over also to G2's Romain, who's standing by with
Dude, how sad would it be if G2 also loses?
Romain, thank you for joining me ahead of today's game. How did you guys get ready for today and for the week? And also tell me about the draw reaction, because from what I understood, TES and you guys were happy to draw each other?
100%. I think G2 was really happy to draw TES.
Why your stream pops up with 13 viewers already? Stop with the
so far, so we are chilling on our side of the bracket.
Dude, if I was going to bot, why the fuck would I do 13
viewers?
viewers?
Has mostly been focused on chilling, actually, because I really believe Worlds is about not cheating, because at the end of the year for a lot of teams, and then things can get a bit tricky. You get sick, you get mad at one another and stuff. So most of our focus has been to chill.
You guys have a broke ass.
All right, talking about what you guys have been able to achieve, G2 is at its best when, of course, all the players are connected and clicking together, which implies that Skumon and
dude, I was crying last night. I was so sad.
How do you make sure as a manager, and especially with the coaching staff, that this happens today?
At least Worlds is fast, so I don't have to like linger about it very much longer, you know?
Build up this connection, and it's been a 9-month process, so I think it's ready. We're gonna see today.
Any advice you give your players before stepping onto the stage? Because making it to quarterfinals, we broke the curse, that's good, but it doesn't end here.
Of course not. The end is in 11 days, I think. Whatever
Yeah,
happens,
but like it's only
either
one
we
more
make it
week
or
of
not.
like just
The
pain and
focus is on
suffering,
having
right?
fun right now. That's the furthest this
We
team
try
has
to
ever
stream the
been
Master Cup,
for the
Kespa
last
Cup.
4 years. So every step of the journey
I
is
don't
an
know.
adventure.
I don't know
Let's
what
be
I'm gonna
grateful
do
about
actually.
it and enjoy it.
All right. I hope both teams have fun a bit more for you, though. Merci
down.
beaucoup. Thank you so much.
course.
Shocks, over to you.
I agree. I think one team should have a little more fun than the other. Well, talking
Like, I
to
don't have any
Romani also
plans
says
or,
to
like,
focus on kind
games
of
I wanna
making sure you can
stream.
play the whole year out and that it is an adventure.
I mean, there's like
because we gotta
story-based
remember
games, but
they
that's
are
about
standing in
it.
the quarterfinals. But a player like Skewmont, right? He had 1 year from home, then 1 year in a gaming house, and now he's at the World Championship. I even heard that because of the schedules, they all had to get their rings already sized just in case every single
Let's
team.
co-stream
And I
those
think that
cups.
is very probably overwhelming.
I
and
mean,
a
like,
big
if there's
moment
things
for
to
that jungler.
co-stream, I'll
And
co-stream.
It really is, I think,
The thing is,
telling
like,
as well
I don't
that
know
they've
what
made
there
it, because
is to
I
co-stream.
was coming into MSI obviously very curious to see what GT was going to be able to do, and I think for me, both Skewmont
Like,
and
Kespa
LeBron at
Cup's
that
in
tournament
December,
really weren't
dude.
able to bring the level that
That's
we've seen
all
and
of
kind have
November
come
with
to
nothing.
expect of any G2 member. And thus far, the fact that they made it to quarters alone is a big sign that things are looking on the up and up.
And they were the two that needed to step up. G2 changed their roster, got rid of high names in the league
Yeah,
like
there's
Yike
just
and
really
Mickey
nothing
to make
going
this
on.
change and hope that it would bring them to the quarterfinals. Now they're here, and that bet is finally starting to pay off. It took them a couple of splits, but I want to show you as we get into this how this team is starting to rally around.
Like, that's why I
this
don't know,
squad.
like-
And we got this clip from the game 1 versus MCOY here at Worlds, and I want you to watch how this team sets up this play to enable Skewmont for this invade. So initially, Caps gets that ward down in the jungle, but I want you to
This
keep
is
your
in
eyes on them,
December.
how they follow up on this. So immediately, Lebrov is going to start to shift over towards this mid lane and burn the flash on Jojo as they start to move forward throughout this. And what this is going to enable then is to have more pressure on this mid lane, so
Take
Caps
a
can
break,
continue
stream
this
Yakuza
push.
shit if you
After
want
that,
to.
we get this invade that comes through. Lebrov
Oh, no,
is going to shift
it's either
from here
stream
down into the
Yakuza
bottom side,
or
and they're going to start to set up a bunch
find
of
some- I mean,
vision
stream
in these
variety
bushes
games or
as
just
they
do
start to move
nothing.
through. And then after that, once they were able to spot exactly what MCOY is doing, they understand, hang on a second, we can set up these plays. Lebrovs moves down and begins to shove out this wave immediately with Hans Sama and brings Hans Sama along for the ride as they start to meet up with Skewmon and Caps. So now they've got this push out that's going on in the mid lane, they're shoving the bottom side, and they're going to be able to go for the invade in towards this jungle area.
Because you're
And
about
this is where
for the
they're able to make the
LCP
picks, but
authority?
crucially, because Jojo had that flash
LCS
burn earlier,
off-season
Caps
news?
is able to
Where
keep
do we
him
go
out of
for
the play.
LCP
They're able to
PCS
continue
ones?
pushing this forward,
There's
and they're
some
able to move
people
in
that leak
and get
stuff.
this really early skirmish that goes well for them, shuts down the engine of MCOY now,
Like,
and
hang
then
on.
starts to set up Skewmont for success. And this is the vital part of this teamwork, this cohesion that has been working towards the end of the summer, and now we're seeing come together on the world stage.
And I mean, we're going to have to see them playing, at this kind of level with that kind of cohesiveness, because TES is such an insane early game, and that early game is led by Kanavi. To me, he's the best early game jungler in the world. This guy has been insane for the entire year, and at the World Championship,
Yeah,
he's leading.
I don't know.
everyone
I
in
used to
first
just look
blood
at this
percentage.
'cause
He's
people
always finding
compile
creative
it.
gank angles, and
Yeah,
when you
the
pair
PTT
that with a
forum
team that has really dominant
is,
lanes, really
plays.
powerful early game, you can accelerate them to a point where you just don't get to come back. So we need to make sure that Skewmont, is
You won't have
tracking Kanavi.
to stream a
Even if
game
you're not
till,
going to be
like,
as active,
Monday
you
or
have to at
Tuesday.
least be defending your lanes and covering.
Yeah, like Monday, Tuesday. Well, like
Kanavi also describes
Worlds
your favorite jungler's favorite
ending
jungler. He
next
has been
week, right?
named
Sunday.
by Canyon, by Pioshik, by Tarzan as a big inspiration, as someone that's always looking for a new creative angle
So
to push the
it's
meta
like
forward.
basically-
Yeah, it's going to
the
be
whole
very
event's gonna
difficult
end
for
soon.
Skewmon, but this is the things that they are getting ready for. And if it was easy, then it wouldn't be a world championship, right? When we talk about TES as well, this man on your screen here,
I don't have
Jackula,
good enough
who,
sources
of
to
course,
leak
is a world
shit, dude.
champion, and we always equate his name with IG. But Top Esports is actually where he was brought in to get those big results.
Yeah, it's been his home for 5 years now, and he's been brought along. The team has been built around him to try and find the success, and we've seen multiple names go through this organization.
Yeah, that
but
thing,
unfortunately,
that thing.
when it comes towards how they've been able to perform,
But
it
you
hasn't
can
quite
look
been
at
there, but
the
Jackula
sources
has been
of the
spectacular
leaks.
in setting them up for success. We saw his quirky play earlier on this tournament as well, and this is going to be the focal point. If Kanavi can get Jackie Love ahead in these early
Like,
stages,
for example,
he
like
is a
if you look at
man
the
who can
leak,
carry.
Creep Pig
It's true.
is like
he has some special history, of course,
on that
been
on the
from
PTT boards, like
2018
leaking stuff.
with Caps, Azael, and I'm sure that's playing perhaps on both minds. Jackie Love saying, I got
But I
the
mean,
ace on you, and Caps saying,
it
revenge
looks like he's
today.
Yeah,
mostly
absolutely.
accurate.
And I mean, I do think Caps, you know, likewise for G2 is always the cornerstone of their success, right? This guy has been dominating EU, you know, dominating on the international stage for so many years, and he has so much experience. And a lot of the creativity that he can bring to the table, I think, is such a big part of G2's success.
Absolutely, but talking about Jackie Love, we will of course be looking at the bot lane as well. Jackie Love versus Hans Sama in our featured matchup presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Today, in the featured matchup presented by Mercedes-Benz, two elite marksmen meet again. Europe's Hans Sama versus China's Jackie Love. For Hans, this is a chance to prove that G2's creativity and chemistry still shine. After finally escaping the Swiss stage, G2 now face an opponent they've beaten before. A team that still remembers MSI 2024, when Hans and Mickey X dismantled.
I'm surprised Digimon's still
in
big.
pure 2v2 dominance.
Like, to me, Digimon just felt like a worse Pokemon.
But in 2025, the stage has changed. Mickey X and Mako are gone. Lebrov and Hung step in. Can these new duos shift the balance? For Jackie Love, the
CoStream
big
now.
part of Top Esports, this
My
is
bird.
redemption. TES fell 0-3 to T1 last year, haunted by inconsistency. Yet their ceiling has never been higher.
TES is a long list of teams that they have taken down. T1 at Worlds are Titans, and they move on to the semifinals.
Will Hansama's precision keep G2's miracle run alive? Or will Jackie Love reignite TES and claim long-awaited revenge?
Yes, revenge in equal measure for a couple of players on the Rift today, but we got to talk about the elephant in the room, and it is
I think there's something I
TES
wanted to
and
ask.
the results that they haven't been able
forget.
to
I
get.
think I was talking to you about it, but now I don't even remember.
This year, famously MSI 2023 when they did lose to G2, and I think we talk about it a lot, but specifically being a Chinese team playing in a Chinese arena chronicler, it is one of the hardest things to do.
And there's so much that comes together here as well, because for a player like Jackie Love, who's already reached the highest that so many players literally built their entire life towards and still keep the level of performance is insane to me. And when it comes to TS, there's some here where you can go, okay, they lost to the eventual winner, but there's also matches like against G2 where that defense doesn't hold.
Here we see, of course, Rob, also how the international history has gone for G2 and why we were so happy to see them finally qualify for
your eyes go to
Who's talking
2018,
alone?
2019,
Why?
2020, where
I
we
always
made
talk
finals in 2019.
alone.
You
I
look
talk to
towards
myself all the time.
making that semi-finals and those quarterfinals, and finally for Europe, finding ourselves back at this stage. It feels like where, at least for Caps,
I
he
have
feels he
no
belongs.
friends.
And I mean, it's just crazy to realize this is the first time in G2's history they've made quarterfinals.
Dude, I don't know
without
why
Perks,
I'm
Jankos,
like
and
so
Wonder,
tired
all
from
three on their
yesterday,
team.
dude.
It's been a while. It's 5 years since Caps has been back to the quarterfinals, which is crazy because you're so used to him being
Digimon
perennial
movie
finalist or
ending.
semi-finalist.
I think that's also a reason why we've seen that they do cheer for him also here in China. He has a lot of fans because of that run, but for a competitor, that's not enough. You want to keep doing it. And let's see
Dude,
how our fans
I
have
don't
voted
know
today
about
at Mastercard
Digimon,
GG
dude.
on X.
I never
Vote
really
every
gave a
single day
fuck.
if there is a game. And
I had some of the
let's see if they have a little
toys,
bit
but
more
that's
faith
because like
in
the
EU
designs are
brethren.
cool.
Yes,
But
Let's go.
with 65.3%. Love to
I never
see
gave
it.
a
So,
shit about,
let's
like,
get into our predictions. There are so many storylines. There are so many motivations.
I don't know, the
going in
characters,
here.
whatever,
So,
the
Azale, do
games.
you
I don't even know
wanna
if
kick us
there's any
off with,
games.
Sure. I am favoring TES, but that being said, I definitely do think G2 can win. To me, if G2 wins, it's through intelligent drafting, because I've really liked a lot of their drafts when I look against FlyQuest, when I look against BLG. But I do think
How long do you
TES
stay
has
up watching
really
hentai? That's
strong
not too
early
long.
games, and I'm concerned that G2
Like,
won't
see,
be
when
able
you're
to
sad
contain
and
Kanavi,
depressed,
and
you
they're going to
know,
get too far ahead.
have to.
For me, I also am
Keep
going to put
jerking
my
it
trust
till you
in
feel
TES.
better.
If KT can cast off the shackles
I haven't felt
of the
better yet,
curses of
dude.
their past,
Been
this
rough.
time will be different, I'm telling you.
Been
They've
rough.
been working on their mental, and this time they're going to make it to semis.
Nah, it's a new time for G2. I am ready. The last time these two teams faced off in a best of 5, G2 kicked Top Esports to curb 3-0, and I think Top Esports, they do look good, so I'll give them one game. It'll be a 3-1 G2.
I gotta say, for all the trust that I have in Caps, it's just been so long, and I think with the new players on this roster, specifically Skewman
Like
and
Persona,
LeBron,
but
I don't know
Digimon? Yeah, Persona's
if
actually good,
I
though.
can give them the benefit of the doubt, but answer me a question. What
Where's
happened when
Sand
G2 got
Press?
to
They
knockouts
can't go up.
in 2018?
Okay.
Semifinals.
Hey, for
Semifinals
you.
beat RNG. What happened when G2 went to the quarterfinals in 2019?
They always make it out of
Beat
quarterfinals.
that one. And in 2020, G2 beat Gen G 3-0 to get to those quarterfinals. So 3-1. G2.
I don't know who
that is
I'm
what
cheering
I have
for.
in my head
Do
as
I
an
want
EU
the
fan,
West
but
to
I
be
know
as
it's gonna
bad
be
as
so
LCP,
difficult. But
or
the
do I
pressure
want
is also on top
G2
esports
to
as they
like
look
just
to
be
make
better?
that run in front of their home crowd.
Like in 2017.
I do. I hate
when
the West.
reached
Fuck the West. Okay,
quarterfinals,
okay.
I remember
Let's go
the feeling
top.
was a bit unreal. We ended up going against SKT, and SKT back then was just
Because top
so
esports,
slow.
top and KT are considered like the two weakest teams in playoffs, right? So if G2
one
and CFO
expected
both
us
lose
to take a
3-0,
single game
then at
out
least
of
it's
them
like,
in this
oh,
best of
you know,
five.
we're both shit.
But we proved that we could take one
Well, at least we're
game,
better than NA,
2
right?
games.
Right? You don't link the stream on Twitter never? It doesn't really help. It doesn't really get views.
I remembered all the times I've tried.
Worked out. Unfortunately, it means 0-6 for TSM. The last vestige of the LEC.
Year after year.
Like, because the way Twitter works, it
Finding
doesn't
out
show you like
it's
new
away.
tweets instantly.
After so many
That's why I was
ups
doing
and downs,
predictions the night before, so
I finally did it.
it would go into people's timelines a little bit better, but I just stopped giving a fuck. It doesn't seem to work.
如今只能忆遥遥往事。
顾之前的成绩的话，我很接近那个荣誉吧。23年我们差一点就能拿下所有冠军吧，然后24年8强，那些都过去了，然后现在我更想专注到现在吧。
我很荣幸大家因为之前成绩而记住我。上一次夺冠已经很久了，所以我会珍惜每一次有机会去夺冠的时候。
而他们的人生曾系于一刻。Jackie Love 加冕称王 ，Caps 抱憾离场。 自此，逐梦之旅始终多遇坎坷。
Well, they're both MSI champions. That's pretty kind of sick. That's actually kind of sick, dude.
定会昂扬。
Caps， 我第一次遇到你是我第一次进世界赛。
Jackie Love
你
is
是一个非常厉害的选手，但是这一次我会带你重温18年的记忆。这一次也没什么不一样，我们会阻止你们。
Right? No, wait, no. Jackie Love never won. What am I saying? Oh, 369, 369. I'm sorry.
Jackie Love. You can keep 2018.
That's right.
I'll take 2025.
Jackie Love lost to fucking Team Liquid, dude. I forgot. Oh my god. 369 interesting your mom. The Kanavi, yeah, okay. For the JDG Super T. No. I for some reason I thought Caps and Jackie Love played in the finals, but
TES. Defy your past and earn your legacy.
全球的英雄联盟粉丝们，大家好，欢迎来到上海梅赛德斯奔驰文化中心，一起见证2025全球总决赛8强赛。今晚我们将共同见证
I don't believe in G2.
LEC 赛季巅峰对决。
So hard to like
让
believe.
热烈的欢呼迎接今晚的两支战队 G2 以及 PES。
Welcome everyone to this quarterfinal matchup between Top
Oh, I was about to say, wait,
Esports
oh, they're
and G2,
doing like
a
inverted.
rematch of 2024 MSI. I'm Draco.
Like, why is Labrov next to
Ready is
369?
for what will no doubt be an absolute banger. For who it is impossible to say, but thrilling it certainly will be.
Oh, this season playoffs, dude. Honestly, dude,
an exciting
it's like
series
yesterday's
today.
match. It was kind of ugly. I'm not gonna lie.
After already getting the better of G2 through the Swiss stage, but both teams have faced their struggles to get hit, and now as they face in this MSI rematch, one will move forward to the semi-finals, whereas the other will go home.
And so much pressure on both of these teams. It has been so long since Europe has been back here in quarterfinals. And for Top
Both teams
Esports,
will be
after
shitty.
having to do the team kill with BLG and vanquishing their fellow LPL team,
Yeah, but
it
it's
is
pretty
even
one-sided
more pressure
from
on
like
their
minute
shoulders
one.
to do well here in China at Worlds.
Absolutely. The LPL doesn't have the luxury that the LCK has where all 4 seeds are moving through. So if you are going to team kill, you absolutely have to deliver. And for Top Esports, a team who is notorious for not being able to thrive under that kind of pressure, this is a tough scenario to be in front of your own fans, the fans who were there for you during the LPL, during the season.
Whipple will
now
not
here on this
be
international
FlyQuest
stage.
starting top
Look,
laner,
we know what
exploring
the
his
ceiling is
options,
for
top lane,
but
jungle.
We've always
Damn.
known what the ceiling is. The question is, will we see it today?
I mean, the pressure
Jose
is not that
Vioto
much
reached
different for the
verbal
side of
agreement with
G2.
Lion.
The final hope of Europe, the first time that we've gotten out of the Swiss stage. It's been a while since we've seen a team from Europe represent in the quarterfinals, and everyone has put all of their hope and expectations on this team's shoulders.
And for North America, the West. The West.
Right?
You're
The
most
West.
honestly, for me as well, buddy.
I really like
Broken Blade hasn't
Shake
forgotten his
humans
NA days.
aside,
Exactly.
Bifo
We
was a very
trained
good
him up,
jungler.
you know?
Yeah, but the thing
I'm
is, he
very
was
much
good for
as
one
well
split.
Looking forward to the draft phase here between these two teams.
That's what I worry
G2,
about.
It has been said so many times, but I really do feel like
But he
they're at
was
their
really
best
good.
when they're being very creative.
I
And
don't
we've
think I
got
would call him
little
world
tastes
class. I feel like
of
it's
that
kind of
so far
extreme.
from them, even
But definitely
here at
like,
Worlds, you know, with
you
the
know,
Anivia,
LEC
with the
top
LeBlanc
tier
coming out
caliber.
very early for several teams, and now that we're in full best of 5s Fearless, you really get to flex all of those different muscles.
The Poppy ban already come through. A champion that over the years has become synonymous with G2.
The streamy playing
Game
games,
one,
somebody
Top
cares
Esports
anymore.
do
Worlds
not wanna
ended
allow that
yesterday.
through the draft. G2 seeing many of the red side
That shit,
bans.
I'm
We
kinda
know that they
tired,
opted
man.
into red side. They want that counter pick option.
Dude, I was
Whether it's
so
full caps
sad.
or broken
Oh,
blade is
yesterday,
yet to be
fuck
determined,
me,
but
man.
that mid lane menace in caps has been showing LeBlanc and Nivea all sorts of crazy picks that we'll see if TES are prepared for.
I mean, Worlds ends like in a week, dude. It's almost over. At least CFO was like kind of close to the like ending of Worlds, so there's only a few
He's
days.
undefeated on
where
that
it's just like
champion in his
whatever.
career, and it gets banned against him very frequently. Of course, Kanavi is very dangerous on quite a few jungle champions, but quite the
Dude,
decision here.
I'll
for
get
the
you.
last
I'll
ban for
fly you in
G2.
there,
They
dude.
opt to leave both the Ori and the Azir up for
You
the
give me
trade.
my roommate.
Rumble going to be
We'll share the
final
same
ban.
bed.
You highlighted it. The conventional mid lane options, Orianna, Azir, things like the Kiana also available. TES don't need to rush into it, but might show their hand early. Again, might have the preference towards the Orianna. Of course, Cream last year it was kind of AD mids and the Azir, but since then has evolved a lot as a player, much more comfortable on the control mages than he was in 2024.
I mean, the other thing to think about is, does G2 even want to make the trade happen? We know that Caps is a phenomenal Azir player. His pressure in the side lane is, oh, hang on, the Wukong shift. I like this
TS Levy,
adaptation.
yeah.
We've seen
Can improve our
Wukong
bot
be
lane
such a
synergy.
priority around the world. And Top Esports is saying, well, Cream is has become an excellent Azir player. He's very
Fly would have
comfortable on
done
the
better
champion.
yesterday.
So if
What are you
wanna take
talking
the
about?
Orianna, we're very fine with
If
that.
FlyQuest
The risk
couldn't
that
beat
Top Esports
T1,
run into, now
G2,
can look for the Orianna
CFO,
job
I don't want to hear
combo that we
nothing
know
from
is
them,
so
dude.
proficient here.
FlyQuest should just shut the fuck up. They were the best in the
G2
West
side.
for
Game
like
number
2
weeks.
weeks.
Of these best of 5s is usually very straightforward.
Then they went back to being a pumpkin.
As far as the drafts do drop, but they could always throw a little bit of a wrinkle
If you
in
weren't
here.
like a blind NA fan, you would realize
this
that
does feel like a certain
that
degree of
best in the
clean
West
slate.
shit.
Top have already beaten G2
Yeah,
once
I
this
don't buy it.
tournament.
It was just
We're a bit out of sorts.
bullshit
They were
narratives.
on blue side that time
They were
around.
invisible in that game.
They were, and I think that most fans.
Of course,
are
I'd be the
giving them
small spoon. I'd be
optimism
the
that they
small
will
big
just
spoon.
reset here, but do need to see a draft that sets them up for some more proactive lanes, some more proactive.
Why you still fall for every
and
bait?
they're
Because I
doing
need
it
to let
already.
NA
They've got a
fans
core
know
champion who can
that
be
their
very
region
impressive in
is
the early
dog
stages of the game.
shit.
Incredible one-hour
Nobody
power
wants to
spike, and
watch
Oriana, who is, of
the
course,
LCS.
at the top of the tier
Nobody
list for
gives a fuck
Yeah, I mean,
about the
the biggest
LCS
criticism of
teams
their previous draft
or
was
the
just that they had
players.
no agency in the early game. That Top Esports
Because
had
it's
three
just
pushing lanes.
boring.
Kanavi really abused that, and he was able to build a huge early game advantage
Also, fuck
that
LCS.
G2 really couldn't respond to. This time around, G2 trying to get more lane
LCP
priority,
is just
but
better.
going back to a
LEC is
comfort
just
pick of his
better.
own. You mentioned how he's been known as a melee player throughout his career, bringing out the Akali.
Dude, Cream
as an
pulling
answer to
out
capture
Akali
Real.
instead
Yeah,
of
and
Azir is
Akali
kind
can put
of.
tremendous
I guess,
pressure
yeah.
in the mid and late game in the side lanes versus Oriana.
CB LOL?
TES here, they're kind of thinking that
No,
G2
LCP is
are
better
gonna
than
play
CB LOL.
a ball comp. Not only do they have Oriana,
Listen,
but
when I
it's
get
gonna be
fired and I
one of
need
those
to start
straightforward
grifting,
5-on-5s,
I'll
and
just
so
set
if
all
you can
myself to
split
the
them
CB
into the
LOL.
side lanes and get Akali. Some isolated lane matchup there could be very
I'll go on
beneficial.
Twitter and I'll start
Sinzao
talking
and
about how I
Jarvan,
can
kinda
save the
two
whole
other
region.
premier jungles still up. And if
Just
you
like all
get
the
Xin
people that thought
early
they
on
could
and
save
game number
NA.
one of the Fearless, then that is going to help.
I think holding their jungler until third pick was good adaptation from G2 simply due to the possibility of this Akali. I think Akali has a great time versus Jarvan because of how easily she can navigate around his CC, but Zin's ulti just adds that extra wrinkle that she has to take into consideration. So as long as Skumon doesn't
Probably
apply
is
that
solid top
passive,
laner.
he can potentially knock her out of that shroud. But right now G2 really needs some more CC to lock down this Akali because Top Esports have a huge amount of backline threat simply from their Wukong and Akali combo.
Yeah, Hans,
Man, what
they
is
struggle to
this?
survive.
You mean
context of this game.
assistant
See what
coach?
TES want to take away. G2 already limiting the Nico.
Why
Don't
you a
want to give
racist?
a potential winning bot lane 2v2. Nico kind of the ideal champion. She gives you so much engage. She also allows you to get that pushing lane in so many circumstances. Makes it an easy Alistar, of course, a comfort pick for Lebrov and a solid champion in the context of this draft, so TES will take it away.
Yeah, because we're definitely thinking Hung is going to go like, you know, some sort of Alistar, Rakan, Rel, you know, Nautilus, some sort of engage here, some sort of point and click maybe even.
Yeah,
make
but
it a
I'm
little bit easier.
Japanese. Therefore,
They
my
banned the Alistar
English is
themselves
also my
because it does have
second
those
language.
disengage properties,
So
but
chill out,
obviously
bitch.
They are filling in the other options.
I think Top Esports should really consider a Rel ban. Domestically, Lebrov has played so much of the champion, and I think it makes a lot of sense into this combination of a.
Are we gonna get Rel?
It would give you nice dive, good follow-up alongside the Xin, and also it acts as an effective ball delivery system as well, which already we can start to see mount with the Xin already on the side of Skumond. Top Esports, though, still contemplating.
Why can't they
Barb
draw my
to be the
second language
target.
card?
Lebrov not having the most impressive Barb performance, but they're still cautious of dealing with it because of how effective it can be, moving around the map and also locking
Dude.
down Navarus.
Yeah, and also
I don't want to
defensive
look like
Barb
a
ultimates,
bigger
you know, can be
freak
very
than I
problematic
already
for
do.
Wukong Akali. So I do like it as a comp ban as well.
Don't be baited by this.
Don't be baited. That is one bar assault or a Kali E into immediate death. Not that he wouldn't pick it, just that I'm kind of hoping he does.
I just kind of like the shout outs
Blind
to like
top?
the heyday of G2. You know, the most epic G2 roster.
I thought
known
they
for
would
going
go
in every
Rel
single game.
here
That could have been Broken
for
Blade's fight.
G2 and then counter pick.
You're right. Good shout, Kobe.
with
Of course, Braum
Oh,
gonna come in.
I mean
The
Braum,
very
they can take
safe
Braum
Cassandre
away too.
blind. Again, looking
But like,
back at the
why would you
match
blind
we saw
pick
last time,
top?
It was a lane swap. We really didn't get to see a lot of 369.
You're
versus
half
Broken
American.
Blade,
You
but
have
when
this
we saw them in
English
MSI
shit.
in
Yeah, but I was
2024,
born and
it
raised in
wasn't the same
Japan.
attention, so very likely to be that topside island.
And I actually
I've never
really
lived
do
in
like
America.
The Braum for TES, even though you're usually thinking, oh, you want like straightforward engage. They already have very good engage. Varus Ultimate, Wukong, and even Mbessa now as well. And we saw how effective Peter was yesterday.
I've never lived there, dude.
To be able to fight
No, I
engages.
visited.
It really
Like I
does
went there for
add so much
Worlds
more
and
structure
like
to your
yeah,
team fight,
for like what?
and a lot more safety for the Varus.
G2 right now, they're just looking for a little bit more engage, and there was that Rel that we were
Yeah,
talking
there's the
about.
Rel, so I don't know
Rel
why
needs
they
a huge
blind
counter
pick
pick for
Cassandre.
Lebrov, but it synergizes nicely with the composition. And G2 gone for a very traditional front-to-back style of composition, whereas Top Esports have a little bit more dive.
Asking
Mbessa,
for a
Wukong,
friend.
Kali, as you were talking about, so much backline threat.
Oh,
To
Kevin
me,
is
you look at this
bald.
draft, and I'm thinking, Caps,
What
they put
the
a target on your
fuck?
head, and they're looking to take you out of this game.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen this kind of strategy a lot at Worlds. Worlds, it's been Orianna super premier pick, and then enemy teams trying to punish the weakness of Ori, having no flash, having no dash. If you're unable to do that, though, and we've seen a lot of like tanky Orianna builds as well, be able to survive it, you can outplay some of these dive
I
combos.
have a choice too. I can get hair
though, I have
plugged.
to say. And Lethality Varus has actually had a lot of success despite the nerfs that were laid onto it. So very well could be the option here.
And the two big questions coming into this series were the level of TES.
Round passive game changer? It kind of is.
But also the creativity.
Round passive is pretty OP.
Game one, we're not really seeing that creativity. It's safe, it's standard, you know why they're picking it, but they're not leveraging the same innovative picks that they have in the past, which means they're going to need to beat Top Esports at a very honest, straight up, pretty classic draft.
And honestly, in Fearless, in this new world that we have with best of fives, having more time, I think even if you are a creative team, you are incentivized in game number one to not pick creatively so that you can fearlessly ban out a lot of these power picks, and they will still have plenty of time in this series to show that.
Let me look at my Twitter
And
real
I
quick, see
definitely
if I
look
get stun
forward
locked.
to it.
Ooh, no stun lock.
Game one, Top Esports versus G2. One of two remaining LPL teams in the tournament up against the last LEC team.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
The passion in this stadium, you can feel it with the crowd.
Dude, they went poke Varus.
I feel like there's a decent amount of G2 support in the arena as well, but the home crowd favorites definitely coming in for Top Esports as early game.
I am cheering
G2
for
pushing a little bit of
Gen.G
information.
AL
Kanavi
finals.
gonna be
That's
looking
what I
to do
want
the
the
exact same
most.
thing on the top side of the map.
And fuck
Walking
KT
top
making it. Yo,
from
JD, listen,
Creed.
I'm sad
Goes
too.
for a bit of a trade on the Broken Blades, but nothing.
But I think besides the, you know, like, I think the whole like World Tour run was pretty good. The HLE series, like, yeah, HLE won, but I thought it was pretty close for the most part.
They've got the ping down
AL
onto
as
Varus.
well.
They know he's on the
T1
bot
was a
side.
banger.
Ansama and LeBron
FlyQuest, that was a banger.
threatening a pick.
FlyQuest
be
just
careful.
sucked, but yeah.
Braum level 1 is quite
Yeah, I
powerful.
guess,
Looks like they're gonna
you
settle for
know,
a bit of poke. Not quite
CFO
traded
are
back.
just frauds.
Winner's Vital hit, but the piercing arrow
Because
goes
we
a tiny bit
only
wide,
beat
so
bad teams
either
like
side can have
T1,
greater advantage here.
FlyQuest,
Jackie Love does have the teleport
yeah,
to Hansama's
and
clan.
Fnatic.
And you can tell TES actually read that.
Yo, we
because
we
of the
played
way
every
this
region
level one was
actually.
played, and the
For
core
LPL.
EQ coming straight
No, no,
out
we
of
did
the
play
Dry
LPL.
Rush
We
there.
lost
They
to
immediately
AL.
spammed
We
that
beat
ward with
Fnatic,
a bunch of blue pings,
LEC. We beat
knowing that
FlyQuest.
They had vision of the Varus.
Where the
that's how
fuck
you
is
got that
FlyQuest
little
from?
chunk.
Whatever, they're
So
minor
they
region.
are
So
looking
this
at
is
these
really feel
trinket
good to
ward
beat them.
timers
And
for
then
bottom
T1.
lane. It's one of the really intricate parts of the early game, especially important for super
You don't
good
need
early
T1
game
win
junglers,
again. No,
is
fuck that.
tracking all of these trinket ward timers and seeing when and where you can actually find a
Dude,
hole.
if they sign Evie, I mean that kills Japan War, but
as well over to Caps, 200 international games, second player to accomplish it. That does surprise me.
Well, Indie or T1, true,
Second,
true.
but what a tenured career. He's considered the GOAT of Europe for a reason.
Seven-figure
Honestly,
faker
you
just
get all
got
West, you get us
shit
too.
on by.
Well, we might have just
on
cursed it.
T.
The Scream has already flashed forward a 5-point strike, getting a flash back out of Caps.
Whoa!
And gentlemen, you said it in draft. How does the Orianna survive without flash? Well, we're going to find out.
And that is so much value. I mean, Wukong just passing from bottom side camps up to top side camps. This champ
That's a
doesn't
flash.
even bring CC early on into the game, but gets a flash out of the Orianna. Really efficient, use there. Of course, yes, Akali did flash as well, but Akali has so much more safety than Orianna. That's why it's kind of highlighted.
Absolutely does. And this Orianna, a matchup that typically has so much lane pressure, now has to just be a little bit more hesitant to exert that pressure in the matchup. Meanwhile, on the bot side of the map, Jackie Love and Hung had some really nice trades, forcing Summer
dude.
back very early. He will grab his tier.
I don't hate FlyQuest. I just don't like NA fans. That's all.
369 getting some good trades.
It's kind of like T1 and T1
TES finding
fans.
advantages. And this is what the desk highlighted, right? The fear that TES might be able to run G2 over in the early game. Now, they're not gone yet, but again, when we look at the historical head,
Like, how is CFO fraudulent if they beat the best in the West? I mean, I guess everyone beat best in the West, so it doesn't really say much.
A very different story.
We'll see how things develop as Top Esports now threatening a dive into top lane.
Go and they go. Yeah, they went home.
Here. Nice bit of footwork for
Went to
extra
Cancun.
shielding. Only taking his time. 369 might be happy with just getting the plate. Kanavi has already backed away. Doesn't want to overcommit.
Largest
This is
Japanese
very
population outside
reminiscent of
Japan.
their first
Perfect
game of
Kevin.
this
Yeah, there's still
tournament. We
barbecue
saw
there.
Top Esports
Yeah,
with
that's what I
great
was
pressure
told.
in the early game. Kanavi set his sights onto Broken Blade, and while he was working with his bot lane in that
I was
previous
like,
game,
oh, wow,
right now he's
okay.
working with
Apparently there's a lot of
369
car
to cover
companies or
and
some shit,
threaten a
right, in
dive.
Brazil?
Top Esports
So
already
there's a
building
lot
up
of
a very
Japanese
small
people there?
but early gold lead.
Yeah, plus when you go position for a top lane dive like that, you know, you can leave wards behind. And they are going to have full information on the reclears. Both junglers, though, of course, know the
True, dude. Fuck Peter. Bullying a young mid laner like Honky like that? Damn, dude. Everyone's a TES fan.
Jackie Love is permanently pushed up on the bottom side. Had the power of the TP.
That pick doesn't matter, dude. I don't care.
That he sees Skewmon, he knows he can stick around. He can play as far forward as he wants to. Meanwhile, on the top side, Broken Blade does TP back to lane with the Chain Vest. Loses a little bit in the process, but not hurting too much. Still, a 300 gold.
Was this a place to immigrate in the 50s?
Tough to contend with. Of course, he's still
I don't know shit about
waves,
history,
so
dude.
likely even out a bit.
I'm not a history buff.
Support roam timer there for Lebrov.
Also, it's League of Legends history.
Again, make it easier for Caps.
I know the most useless information ever. 2026 Worlds and NA. Oh my god, dude. No way.
Just as bottom side camps.
I guess it would be 4 years.
Their bot side push.
Jackie Love is just getting the better of Hansama in this bot lane 2 versus 2. Remember, an early base comes through from Hansama. Jackie Love goes for a bunch of fights, then he goes back and he TPs early, coming back to lane, and he keeps up the pressure. He's built up a very nice lead in the bot lane 2 versus 2. The pressure he
Broken Blade?
has resulted.
Broken Blade, nice.
Oh, he hits level 6 off that?
Debating if he wants to commit further.
Damn.
Does use the all out, but Pathmaker just going to use it to escape. Now needs to push this wave in because once 369 takes over, he can just turn this right back around.
Not too much Japanese people living in South America. Then why is the Japanese so bad?
Set up the next play.
Should be like, hey,
Again, looking at the junglers, coming as well. Since you do stop off for Dragon, and it takes quite a bit of time in the early game.
I'll open up my own sushi restaurant there. Hey, hey.
Whereas Skewmon does a little time to work with, and so he can get the bot side crab, and that might help out G2's bottom lane. Again, the poke Varus, the lane, very strong, and then looking to just add the exexecution little bit.
There's like water in Brazil, right?
In the way that these team fights are going to go.
That way we can get fish?
With all the divers that TES do have, if you just have a little bit of extra execution damage over the top, can make a world of a difference.
Definitely can. Now we turn our attention to
now
still level 5. Looks like it will just be a reset.
Lila!
The counter gank opportunity. We've crested the level 6 mark.
Well, they're already up 500 gold. Nice.
This is where Caps needs to be careful. The window on this flash being down is very small. TES may try to capitalize.
We have fucking beach everywhere. Respect.
Where Akali really starts to take over.
But ultimately,
yeah, but beaches are like it depends on what kind of beaches, right? They can have water or not water, but fish.
Oppressive has now been much easier for him.
Or no fish.
Dead even in terms of farm. He's not really lost any XP. And when a wave
I don't go outside, dude. Why the fuck would I know what is there?
Because Caps can't be as aggressive as you would like.
Like, did you know Iceland and Greenland have opposite
Green
names?
is very happy with how this early game has gone.
But you didn't know that.
I imagine that soon he's going to be
Greenland has ice, while Iceland has green.
Is so valuable.
I'm so smart.
Just because it gives you so much skirmishing power in the 1v1.
And across the board, TES really getting so much out of this early laning phase. The Braum into the Rel has been working out fantastically for them, resulting in these early objectives. Now we see the reset from G2, Hansama being assigned at the top side of the map. Eyes on the grub spawn, 12 seconds away. Neither side has complete control of the top lane, so it may be a little bit delayed. But
what's this
both
game? This game's called League of Legends. We're watching Worlds.
369 looking very, very good up there.
Oh,
yeah,
Slowpoke?
But pretty good CS lead for himself.
I mean, TS is just up in gold, dude. They haven't done anything.
Going to pick up some
Can't
of
see
the
it now,
bottom wave, but
they haven't done anything, but they're up 500 gold.
The junglers are ready to fight over
Top lane's winning pretty hard.
6s have been acquired. Teleport out for
They're getting every objective. They got
Does
Dragon. Now
mean
they're gonna get
that we have
the grubs.
possibilities for contesting at least a couple of them.
One grub already down. Kanavi, though, uses his smite, so may opt to just back away. Caps has access to the TP shortly, but is slightly delayed. Cream also resetting. So it seems like neither side wants to full-on fist fight. Just hoping that they can move in, leverage their pressure, rather than needing to go all in.
G2
Okay.
Very careful. Burst
Here it
from
is.
Akali right now is huge.
Lila!
Oh! Unbreakable coming in for
Live, bro?
Skewmon going a little bit wide and
Okay, Cream.
G2 pulling back as a 4-stack. That's 1-1 in terms of overall.
Cream with the
grubs.
crop.
TES
Never mind.
We'll grab the 2 grub buff.
I mean, they still get the
Did
2
want to
grubs.
push their luck. Have to be so careful. fighting into that Braum, fighting into that level 6 Wukong.
Yeah, and especially like I feel like difference in mid laners when you're both
Pavs
coming back
fan?
from base, and then one of them, you know, has a bunch of mana items, and the other one has
Is that basketball?
Darksteel and the alternator that we're talking about, and has perfect execution available. Very, very scary as far as the.
Jackie Love gonna go nuts. I mean, he's playing
really
Poke
nicely,
Bear, so
but if you're going
maybe
scaling build with Rod of Ages as well as Seraphs, then have to cede a little bit of the early.
So our observer's just highlighting what's happening on the top side of the map, and I have so many concerns for Hansama. He just lost like half a wave, if not the whole wave, as he tried to contest
Hansama's down 400 gold.
control wards, and he's also losing a bunch of farm off the back of it. He did swap to the top side where he also lost a bunch of farm, and we already talked about how Jackie has kind of been getting the better of him in the trades on the bot side of the map, but that is a full level difference. There is about 3 waves between the two of them, and Jackie Love has basically a kill of an advantage.
One of the world's oldest Mr. X. So I should be called. I should call myself handsome man. That would be my Mr.
Just
X.
because of their lower cost, which means the top esports, similar to what the desk was saying, should have that early game agency. Their one item spikes.
What happened in CFL offseason? CFL offseason, they'll take a break, be being chilling until like I think December, November, and then they'll come back and play League.
And sure, Jackie Love is going to struggle when the Crescent Guard is up, but Skewmont hasn't been able to find a great angle to build advantages for these lanes. He has a small advantage for himself, but it did come at the cost of conceding that Drake, and now his lanes, they're not done
Usually
yet,
teams
but they're
start
looking like they're in a
practicing
tough
like
spot.
beginning of
Yeah,
December,
I think
mid-November.
Both of these G2 carries have to be very cognizant of their positioning, approaching objectives.
Whoa!
TES,
The
if there's
damage.
one angle approaching the team fight that is left in darkness, they could get a massive flank off and immediately.
All the boys are in
delete,
Cancun
one
right
of
now.
these G2 carries, so have to be very, very cautious in how you're approaching and try and keep the threats in front.
Look at these lane assignments from top esports. They've got 369. Oh, getting engaged on.
Okay, Labrov.
Public execution not going to take 369 out to safety. The
Dude,
Ignite
why do I
taken down.
see
He's got more
every
than
like
enough shielding
Ambessa
just to
miss
walk
her
away.
ult?
Ulti for ulti, but they get the flash from 369. Traded for Labrov's is TES.
There's no competition LCB? No, I was in this competition. Oh my god, Han! It's fine, Lavrov's dead.
And it's first blood for Jackie Love.
G2 tried to find a pick onto 369, but top esports converted into a collapse of their own. I was just about to highlight how these lane assignments from top esports made it so easy for them to collapse on this dragon. G2 don't respect it, and it becomes a very easy first blood for top.
Like, yeah, I think, you know, Secret Whales had good moments, PSG had good moments, Gam had good moments.
So they make a good call. Yeah, we'll just leave Dragon and get
Vikings was okay, you know? It's just LGL and OCE, but now we don't have OCE, so it's just LGL that if they can, like, fix their roster, I think they'd be very good. At least, you know,
maybe didn't do his due
threatening.
diligence, but his teammates are still there to cover him as 369 goes all in on the mid lane.
Like, I
Public
don't
execution,
expect
so
them to be
Cap's
like
doing all
LCP
right,
champions, but I don't want them to be like,
TES are rotating just
you know,
a
free
variety of
wins.
people to that
That's
mid lane,
like
and
what I
they're
want to
all getting
avoid.
pushed.
Yeah, that wasn't a public execution, but it was a public beating where he just beat like
Colonel
400 guys.
Turd.
Yeah, that's rough.
That was some good punches there from 369. Chunks caps down below 50% and earns the objective pretty effortlessly.
And it feels like a repeat of what we saw in the first game of Swiss. Top esports finding these early leads, G2 not really having many options to trade back elsewhere on the map, and top esports are playing with these advantages very, very well. They've accrued a 1k gold lead, they have full control over the early objectives. They're trying to make a play on a Jackula, but he's not afraid of anything.
Entering strike goes wide, but the ulti from Varus does not. Immediate TP in. Lebrov about to get one shot.
Oh, Lebrov's dead! What happened?
Make sure he no, they donated to Cream, who contributed nothing, but will get all the cash.
I mean,
What happened?
Honestly, it's worth
Why is Lebrov dead again?
Dark Seal, and you
The
get
TES
more
has
money
2
on
dragons?
Akali that you want to have burst damage. So, you know, good shot, Kong. I would give it a Cream too.
Yeah, I think I got deja
TP,
vu.
they were like, you came all this way.
Yeah.
We may as well give you a parting gift.
Exactly. Then he's more likely to come down to next time.
I just say I'm
Absolutely.
concerned for G2 when we're referring to their support as a party favor for the enemy mid lane. That is not an ideal situation to be in.
But top esports with full control over this early game right now. And again, it really is just reminiscent of what we saw in their first matchup, especially when you look at the itemization.
Yeah, he's up 1,000 gold without actually got a kill, but
means that you will not have damage for a while. G2 need to stem the bleeding as much as possible and wait for these team fights. But top esports,
is
they
it
won't
like a noob, no
I mean,
flash?
That's the slower impact that we were talking about. And now
What
we're
the
also seeing
fuck, Cream?
Shockwave looks like it interrupts the E2, the second half of the Shuriken flip, where that could have been a kill.
Okay, wow. Surprised Cream didn't go for that kill.
Yeah, just as we were saying from Champion Select here, as soon as you get Orianna in the side lane...
Dude, doesn't it feel like every lane is losing?
Akali was very, very happy. Now we'll see the other side lane up here.
Keep on here to cover, but Kanavi's finished Trinity Force. A lot of potential burst damage, even in the face of the Sundered Sky healing. Broken Blade zoned away completely from this top lane tier 1, and 369 builds that individual lane advantage, and the rest of the team now coming home to reap the rewards. Caps and the rest of G2 want to cover. They do not want to concede this tower. Lebrov ghosting in.
It's a
Riding
3v4.
on a steel horse, ulti available, no flash, but he might not need it.
Oh yeah, Hong might have to die.
TES sticking around a bit too long on the top side, and Caps happy to reap the rewards.
Yeah, but Varus is free farming mid.
Are the party favors that you were mentioning.
Does Jacqueline get mid tower? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's backing up. Wait, Kanavi's going in? Kanavi! Ooh, nice scheme on ult.
On cooldown from the previous play. Portabelt also used the
oh, there you go! Abyss lens an ult!
Lebrov! And
Hanzo has to flash out. Oh, that's 3 kills.
Top Esports see 2 members of G2 walk up into the river and say, didn't you just use everything to kill our support?
Damn!
I guess that means that it's our turn. And so Top Esports immediately turn their attention to their opposition, pick up a support of their own as the Brav goes to 3 deaths.
It's 3-1, Betty. They've had too many turns.
Did you take TES?
Breaking preschool sharing rules, and I don't think this is going to look
I
good
predicted G2 to win.
But again, you said it.
But
we've seen this game before.
I don't know, man.
In that first match of Swiss.
But I also predicted CFO to win, so who knows?
The advantages they built in lanes, transitioning it now into the Herald. TES dominating game 1. All in though, Caps!
Oh, Cream! What the fuck?
Baby, back to his origins on the Akali, abusing Orianna. Beautiful stuff here from TES.
Holy fuck, Cream!
Perfect execution there from Cream. He didn't even lose any of his HP. 100-0 Caps, no flash on the Orianna, and now the side lanes, I mean, just look at the minimap, fully in control for Top Esports.
Dude, it's so doomed. I'm getting deja vu. I'm getting deja vu. I thought I was watching G2, but just watching CFO?
Games, winning every single lane against Cream. Game 1 in 2025, completely different.
Yeah, TES say, fine, you can have the pick of the tournament, Orianna. We will craft a dive comp to try and abuse that back. And because of that, Cap says, okay, I need to build more tanky because they have so much dive. But then that's going to push back your timeline on when you're going to have you know, some damage threat as well. And TS making a
wait, Broken Blade won first item Jack show?
Of this game.
What?
Definitely something that people have said a lot about TS. Very good early games, very frequently.
Top Esports, they are a much more methodical team. They play the map very well. Having Kanavi as kind of your spearhead makes a lot of sense as to why that playstyle works. And again, we turn our attention to the minimap and look at the control that they have.
Afraid of Cream?
Not afraid of anything. There's nothing he needs to be afraid of anything. Like, no one on the side of G2 can kill him, so he can afford to overstep his bounds. But even if he can't, he's got a turret at his back. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map,
Akali is coming! Akali is coming!
The bot wave, control over the mid. They have push everywhere. G2 is very much on the back foot.
Exactly, because it becomes so hard
they're about
to
to have some nightmares.
G2, they have to keep Orianna safe with extra players, and so nobody can.
Honestly,
really
I thought G2's comp was pretty good.
TS can put out. TS, they can constantly push both side lanes, and G2 they have to group and force.
G2,
this is 100% CFO flashback. T2's just doing nothing. Dude, it's just gonna be CFO and G2 fans going like, aha, you're slightly shittier.
Now moving into the
oh, Kanawi! Damn! He jumped back in? Like, nobody else was there to follow up, actually. Oh, he's 1v5. Okay, here comes the rest of his team. Oh! Oh! Dude, they're all fucked. They're all absolutely fucked. Cream. Oh! Caps!
He turns it back for G2
with the shockwave! Holy fuck!
Off the Orianna has arrived. The shockwave, Vedius.
Holy
shit! A bit of it for G2.
That looks so fucked for G2. Caps lands that fucking Omega shockwave.
To turn that fight around. Top Esports turned what was Kanavi getting caught into a team fight. I love the confidence from Top Esports.
Yeah, but then, like, look, he went in, right?
Why are we afraid? Skewmon immediately has to disengage. Kanavi tries to get back into the Herald. Broken Blade heavily commits, but then 369 finds his way on.
It was a messy fight from top. I thought it was a lot cleaner.
Does get exhausted, but you know that he's looking for
this was
target.
at this point it was a win, but oh man, that fucking oh!
Shockwave. G2 find something off the
Caps,
back of a disastrous team fight.
And Caps also forcing the Varus flash as Jackie Love was trying to run away there. Let's get back to
this
live
is
though,
G2
because after
jersey.
that fight,
Shockwave in just a few seconds. G2 know they
It
have
was
an
a, yeah,
angle to turn it
he
into
landed a
three-point opportunity. They
4-man
managed to
Caps
take away the
ult.
Drake. Now they're keeping the
Oh,
fight
they
going.
lose
Last
one
on
dragon?
Ultimate, catching out Skewmon. He's been locked down.
5
and he's
you got
sacrificed.
Skewmon's
TES
dead.
get 1 on the exit kills, but G2 slow the soul stacking for TES.
yeah, I think TES should be able to get this game right back on track, but G2 have kind of interrupted that stacking.
TES still
Caps is still good, man.
Q3 from Broken Blade. Pathmaker pulling him through as well. Jackie Love charging up the
That's why I'm
piercing
like,
arrows.
everyone
Decent
besides
game with Broken Blade. The one target
G2
doesn't
should
hit.
think
Caps
about
on the
getting
other hand,
Vladi.
happy to have all that extra gold after the last fight. The command attack really
Because I think Caps is still good enough to like win new titles and maybe
TES
do
should
well
get
at internationals.
back to pushing on both side lanes and making it hard for G2 to control their income on the map. Because G2 have to be so much
Cream
more
with the
careful
kill
when they're
steals.
getting resources here. And
Oh,
TES can still
dude, the
apply
last
that pressure.
time.
The thing is,
And,
like, we talked
dude,
about it
I mean,
very
the
early
way
on
that
into the game,
Bo
but this advantage
went over
that
to
Jackie Love
EU
has
and got
on
shit
side
on,
is just
not in
monstrous.
gameplay,
His
in
Varus
just
is
terms of like
so
fans
far
and stuff.
ahead, and right
What
now,
the
G2
fuck,
don't
dude? They're just
really
gonna
have any
ruin
threat
another player's
onto this
career.
long-range poke
Okay.
that Jackie Love brings to the fight.
Yo, how you
Is
doing,
on the map,
Ursa?
so everybody looking
But X
towards
trying,
the big
yeah.
objective. What has been the equalizer of so many games.
I don't see a team that
since
can
its
get Vladi and compete with
implementation
G2.
in this
Teams that
season.
compete with
But
G2,
this is the good
Pacey,
thing for G2 because as you
and
highlighted,
Koi.
the spread out on the map
There's
is what G2 can't
Europe is
handle.
not like that
Grouping up
OP.
and fighting is what
You
their
can make a
competition
team
wants.
and
So if
compete
there's
with
going to be a
G2.
moment to turn this game in their favor, it'll be a fight around Arakan.
And in this moment, their carries have flashes.
They're not
while
getting
TES
rejected. There's
do
no
not.
way.
Neither
They
Cream
can
nor
get
Jackie
Quid
have
or
them.
like someone, right?
Fishing, maybe hoping to burn one of those flashes without committing too much. As TES desperately fight, they want control of this
Hello,
tri
Ursa.
rush.
Did I
They
say
do not
hello?
want
I don't
G2
remember.
to
I'm
have easy
sorry.
access into the objective.
But when
Jackie
I'm
Love
watching a
alone
game, my
was
mind just
solo
goes
zoning
everywhere.
So many of the G2 members off this tower.
Okay, Cream. Cream of the
Shuriken,
crop.
Skewmon thinks that's the angle,
Oh!
and they start to turn it back.
Wait, is that- oh, that was
Only catching
Oriole
on the
dude.
Hong. Major cooldown missing now as the Redemption heals TES right back up.
With the Shockwave
Wait, that was-
gone, I
yeah,
see
that's
this
no
as a very
Shockwave.
difficult way for G2 to fight. Top Esports doing really good job at controlling this
saying
space.
NA
The
too much
poke
money.
from Jackie
NA
Love,
doesn't have
the
as
poke
much
coming
money
through
as
from
before.
Cream, knowing that he has the assistance of Hong, they keep G2 at arm's length, but they don't yet start the objective. They want to get the tower, and this will go uncontested.
Unless if it's like a top team, right? It'd be like Team Liquid or like FlyQuest.
Passive control gone now that the tower's
I don't know if
deleted. Now
Sentinels is
poking his
spending
head as
Omega
Luba picked
Bucks,
up
but
by
people said that they
TES.
don't spend Omega
G2
Bucks on
again, we've seen it
Valorant,
before, we saw it in
so they
Swiss.
wouldn't spend Omega Bucks
Bled
on
out in
League,
this game
is their
by Top
theory.
Esports. Cream stays on the bottom side. TES don't need to force. They don't need to start this if they don't want to.
I mean, look at the side
He's
lanes.
in your case,
Kobe
he's
was
rather
talking about it
poor.
earlier.
Yeah.
When Top Esports played the map, it's very difficult for G2 to deal with all of that
Yeah,
pressure.
yeah,
Top
their
lane
spending
just
isn't
lost
that
an
high, I
entire
guess.
Wave. Mid lane is being pushed in by 369. Advantages are just
favorite
passively
European
being
team at the
built
moment is Los
by Top
Atones.
Esports. Remember, G2 won that fight in mid. They lowered the gold gap, but now it's ballooned back up to 3.8.
That's like saying my favorite team in LCP is Hell Pigs because of God
Has access
Toad.
to his, but he's putting pressure on the top side. G2 forcing the Otacon, recognizing a brief window of opportunity.
What the
they need
fuck?
to make this work.
369 is trying to buy first and then teleport in.
8K getting lower. Kanavi looking for the flank.
I mean,
G2
they're
have
just
no
taking
idea.
so much damage
They
for
wanna
no
burn this down. They see
reason.
the TP now. They realize they may have overstepped, but the Otacon's been leashed.
Oh!
TES won the fight. Double redemption.
Here it comes! Here it comes!
Denies it for a brief moment.
Oh!
All of G2 have to run
It
because
actually worked! That TP actually worked!
369 and
I thought it was gonna
Cream
insta-die.
to back the triple kill for the Akali. G2 are
Jack
helpless
Love?
in the face of this Top Esports dive.
Perfectly
He's
fine.
rolling all nines today. This Ambessa
Yeah,
is insane.
what's it
He's
called?
cutting them down. The teleport ward is
That
perfectly
Otacon
placed, and G2
shred
have
just
been
deleted, dude.
decimated.
They got deleted.
Shepherded
Holy
into
shit.
a choke point. Top Esports collapse like wolves and tear G2 a caps.
Caps wants to clear the wave, I guess. Buys a brief moment with the Zanya to contemplate his failures because he will not get any kills.
He clears out the wave, but questionable play there as the Otacon is secured by Top Esports. A 7K gold lead. And just beautiful team fighting from this Top
Let's go next
Esports
game.
squads.
All right,
The
what are we
fact that
talking about?
G2
Let's
had
talk about
no
Quid.
recourse, no escape as they get picked apart.
Fnatic, yeah,
Let's
Fnatic
take a
might
look
lose
at this,
Berserk.
The ward is just perfect, and G2 all
I don't know what
clumped up
Fnatic is
together.
gonna do.
Kanavi coming down from the top side. Skewmon actually does do a good ultimate to knock Kanavi away, but it didn't matter because they got ripped apart anyways by the solo laners.
Cream played that beautifully, using Skumon's flash, going over the water, then get a multi-man execute. Very well played by him. The frustration on Dylan Falco's face and the elation from the top esports coaching staff.
You know how when Yagao said 2 carries should never stand together? Well, if all 5 of you are standing together as well, then they all get executed.
That is included. That one does include the other. It's a square
Jun for
rectangle
Razork?
sort of
What does that
situation.
mean?
G2 hopefully learning that lesson because they don't really have much
Jun's
more
a
time
support.
in this game. 8,000 gold deficit. TES grabbing the 3rd Drake and Soul Point. G2 in no position to contest. But remember,
Oh, Trader Giant
that
X
Otacon
want Jun back.
was built on
Jun
the only game for
upset
TES
with
that was
Hobie?
so commanding, that was
That
so
seems
confident.
bad,
That was
though.
already a Hail Mary for G2.
The problem with like
Frankly, at this point,
Hobie,
Hail
I
Marys
don't
are
know,
all they
man.
have
Hobie.
I mean, I've been super impressed with how Jackie Love has really gotten his revenge on Hans Sama after last year. Cream coming out with the comfort
Yeah,
pick
support
and just,
pool in
as
EU
you
is
mentioned
pretty
earlier,
bad.
Kobe, Orianna Azir has kind of been the trade of the tournament. And Cream saying, you know what? No, I know Akali is good into this matchup with the Wukong.
Yeah,
by my
like
side,
Mickey,
Mickey
Alvaro are like some of the best supports, right?
Scoreline. He's been involved in 12
Trimby, oh,
of the
Trimby
team's
can
13
come back actually. That wouldn't
And
be
I
too
think
bad.
Caps' desperation to hold on to that tier 2. I don't think he's feeling good about it now because now he has this Seeker.
Like the thing is, like I'm not a big fan of Targamas, right?
Once again,
oh my god, they're
called
just
out on
getting
the sideline by
fucked at
TES.
this point.
Rob doing everything he can to stop the play from happening, and now Broken Blade is here. Perhaps the backup that G2 needed to keep the fight going in this choke. Kanavi dashed.
Never mind, they're still fighting. He won red buff.
TES backing away. They might have started the fight, but they
don't have ults though. They used up a lot of ults for this.
Backline access as Caps continues to try to clear the way.
Okay, 369 is 1v90. What the fuck?
Back out. E2 coming through, ready to get the fight kicked off. It's the ulti from the bomb.
They're all
as G2 retreat
ulting.
to their top side tier 2. 369 hovering, ushering the way forward. G2 battered, but not broken.
What the fuck was that?
TES dominating their jungle.
Top esports run
Did you
this
see
match,
that?
and G2 are barely given the luxury of standing on the rift.
What the fuck did I just see?
Brob's base will be interrupted as Top esports take full control through the mid lane. They secure themselves another tower.
I just got triggered. What the fuck? I just saw KD.
Entire game, TES just progressing.
The fuck
their
was
game
that?
plan linearly over G2.
God damn,
Now,
dude.
all that
That
is
was the
left is to
broadcast.
Go claim the Baron. They have very, very good turn off of
Fuck
Baron.
me,
We
dude.
have
What a
seen it
jump
with
scare.
Wukong and Mbessa.
This
The turn is
PTSD,
crazy
dude.
threatening.
I thought I was gonna have to
He's
see that
still out on
stupid
the
logo
map.
again. Oh.
Q Flash coming into the shattering strike. Skewmon gonna follow up. Public execution gets a little bit of space for 369 as he flashes out. The Drake count step, but the shockwave brings him right back.
See what's going on.
To try to protect his top laner, blocking so much damage with the Unbreakable. And now it's Cream in the shroud.
Okay, Cream.
5 members. The death ball.
Layla,
Cream
Layla.
dashes right back
Oh,
out.
look at this dude.
And
They're so
Kanavi
fucked.
goes
Oh my
in.
god, they're so
Diving,
fucked.
dodging, cutting through.
Did he get
G2,
one?
And now it's Broken Blade to try to turn it back. He's gone all out. But it might be too late. Skewmon.
Oh, that clips him.
Redemption now coming in. The extra healing from Thunder Sky will not do a damn thing. Broken Blade down. An ace for TES.
Absolutely beautiful from Top esports once again. Cream went in a little bit too eager. He was isolated from his team, but the moment that Kanavi
I mean,
finds the
Inspired
angle onto the
Quit
backline,
sounds fucking
G2
OP.
just fall apart.
Yeah, this is one way to start a fight. Just keep on split pushing as the only one left applying pressure. 369 uses his ult, his flash, his dashes. Still gets locked back in by the shockwave, but by that time, he's already bought enough time for Hung to come up and provide the extra defense. Then Kanavi comes in. He gets the triple knockups into another knockup, immediately deleting Hans Sama. And the rest of G2, all they could do was actually take down their primary target, the original target of 369. But I think that might be the last target that they get to actually take down in
This
game.
match?
And again, while it started okay, because they didn't immediately get deleted, Jackie Love got a 4-man ult in that fight, 3-man Cyclones. G2 can't afford to group.
Like, I
but
don't
they
think
also
Inspired would
can't
ever
afford
leave
to
NA
split
though,
up.
unless
There's
NA
no
just becomes
right
really
option
that
left.
bad.
They can't afford anything because they're 11,000
Or he gets like an
gold
offer
down.
from like G2 or some shit.
I mean, right now, G2 just need to be thinking about game 2 because this one feels done and dusted. Top esports from start to
Jackie
finish
Love
have
or
been in full
Kanavi?
control,
Okay.
reminiscent of what we saw at the beginning of the Swiss stage.
They might.
Top esports converted
Green
a
was taking all the
strong
kills
early
though.
laning
But
phase
Green was
performance
popping off the
into
most.
great objective control, into just better team fighting. And while Caps did find a nice shockwave to at least give a little bit of hope back to the G2 squad, it was quickly snuffed out by Cream.
And remember, for both of these teams, there are
wants to go back to EU? Yeah, but I don't know if people will pay him what he wants. He counts as an NA player now.
He will dash through the perfect execution, goes back in onto Caps. I don't think he needed to go back in. Kanavi can. That one wasn't it, but Caps gonna flash out.
Okay, here's the
Kanavi. Body block as best he can. Slow coming in for the Celestial opposition. Crucially, the piercing arrow from Jackie Love does not connect.
I mean, G2 found a pick at this point. A pick is the best thing that you can hope for this late into the game. It will slow down top
TS
a little bit as the rest of G2 are catching waves where they
can.
But
oh, it's rough today.
That put about a 1k dent in the 10k goal.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, it did take some pages out of the Medjais that Cream had stacked, so you can call
I mean, the thing is, like, the only good team
I would say worth.
Inspired can join is like Fnatic.
That is worth.
That's like the only team that Inspired will probably join. Because KC re-signed with Yike. G2 has Skumon. MKOI has El Yoya. It's just Fnatic left.
Not hesitating to do so much work. Shockwave only connecting on a 369. But
369. 369.
Brock's left and right. Running down G2 Esports.
Oh, yeah, double kill for Jackie.
Nice. These kills are donated to him so consistently.
Oh my god, he flashes for the kill, dude.
He knows a dead body when he sees it.
Or
G2
PSG. What
Cream
the
was
fuck?
just the start of the main dish of 369 had yet to arrive, and my goodness.
What about Humanoid? Isn't Humanoid joining GAM?
G2 sent reeling.
Are you gonna hate watch KT? Nah. I'm gonna be cheering for Gen G, so if you count that as hate watching, then yeah, I guess so.
And Shanghai is popping off with that
Furia
victory.
Humanoid.
Very dominant from TES.
I mean, from start to finish, nothing.
Dude, that sounds like ass. Not gonna lie, dude. That's some bad ass. Like, not as like, oh, that's badass. That's some bad ass. Like, ass that has been washed in a few days.
Esports really got the better of G2 here in game 1.
And this is what we were thinking. Will G2 be able to stall and keep up with TES in the early game?
The answer in game 1 was no. We'll have to see how they adapt as we send it back over to the analyst desk.
Jackie Love saying, did you remember MSI? No, this is a different game. This is Worlds. This is what we did to you back in the Swiss stage. Did you think it was going to be any different?
From the Katie Slicer? Yeah, I did. I got triggered.
It did seem like the same strengths that Top Esports had and the same
flashed the image of KT and triggered me from yesterday. I thought I suppressed my fucking feelings and memories.
Of Top Esports. One of the things, especially when you look at Cream, back when he was making his name on OMG, he was the Silas the Akali player. And to take what has been the meta of this Orianna and Azir back and forth and go, no, we're going to break that open by having our creme de la creme Cream plays Akali.
I wasn't giggling.
Such a good call from Top Esports.
I was crying.
Heartbreaking as a European
it hurts. But you said they laid out a trap kind of, right? And they walked right into it, Azael.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a really fun game. I think there was a lot of back and forth fights, but it was very TS favored. I do want to go into
a
banger team fight we had for our HyperX Reflex replay, and I want to draw your eyes here to Kanavi. Kanavi is going to ride this in, and we have to watch Broken Blade and his timing on the Pathmaker, so we can play out the clip.
Seeing job application
is so nice here from BB. This gives an opportunity at a position in the game where G2 was looking like it was already cooked. If they lose this fight, and if they lose the next dragon, they are going to lose. Look at that timing right there. As he bounces out, he pushes him out and sets up G2 for a collapse onto this jungler. We can roll the clip once more. The initial start of the fight is so good for G2. Everyone is hitting on Kanavi, and Kanavi is not going to be able to survive for that long. But on the other side, it becomes
jumping
about
into
the
Rift
soul
actually got
Cream
Kanavi
and 369 here get involved. They're going to be targeting these carries in the back line. G2's battle
I'm probably way
now,
bigger than
very,
DV.
very good.
Yeah.
They're going to have their support and their top laner there. They have their backline in the backline. It's looking pretty nice. We can play the clip one more time. Kanavi does fall, but that is when 369 gets in onto Hans, able to knock him down. Cream is piling in, and you start to think, all right, it is absolutely cooked for G2. But Labrov finds a moment here to set up for that 4-man shockwave for Caps. And that, yes, it does not just swing the game massively in their favor, but it kept G2 alive at a moment, and it earned them that third dragon
FBI Fnatic.
to push back the soul. it showed, you know,
What
that
is
glimmer
these
of hope
terrible,
for G2 in a game
terrible
that was very
suggestions?
I appreciate you for showing us the glimmer of hope in the rest that wasteland of that game. But Rob, I want to parlay this a little bit into game 2. We don't want to be game 1 Andes, but I think we all kind of agreed that in terms of the early game, what we called out, in terms of Kanavi being able to really put his mark on that, in terms of the laners of TES.
CHFO, G2 winning it? No, G2 got the CFO curse.
I mean, it started in that bot lane, right? You end
Of
up seeing
being a non-LPL LCK team. Actually, I want TL Dokla quit. Yeah, man, you're fired. Dude, if you legit think Team Liquid, LCS winning world qualifying team should get TL Dokla quit, you should not have an opinion in League. Thank you, goodbye.
Didn't work. And then, even if it was a slower paced early game, as top esports were waiting for that level 6.
Yeah, TL Honku, that's also a shit take because Team Liquid will not be able to develop Honku. Goodbye.
Behind is G2, but also then finding ways where we can be a bit more proactive in the early stage from our jungle.
And if we look back to how they did win at MSI,
Timon is worse than the Shy.
The bot lane, they had huge advantages. Is that the
That's
difference
a hot
between
take.
Mickey X and Lebrov? You gotta ask the question.
Who would
we'll have
you
to see.
get
They
top
didn't make
lane?
it to the
Anyone?
World Quarterfinals last time with Mickey, so we got to give that credit over. But the bot lane was extremely dominant. Also loved how they got Cream involved. Had this counter pick. He TP's bot. They donated him the kill, and he really took over.
They really need to stabilize G2 Esports. They're on the home soil of top esports, and they look poised to get to that semifinal. We'll be right back with game 2.
Can I get sniper?
Eyes in front of brief moment, but all of G2 have to run because once again, it is 3-6-9.
It's time for Stable to make changes. These speak of the team. Dude, I'm not gonna say yes or no. That's fucked up. What the fuck? Oh yeah, dude, we're gonna fire everyone on the org. I'm losing my job. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Donate. Give me all your money because I'm about to lose my job. I'm gonna go pee. No, I'm being fired too. I'm a fraud.
안녕하세요. 전체 캐니언입니다. 또 황하에서 이렇게 경기하게 됐는데 이렇게 좀 잘해가지고 1위 되어서 정말 기쁘고요. 5년 전에 정말 좋은 기억이 많았던 사회에서 아마 4강전도 하는 걸로 알고 있는데 끝까지 좋은 기억으로 남게 열심히 준비해 보겠습니다. 감사합니다.
An update is required. Financial system updating. System updated. We will dance to get. The future of money is here. Feels good.
Red Bull gives you wings.
So slow.
I told you I was done with basic browsers. Your setup wants Opera GX, and you're holding it back. Upgrade to the gaming browser. Download Opera GX.
The greatest players in the world are here.
They can just burn this one down. Oh my god, forward by 9!
You are going to see them like you've never seen them before.
Rocket Will as the Arcane Storm doing so much work in Gen G! They are just going to ace them!
누구 만나도 이길 수 있다는 자신감 정도로만 생각하고 있습니다.
Gen G, the EWC winners! Locking down the Drake is now Doran. Decent position, double break down my walls, but I won't rise again. Cause I stand tall in my environment.
How could I ever close my eyes and stay silent since they try to take me down with their violence?
Oh, they go back in! Fisher flashes in, and down goes Knight!
every moment of your journey crystal clear. Landscapes, absolutely stunning. Close-ups, sharp and full of vibe. Group shots, packed with detail. Zoom in on one face, still flawless. Colors so real, every scene, every smile, unforgettable. Oppo Find X9 series, Hasselblad telephoto, zoom into detail.
I got this old thing and the bill from the store where I got it. Figured you could beat it with a better deal on one of these big boys.
It doesn't work that way.
Guess you're not as cool as Verizon.
Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill for a better deal.
You don't know that?
Dude, it's so weird seeing like American commercials. CFO
We have a new mode
ruler?
for you that we're calling
CFO
ARAM
Doran?
Mayhem. It's ARAM.
What
for
are these
fun.
suggestions?
It combines all the fun augment-fueled variations of Arena with 5v5 ARAM gameplay.
Oh.
We want every champion to feel special and get to explore some combinations and fantasies that they don't normally get outside of Arena.
Oh,
It'll be
we
live with
fought
patch
for a year's
25-21,
revenge.
so
Oh,
look
sorry,
forward to
Piz.
some mayhem coming to the bridge soon.
Bio Panther gang? Dude, god damn. TFL Game TS support? Oh my god, dude. You found the one guy older than fucking Kai Wing.
But let me warn you one last time. Guess who's back to change your life? But it's not gonna be just fine. Whoa, I've got you under my spell tonight. Whoa, we're both heading to hell tonight.
H-League can steal owner? That'd be fucking crazy if they do.
It's time that you found out that I'm gonna get my way. Won't light it up, then I'll burn it down. I'm gonna make you feel like you're invincible when the ones are
I know, but the problem is what Korean can you get to come to Brazil?
sometimes good people do bad things. I have always tried to be
Serve military for peanut? Oh, for HLE? I'd go, I'd be like this, I have a little mustache, and be like, hello, I am Peanut. 안녕하세요. I'm here to do military service. Like, damn, Peanut, you've gotten really fat and ugly. Oh, don't worry about it. HLE BDD? You know what, that could probably work. Why is that racist? Piz. If Bio goes, then you have to kick Miru or Trimby. Everything Chinese accent.
2025. We are in the midst of the quarterfinal.
That was not Chinese accent. If anything, that was like European.
Came out swinging an incredibly dominant.
I was thinking more of a French or German accent, cause like
Moods didn't seem too bad.
I don't know.
I mean, we are on the
But I
floor.
think of like the mustache impersonation.
And he gave us
It's
a
always
fist
like
bump and a smile.
one of those
So,
accents.
I mean,
the Western goat is still in there.
Hello, I'm Mr. Burns, and I would like to take out money.
The series just started late.
Sure, what is your first name? I don't
But
know.
we'll see if they can bounce back, because Top Esports looked ferocious in game one. as Poppy once again makes its way onto the ban list. Talia alongside it. Remember, G2, given their loss, did get side selection.
Chili River? Nah, I don't think so.
Poppy, Talia, you already highlighted. Yunara, Sion.
I don't think so. I mean, River's going to military anyways, so.
So
let's see, very high priority now.
The other champion that Top Esports chose to ban in Game 1. So small adaptations now that we've seen the initial 10 champions removed.
Dude, most of my knowledge of America comes from The Simpsons.
Oh, okay. So Zyban could indicate that Top Esports is thinking about a Vi.
Yeah, and they probably want to just do another dive comp.
What the fuck? No, I did not.
If you can run away with the early game again.
What the fuck?
Is an easy way.
Dude, you don't watch The Simpsons, dude.
G2, of course. This is the moment where the G2 fans say, hey, look, you were bad. Time to break that bad. Time to cook. Show us something.
I didn't do that. That was Star.
Don't give over to Azir after everything.
Nobody, dude, Simpsons is like the funniest thing ever.
Is now open. Perhaps they feel they have better answers into that particular champion.
This is why people don't laugh at my jokes. Half my jokes come from The Simpsons.
Yeah, he is undefeated in his career. Kanavi is
Korea. Just a double check. Korea.
I grew up watching The Simpsons, dude. Like the Christmas holiday specials, like the best thing ever.
It's way harder if you just say his entire career. Ignore the fact that this champion has only jungled for the past, you know, what, year and a half? Now locked in, though. And this is where it starts to get scary for G2, because you mentioned it, Kanavi.
No, dude, Chowie will are the go-to coaches.
We know, Vetty, Rumble is not the bread and
There's
butter
not many coaches out there that are better than Chowie will. I'm going to be dead honest,
for him,
dude.
Jace has fallen out of the meta, but that was the other one that people often talked about.
Kanavi could do the funniest thing if Caps locks in Rise. I'm not expecting it, but looks to be that is the direction that Caps is going to go. So with the Rise locked in, it gives G2 a little bit more side lane threat, which they did not have in Game 1. I wonder what they'll consider pairing alongside it.
Yeah, the Simpsons is the best, dude.
Does prefer those more scaling.
What's the odds of Sans Little Helper? 99 to 1. 99 times 13 means Merry Christmas.
Kiana's first clear. It's very, very susceptible to invades. Mundo probably not going to do that though. Maybe they'll do a level 1 where they can
flex though.
They could get it's definitely a flex, and maybe they'll do a level 1 where they can get priority. But that is sometimes where you can like push Kiana around.
Also, giving Kanavi Kiana is kind of fucking crazy. I did, Alex.
But, most Kiana players are pretty used to that now.
Certainly are, of course, with Mundo locked in. You highlighted Vetty said it's a flex pick for both Skumon and Broken Blade, perhaps waiting to see what will get locked in on the top side. Of course, good into the Rumble.
Ooh,
good into
Rumble's
MR
so good. Rumble Kiana?
So kind of almost a preemptive counter.
Oh, I know Aurora? No fucking way,
However,
dude.
It does mean giving over to TES pick of the litter when it comes to top tier champions. We're in a situation where this is what I would have been scared of in Game 1, and they won Game 1, and now they're doing it in Game 2.
As a longtime Clutch Gaming fan, I love Kiana Rumble. This combination is explosive.
Yeah, Kiana Rumble's fucking dope.
Okay, we let you into the West at the start of the cast. You're going to need to calm down with the niche references a little bit, brother.
Fair enough. It's not going to be the Aurora lock-in just yet for Cream.
I don't think Mundo's bad, though. I like Mundo as a champion.
And it is a bit safer with the Braum already out.
Exactly. Question is, what can G2 now go for? Do they want to lock in their support? So this is going to be their answer into the Rumble. So the Flex is going to disappear.
Yeah.
The Galio going to be secured for Broken Blade means that, well, G2 definitely have a tanky front line, but Top Esports, they have a lot of damage. I guess they were hesitant to lock in the Aurora because they didn't necessarily want a heavy index in AP, but by securing the Alistair, they guarantee themselves at the very least some form of frontline and engage.
And I do like how there's multiple like semi-globals here for G2, Realm Warp and Galio, and Mundo is a very strong scaling front line that can eventually get to the point where you can just walk straight at them and try and mark those very dangerous, slippery, low health members on the opponent team. So they're building something, I feel like, better with more options at least than the first time around.
Yeah. And in Game 2, champions like powered by Omen.
Are you bald, or do you just shave your head often? Bald.
Clearly, TES
or balding. Like, there's hair on the back of my head, but not in the front area.
Kiana Dream is kind of immobile backline threats. The Rise doesn't have a dash, but he goes pretty quick most of the time. Usually can get out of those scenarios.
Do they care about like Ezreal? Well, the G2 care about Ezreal. That one's already off the table.
I feel like that could have been a 4 pick.
I feel like the Caitlyn ban makes a lot of sense.
Unfortunately, I'm just very ugly.
Backline safe type of AD carry. The question is, what does Top Esports think that G2 is going to go for? Because Hansama, he's been very traditional in the AD carry sense recently. We haven't seen any of his Draven at all this year. He's been playing a lot more Ezreal, which they ban out themselves. So that Draven ban, like, it is a respect ban to Hans, but I'm a little surprised to see it just because it's not something that G2 has really practiced or played at all this year.
I feel like TES are just saying, yeah. As long as G2 doesn't have lanes that are going to push heavily on us, like in multiple areas, they feel really comfortable in their own early game. So
very
Caitlyn taking out a Draven, some of the more
maybe they go Sivir.
Options.
I feel like Sivir would probably be better.
Good for G2. It would give them a lot of wave clear. It would give them the ability to have push in the bot side of the map.
Instead, Bard is going to be the lock-in here. Rumble, of course, relatively immobile. Kiana, absolutely not. Sivir as an answer.
This is that was the thing I was concerned about.
They shave your head, so after your customers finish on top,
it gives a lot of what top
and Bridge droplets will look like a pro crown.
Which is an easy way to control mid-wave. So now, Jackula,
not bad, not bad.
Into mid, he has a ton
of wave
confusing. And it's very easy for the rest of his team to roam around.
It's the angle here. I was baited by the hovers. I was curious about the Morgana.
I mean, yeah, Morgana solo lane did get some buffs, but not really the game for it looking like this time around.
Uh-oh. Yone, incredibly AD-heavy composition, high tabby value, but a lot of engage, a lot of backline threat again for Top Esports. It seems like this
Stop doubting, what the fuck?
They're happy to repeat.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as they 1, 2, 3 ban out the Xayah, where they're just gonna keep on going down.
I was confused because usually when you work on the bridge, you don't let people just come on top of your head.
It feels like he's going through options. A face of confusion. Is this the right choice?
It's like, how do I live?
Lucian.
I don't like this.
Full disclosure, this man has not gotten his international Lucian license. Very few people in the West have. Now, if there was ever a game to change it, this is one. But this is a champ that we've seen, even if it gets small lane advantages, even if it's okay at one item, a lot of teams really struggle to work. It's not
I feel like Yone's is better.
Everyone on the team has to be ready to play around this pick.
I really didn't like the prioritization of the Bard, especially with the Sivir open, who now with the spell shield has just a really nice time into the Bard. You're also just... I do think it gives you early lane pressure in the 2 versus 2 because Lucian Bard, at the very least, the double range means that you can bully out the Alistar. But once Sivir gets a few levels, that wave clear is not really going to be too perturbed by what this Lucian Bard brings. And I'm also just concerned, like, Lucian is inherently quite short-ranged. And while, of course, there are a number of champions on G2 side that want to just kind of run at Top Esports, I feel like you don't necessarily want to make it easier for a Yone and a Kiana to threaten you on the back line. I feel like G2 is kind of caught as to what to go for on the bot side of the Rift, and I think Top Esports should be very happy. They've got so much team fight power. They have easy ways to play around their lanes. I think Kanavi has great options. And yeah, I think this is a great game for Top Esports for Hung and Kanavi to really take over the Rift.
G2 are clearly in a very defensive mindset. You
know, it's the short guy.
The Galio counter engage and the Bard, counter engage for themselves as well. But where's the attack? Where's the, the threat actually going to come from here? If you're looking down this G2 side, are you really scared of any of these points? If you're looking at from the point of view of TES, I mean, maybe the Ryze mid, maybe Bard runs mid a lot, and they are able to work off some Ryze pushing mid.
It's a good question, Kobe. But my question is, have people at home got their...
I saw the one with Mike Tyson.
Account on always.com. No one's going to kill each other
I'm feeling a 3-0, dude. I'm feeling we're getting a rematch.
Worlds, you can watch live to earn exclusive Worlds emotes, icons, and capsules.
Wait,
check it out. Get some free stuff.
Why
if you're an EU
fan,
it might ease the suffering of that first game.
Yeah, he thought he was a kid.
Transition to you into a very optimistic game too.
Well, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. But then they're like, oh, it's some adult with like some like disease. I was like, oh, that's fucking weird then, dude.
Go down and they have a sweeper, so at the very least they can get a tiny gold lead.
Well, you don't follow me on threads? I do, don't I?
For me, a lot of this game is going to come down to how much presence Caps can have on the map. He is a player that typically does like to roam. Domestically, we often said that Jojo was the best laner in Europe, but Caps
NA is trash, though. Just to let everyone know, NA is trash. So that's why we're watching Europe play.
And he's going to be very capable of doing that on the Rise. This time, though, Hans and Lebrov need to
And they
have
had a
better
free
2v2 bot
ride
lane.
to
Excellent stuff with
quarters,
Cosmic
and they
Binding.
fucked it up so many times.
Pretty solid early on. Of course, Jackie Love really just focused on clearing out that wave. Alistair level 1 notoriously weak. Bard level 1 pretty dang strong. It's been hit a lot over the years with nerfs.
Hinder Act? I don't even know that was a thing.
Decent damage on a Jackie Love as Lebrov just keeps landing these
Wow.
stuns, forces the flash out.
Not
from
bad,
Jackie Love.
Lebrov.
Okay, there's my answer. I'm scared of the bottom lane.
You have a
because-
Jimmy
Lucian. Like that. What a great
Honestly,
pick.
yeah, great call. But I was sorry, sir. I wasn't familiar with your game. I didn't know that Q would hit. That hitbox seems a little crazy, but we'll bring that up in a different series.
Yeah, we still have a good relationship with Gory. We still like him. We hung out with him at First Dad when I was in Korea.
And they send Jackie back to base. All he can buy is a refillable potion.
He doesn't have TP this time around. Hans was already
You have
forced
Grinder?
back early on,
No.
level 2, level 3 in that game 1. G2 off to a much better start.
But like, you know,
Oh,
just
that-
looking
Lebrov is
around,
gonna make it
speaking.
even worse.
This is so
Right?
good
It's like,
because
you
they
know,
did the
even if
level
you're
1 and they
lactose
had the
intolerant,
vision.
it
They
doesn't
knew
mean you
that
can't go to the
Kanavi is
milk
clearing up towards
section.
top side, so they could just straight proxy Jackie to level 1. You're gonna stay level
This guy
1,
moves his
buddy.
base camp right side.
Jackie
CF lost
Love.
03.
Has to be
Lost
frustrated.
everything. He lost it all.
Three
But Gen
from
G
LeBron.
won.
Can't sidestep as the initial Q connects. Hansama only level 2. Is able to proc the press the attack. Jackie Love so
Mundo,
damn
Mundo.
well.
God, Jackie
Skewon
Love's getting
starting
so
to walk
fucking
down.
sling.
TES imprisoned under this bot lane tower.
I don't know,
If they
just
go
to
anywhere
look,
else,
right?
they will
There's
fall.
nothing wrong with
And if
looking.
they leave, they will
Like
fall.
window
He needs to
shopping.
turn behind. Jackie Love desperately needs access to the spell shield, but it looks like Skewon might just start to walk him down. Knockup is there, but again, Lebrov 3 for 3 on the bindings. Hong though clutch as he fires back.
Ooh, G2 barely get out alive with the other 2 members. Mid though.
Caps caught out. Procs the phase rush, starts to run, will be able to make it away. Hong on the way in to try and
Hong!
Q flash slowed down.
Oh,
Skewon
you
getting a little
fucked
bit
that
more
up!
damage. Down goes Hong. He wanted to turn it back, but G2 find another.
We wanted to see a better early game from G2. Well, this is a damn sight better than compared to
Mine's like a
game
tweet
1.
calling out KT.
Kanavi trying to do something in the
I
middle
made a
lane,
tweet
trying to
saying
put
that,
pressure
you
on
know,
the Caps.
KT
He
is
walks
the
that off
best,
as
and I'm
chaos
excited for
ensues
them.
in the bottom lane.
And then
I mean, they suck.
Hong has
Or,
an
no, they didn't kick my ass, so I
embarrassing
can't
play
really
right
say
there
shit
going
now.
for Lebrov, who has flash up. Got to keep track of these cooldowns here. And so the bottom lane for G2 massively accelerated, including the Mundo here. The famed triple ruby crystal buy. Huge.
What was crazy about that bottom lane play as well was
Ace line?
I thought that
What's an
Hong's
ace line?
knock up onto 2 was going to be the difference maker because G2 would have had to tank an extra tower shot. But it was Skewon that ended up tanking the tower. He then got punted out by Hong, which means that the tower aggro reset, ultimately allowing Hong to get that kill onto Hansama. But still, look at that CS discrepancy between the 280 carries. 33-7.
Yeah, they're balling
And
so
Sivir
fucked.
might have wave clear, but that hinges on her
Recommendation
having
of
money.
the
And right now
week?
she is very broke. as
No,
Lebrov
I don't really have
continues
any
to be a thorn in the side of
recommendations.
TES,
Nothing
laying
good has
down
come
early
out
vision with control
recently.
wards. Luckily for the TES bottom lane, Kanavi is here to cover, but he hasn't canceled the recall yet. Jackie Love only at level 2. And this is one
yeah,
of the
but
things
it's like
about
no one
Lucian,
really
right? This is
tanky
why we
on
saw him as a mid
TS
laner or a
side.
solo laner. If he builds these individual
Like, they have a
leads,
good front
he's
line,
just
right?
another
But
mobile
I feel like
champion that
TS
can dive,
is
that
going to
can
be
force
fine,
and push
like,
these
handling
advantages.
it.
Navi's here for the counter, but Caps is coming down. This would be a 4-person move.
Sora no Iro.
G2.
It's the color of the sky, color of the water. Sora no Iro, Mizu no Iro. Yeah, that one is like a good.
TES still imprisoned under that bottom lane tower. It's Q for Skewon to start up.
What's it called? Introductory.
This is so big for G2 game plan here. They can play all their resources down to the bottom side. You want to leave the Galio isolated versus Rumble.
It's very
anyway.
vanilla.
You just continue to stack
Very safe.
dragons, have Ryze constantly hovering to gank on bottom side, and Skewon keep on clearing from top side down to bottom side here, scaling up on the Mundo as well.
It's really well
Plus, this
animated. It's
also
really nice
gives
and
your
pretty.
Bards so many extra roam timers.
And I think a
That and,
collective
like,
sigh
Fault.
of relief from the G2 fans and maybe one of anxiety from the TES fans, because remember that game 1 was a stomp from start to finish. I do not think there was a single moment where G2 were in control, and game 2,
If
just a
TS
couple
wins
minutes
after
in,
Kiss
already
KT,
swinging
G2
heavily in the
wins?
favor
Ain't
of
that
G2
Kiss
esports
me?
in
Is
this
that just a
game 2
win-win
draft.
for
We
me
have
then?
questions about the Bard, but I'm running out of questions, and Jackie Love's running out of health.
A nice play there as the TP will come through from Hong to quickly get back to the safe, or come back to help his AD carry. Jackie Love only just now cresting to level 4. Hansama close to level 6. These levels are so
that's
valuable
different, dude.
in the early game.
Unless there
and
is
that's
one called
only
Sora no
made
Ino.
worse by the fact that there's a pickaxe in Hansama's inventory.
This is the first time I will
The only one I know
maybe
is
have seen
Ito
a bot
or,
lane
like,
Lucian cull a level
Inu.
4 Sivir, which is terrifying for TES.
And I mean, if you go all the way back, Hansama, his main criticism used to be that he could only play aggressive AD carries.
Sure.
Like, Lucian, Draven were kind of his go-to champions right at the start of his career because lane dominance was what he was all about. But Top Esports looking to finally answer. They brought 369 down to the bottom lane.
I know one of them. I don't know the name, but has so many series. It's probably Onichichi. I had to guess just off that. It's another really popular one. It had a lot of spin-offs and a lot of different episodes.
Courtesy of Lebrov as Hansama sprints to the top side, happy to have that isolated 1v1. The pickaxe, a massive difference, as
I don't know that one.
1.5 levels
I'd have to look it up.
XP in the favor of Hans, and you highlighted it so well. Aggressive at the start, and then in recent years criticized for passivity, for being a passenger often when other G2 players were carrying, but that hasn't been the story in 2025. Hans, a player who has stepped up alongside the rookie lineup, but now looking at Lebrov.
Cream seems to be doing good so far.
Not going to be able to.
Oh, is that what? That's crazy. That was able to predict it.
Happened. I don't want to talk. I'm just saying.
Are you the Japanese queso? That's fucked up to say about queso, man.
Don't make me talk about that.
Dude,
What
that's
did you
fucked
call
up.
Fumiyushi, Kobe? Should we bring that one back up?
You know,
It happens. It happens.
That was a nickname of endearment, you know? Honestly, though, G2 progressed the game plan pretty smoothly here.
I'll take a look.
As Skewmon level 6 on Mundo just
I'll
away.
take a
With
look.
the extra grubs as well. You know, he got second Stoner
man.
grab, so he got that extra leverage over Kanavi. Then getting the grubs as well is just so nice for this champ.
G2. Happy to have all 3 Void Grubs. And again, TES, we saw what a dive comp looks like when you get these big leads early on. But
That's like a regular anime, no?
You can't be as liberal with those cooldowns. You really need to be hitting these multi-man equalizers. You need to be connecting the Fate sealed from Cream. Now in the mid lane, they've managed to connect an initial bit of CC, but Caps, again, just making the most out of the phase rush.
No, everyone's on their way back home, though.
TES to finish the kill.
Does cost
They'll be back
Caps'
today.
Flash, but it's just going to have to play a little bit
I
more
think everyone's going to
defensive.
fuck off for
Moving into that fog of war.
vacation.
He does this often to try and exude that map pressure. Skewmon is hovering around, and
Dude,
this
is
time it's not
Lebrov
fake
actually playing
pressure.
well
He
on
has the
Bard?
ulti available. He's been spotted.
Cap spotted Jackie Love on the run. Now realizes there's really nowhere for him to go. The last bastion of safety. TP not quite there for Cream. TP not quite there for 369 as the Colin comes out onto Jackie Love.
Huge.
The heal already popped. Caps waiting off to the side. Skewmon tanking the tower. The TPs are now coming in. That's the feed of war
Wow,
for G2.
Skewmon.
And the portal out.
Dude, they're actually playing this well.
Ugh. The equalizer. Too damn late.
The G2 are actually playing this comp well, dude.
As G2
They're like Mundo dives and stuff with Bard ult or E.
And early game 1.
Broken Blade moved from bot lane into mid.
The CFO played well this year. Like,
and
the whole year for CFO has been really, really successful.
A small win for Top Esports, but we look back at this dive, and I mean, it's just a numbers advantage. The level difference is too much. Jackie Love takes so much damage initially from the culling alone, and then Skewmon gets one, throws the briefcase to close that case file as he gets away to safety. And now we return back to live as Caps has found Hung.
Oh, Hung is dying.
Too far forward. Thought he had an angle. Thought G2 were resetting, but punished for his hubris.
Oh my god.
But
Lebrov and Skewmon are just fucking digging on them.
Solo vision. Kanavi had finished Krugs down there. That was a solo mission from Hung. Definitely a rough one from him this game. So much of a better look.
Damn, okay, G2.
Clearly they came into this one with the
early game goal lead,
early game plan, and they have executed on that game plan straight from level 1. I would say, even if you cooked up this game plan, though, it probably went even better than they expected, being able to zone Jackie so much.
Proxying at level 2, I don't think was part of the initial plan.
I mean, we were skeptical. I especially said, like, I didn't like this Lucian pick, but, like a large part of it, well, a whole part of it is you need to be leveraging your early push in the bot 2v2. And after game 1, someone just
I'll take a look.
straight
Thanks,
got bodied by Jackie Love in the matchup. To come in game 2, brush that one off, and then have a performance like this.
I'm not into really like fluffy stuff though.
They're continuing that pressure. Level 8 Hans Summon to level 6 Jackie Love. He's being completely zoned away from the
Have you seen some of these League of Legends matches? There's no fluffiness or kindness involved.
Jackie out of this game. They've ignored topside in 369 entirely. They're happy to give him isolated gold as long as they can take it away from Jackie Love.
Yeah, this is something that G2's doing a lot this game. They are constantly committing 4 members to one side of the map. Broken Blade moves into mid to catch the wave. And as you highlighted, Dracos, they're just allowing 369 that solo farm. He's building a lead of his own, but the rest of the map is going all the way of G2.
Committed into going into Broken Blade. That's the fate seal for the follow-up. A lot of time wasted here. They do get Broken Blade, but LeBron moving up as well. TES finally finding an angle to strike back. At the very least, 369 also going to grab some plates.
Yeah, I know it's Yowie. I looked it up.
TES we're in. They know we cannot continue to fight into this G2 strength.
You should read a book of Corinthians
so they just sacrifice it. Okay,
really
fine.
read.
You get the bottom tower. You know, you're going to get the first turret, but they make the play mid while simultaneously getting some value on top lane. As you say, 4-3-6-9. So this is TES trying to make
the best books. I can't read.
And then it allows Jackie
English is my second language. I don't know how to read properly.
Lane bottom.
And I think holding onto this mid lane tower is so important for TES. Yone, melee champion, would like a bit more time before he goes out to the side lane. Jackie really cannot hold Hans. If they lose this mid lane tier,
you're right, Piz. I should have realized LEC is better than LCP.
Threatening with his tempered fate.
I mean, he's moving around the map very comfortably right now.
Also, LCK is better than LPL.
To the top lane. There's more plates for them to secure. They're going to share those alongside Caps. As the mid wave gets cleared out, TP going to commit committed.
Oop, out my mouth for $1 million? Probably,
Broken
yeah.
Blade is just kind of the unfortunate side effect to Soppy Sports.
$1 million is a lot of money.
They're kind of attacking him, doing what they can to get something back out on the rim.
Only reads books and pictures. I read like,
I'm keeping my eyes on
you know,
Cream, who
the Cat in the Hat,
game one, but is
like half of it at least.
Scale. Blade of the Ruin King now finished.
Green Eggs and Ham, that was pretty dope.
Top side fight. Set up there from the side of G2. They have Tempered Fate, the Coaling, Realm Warp. Skumon as well with the maximum dosage. Likely unkillable. He does not go under tower. But
well, what do you want from me, dude? English is my second language.
Ulti available for him as well. TES playing on the defensive, playing on the back foot. I think just trying to minimize the losses, stem the bleeding as much as they can. You highlighted it before, though. Broken Blade still suffering in that isolated 1v1 as Cream knows that there's pressure on him.
Where's Waldo's a good book?
Yeah, exactly. You know, Broken Blade rushing into the MR for the Rumble matchup, but Cream here with his Blade of the Ruin King will melt through a Galio.
I remember English class, they made us read books. So I put where's Waldo as on the books I read.
In a world where the side lanes are going to be dangerous for them this time around.
She's so pissed when she figured out what the fuck, where's Waldo books are.
They're going to constantly be pressuring TES. TS's ability
this is like in first grade.
Side lane minion waves, and so Cream is going to have to be very careful with the pressure that he does exert.
Let's see how both teams.
Yeah, you have to like write down like, you know, oh, I read this book,
Caps
you know.
And Summer once again grouping up in the mid lane to contest that push. Bot lane has been completely abandoned. Skumon is in the area. They're now going to go and send Caps to go and catch
This is
that
the
wave.
English you talk? Yo, that just shows how bad English education is in Japan, dude.
Very far behind.
If I can become an English teacher, oh my god, now you understand why Japanese people can't speak English.
Across the map from LeBron. He's got great deep wards everywhere on the map.
Kanavi on the flank, though.
Here it is, Kanawe! Oh! Damn! Okay, Kanavi, you're fucking Kiana, let's go.
Oh, Kanavi
Magic Treehouse?
Around and hits them both.
I remember those. I don't remember finishing them though.
And they get the shutdown as well.
But those are like pretty good like kids books, yeah.
And this
Over the bigger dog. I watched the cartoon show.
For G2. They had a great start to this game, but taking out Han Summer gives a nice window for
Dude, I don't know, man. I want to say, my dream is AL versus
that was just such a masterful play here.
Gen G in the finals, but
for them to punish G2.
I'd be like, fuck me, dude.
The gold
I'm scared about AL.
Instantly.
Remember that Broken Blade is kind of been
Kevin, you ready to like Waldo's hiding? What?
Don't expect Kanavi in the river. An early flash from LeBron, a fantastic read from Cream. The combination of the two ultimates from Kanavi and Cream working wonders as they get a big shutdown onto this Lucian.
And we know how crucial Kanavi is for this team's early game. It was a bit quiet. The map fell apart too soon, but even despite that, he and Cream have found a way back in this game. Only 500 gold now separating this team.
What the fuck?
Kanavi, of course, on this Kiana. There's a reason teams take it away, and G2 learning that firsthand.
He doesn't have enough aces on the yeah, but then explain CFO. We had 6.
To be able to funnel into this Yone and have some huge.
Had more than KD!
Is still available for G2. They're starting it out very quickly. Broken Blade walking over. Galio ultimate ready.
Eyes on Hansama and the Coaling. the most fed, individually powerful.
They have ult? Yona doesn't have ult yet. Yona doesn't have ult.
It's the flank for Broken Blade for now. 369.
Oh, they all have ult. They have ult.
Is real from TES if they can find the angle.
They're looking for it. Cubon! Oh, Kanawe gets it.
Down for TES. They no longer with the fight. They want to get out. Quick bait sealed from TES. But now the Realm Warp in. G2
what
moving
the
forward.
fuck? Defensive? Rumble ult?
TES retreating well, getting the initial objective. Their fate now tempered. Jackie Love locked up. Surely the Sivir falls here. Puts a quick flash back, and G2
oh my god, Gallo answer both flashes instantly away.
There. Lebrov ultimate actually hits the stasis onto Jackie just as Broken Blade got a taunt onto him. So then it times
you look like the OG sound for
the
typical.
Ultimate, he can
god,
flash
dude, why
away,
did you?
So G2 are unable to catch anyone on the way out.
You can see that G2 is so hesitant to force that engage. Now Hong may have found a nice angle onto Cap.
It's true, I do look like that.
No Realm Warp and they know it.
It's actually crazy how much I look like that.
here as well. The Profane Hydra, a lot of potential burst damage. Move in, reset on the blade. Terra shape, grasp to try and finish it. The Ishtal's edge, knocking down Caps.
Mr.
Just
Krabs?
Like that, Top
no.
Esports have eliminated the goal difference. All of
no,
that
David
advantage
Bucks.
that G2 had managed to build
Jesus,
disappears
dude.
as
Got
369
the pig
with a
nose and
1.4K goal lead
everything.
over Broken Blade. Hans Summer still
God
with this
damn,
advantage.
dude. Why does he have more teeth than I do?
Not looking as weak as he did in the early game, as Kanavi and Cream are making magic happen on the Rift.
Yeah, I mean, TS, they wipe out the gold lead. They also put a stop to the
LeBron
Dragon
plays
stacking,
awful.
that one,
Santino, I don't know about that.
themselves
Like,
into a
I feel like
very
his
comfortable
bar in this
position
game
to
has
now
been
be able
pretty
to pull off
good.
this big wombo combo of a team comp that they do have for themselves.
Hasn't Bard looked
such
pretty
a
good
goal
this
lead here
game?
from the early stages. The Rumble Ultimate, since you're going to have Alistar, Yone, and Kiana setting up this Rumble Ultimate as solo AP, 369 is going to burn.
And 369 building for the team with the Cursed Orb, getting that healing reduction so that Skewmon
Mr. Krabs, I mean, the only thing about me and Mr. Krabs is that we're both
so
fat,
much
right?
physical damage. 369
Bubble
would be one
bass?
source of
God
magic damage. He knows how
damn,
important it
dude.
is to stop Skewmon
Oh,
from running amok.
I hope
Even
I don't
if
have
the
to wear
initial dive
glasses.
looks promising for TES.
Yeah, I mean, even though Jackie's super far behind, they've got a Blade of the Ruined King Yone and a Leandri's Rumble to be able to roast through the Mundo here. Skewmon did go very heavily into armor, both the crit reduction as well as the tabbies.
You hate pickles on burgers? No.
Minus damage on auto attacks. So 369 still gonna.
I should take all. I should keep all toppings on my food.
Position for G2 now.
Like
You have to feel
Subway,
the
I
ease of
just get all the
execution
vegetables
favors
and
top
everything.
esports. Hansama
Except for
really
jalapenos,
needs to
I don't
be
like
on
that.
his A game. Cannot afford to get caught again.
You hate
highlighted
pickles
already, but
on
Jackie Love
burgers?
from being
I
zoned
don't mind.
away for so many of the early levels to now comfortably catching waves and farming in the mid lane. Definitely not what G2 were planning for. As Kanavi caught out for a moment.
Oh, he hits three! Oh, Hog with the follow-up! Oh my god, dude, they're actually playing this so well. Oh my god, Hog, what are you doing?
Initial binding going down. Redemption coming in to heal up. G2 is ready to turn it back. Broken Blade there to cover both teams.
Oh my god, this went from a good fight. Oh my god, Creep missed everything too!
He's forced to
Yeah,
snap
just
back,
fucking back off. Oh my god,
G2
dude.
holding on.
Kanavi keeps finding these crazy plays. That
On
should have
hot
been
dogs,
the bot
I
lane
like-
of G2 dead once again. But the
Ketchup and
Bard
mustard.
Just barely getting
Oh,
him to
onions,
safety.
dude,
The
onions.
blast cone just barely
Fried
getting them
onions
to
are so
safety.
goated.
Hung, he steps a little too far.
Relish?
And it ends up costing him.
I can do
But
it
my
with or without
Kanavi
relish.
continues to be
I'm not.
terrifying.
I don't
Maybe
love
it's
them or
the
hate them.
second time where Hung really wanted to
Like the
kill
pickles
LeBron.
thing is like,
And when
I
for a
wouldn't
kill,
ask for
support
pickles on my
versus
burgers, but if I
support,
had a burger and there was
ends up
pickles
giving
on it, I wouldn't
over one.
take
And
them out.
G2
You know,
take
I
the
would just
opportunity
eat
to
it
start
and
the
be
Otacon.
happy.
I mean, they've got the earlier route over here, much quicker approach
we
for
just done
G2.
Jake spoke a
TES,
lot.
It might have to be a steal. Know that Kiana
Either
with
that or
rock
uses
elements,
ChatGPT.
though, is so good at stealing objectives.
Waiting on that cooldown for the Terra shape so you can get the double Q off. 4K.
No way!
50-50. The answer is yes, but Skewmon connects with the smite, secures the Otacon for G2.
That's huge. That's flash off of Kanavi as well. No flash on the Kiana.
I don't think I've ever had a
Again with
pickle
Grass,
alone
hoping that
though.
the
I
invisibility
had
is gonna
bacon
buy
wrap
him time to
pickles.
get a
Those are
better
really fucking
smite.
goated, dude. Americans know
for
how to
himself,
fucking die of
getting the kill,
diabetes
getting the Otacon,
or
and
heart
getting that
failure or
flash,
something.
all critical wins for G2.
Americans
ambitious
know how to be
play comes
fat,
through from Kanavi,
die from
ends up falling
diabetes,
short,
or
but
die from
G2
heart
find themselves
failure.
with an advantage
That's like the
once
American
again.
dream. If you can die
Game
from one of those
was
ways,
Top Esports in full control
you've lived
from
the
start to
American
finish.
dream.
Game 2, G2 get out the gates with a really nice lead, but Top Esports are punishing these positioning mistakes from G2, finding picks where they can.
Dude, when I first went to America and I had Chipotle, I started tearing up, dude. I was crying. I was
ultimately come down to execution from both sides. Hans Sama is so fed, working towards what I imagine will be the Infinity Edge, and once he gets it, my goodness, will this
I think TES have better scaling.
Cut out for a brief moment, but it looks like he's turned it back onto Labrov. Thought the portal would keep him safe, but it did not. Mundo passive removed, won't be able to pick up the canister.
Like, I think they can shred through Mundo if they all, like, you know.
Forced to use the maximum dosage, starting to heal out. The taunt still connects onto Cream, but an
the Rumble could have been better.
To zone away Hans Sama. Healing reduction does mitigate some of it. This is about half HP. TES now.
Oh, never mind.
So many ultimates. Keep your eye on the
Mundo's healing so fucking much. They don't have ult, they don't have ult. Oh, wait, they're right, Cream!
Cream in the clutch, trading 1-for-1.
The Caps is still full health though. Oh my god, he took so much damage from that.
Of TES.
Incredible triangulation of the engage from Cream onto Hans Sama, taking him out. Caps is the fearsome member of G2 still left alive, but
Alright,
with
here's
the
Rumble TV. They should back off now.
TES will force them off the objective.
Labrov inbound with the Tempered Fate, but it does look like TES will tie up the Drakes. 369. Not going to follow the magical journey.
Yeah, they have a pickle and they wrap it around with bacon and cook it and then you eat it.
G2 forced to retreat to the top side of the map.
So good, dude. It's so good.
G2, they need to be so much more aware of Top Esports' position on the map.
So are you living the American dream right now? No, unfortunately. I'm just fat because I'm fat.
With Labrov just dying.
I'm not fat like Americans though.
He's sitting with Scuba.
Dude, I'm fat as fuck, but dude, when you go to America, you're just like, god damn, dude. I can put on a bikini.
It did cost Kanavi his ultimate, which then made this ensuing fight very, very difficult for them to play.
This fight was hard because they didn't have all their ults.
But ultimately, Cream will find
you think Silva could have won ASI?
Yeah, that ends up swinging the fight in Top Esports' favor.
Yeah, Jackie though has to flash away. Caps trying to follow with his own. It actually got kind of dicey for them at the end, but here it is. Cream, he finds it, he's over, ultimates through, and he trades his life for Hans Sama, allowing the rest of TES to control the bottom side of the river.
Frustration on the face of Bro.
Hard to lose weight. The heli stuff is too expensive. I mean, if you cook yourself and just exercise, don't eat like a pig, I feel like it's not that bad. But what am I saying, dude? I'm fat as fuck, so how the fuck would I know?
But keeping my eyes on 369, the Rumble continues to benefit as Jackie Love has been caught out. Skewmon finding him.
My camera can't capture how wide I am.
The ulti from the Bard, not quite.
Wow, wait, Silver just dies like that?
From the Rumble, the Equalizer, doing a bit of damage back, but the pick in favor of G2.
When in doubt, look to pick off Jackie Love. It is a tried and true strategy. G2, early position into the brush of the red quadrant of the jungle rewards them.
He's catching Nu. Hong's able to find the knockup working through. Extra damage onto Skewmon now going through. Cream is going to follow the snap. Coming in, but Hansama's already gotten a kill in return. Skewmon is just healing.
This is unkillable. Wait, they have no healing reduction? Oh, Rumble has the healing reduction.
He found the angle in the previous fight. He will not today. Hung getting run down in G2's jungle. G2 found the initial pick. TES thought they could do one better, but they absolutely could not.
Ring around the rosy.
Hex blast goes over. Running. Okay, he's dead. And Hung, I gotta be honest, it's been a rough one. You said it earlier, but just continue.
Are your nipples hairy? Yeah. How much calories do you eat on average a day? A lot. Probably like, I don't know, 4,000.
To collect. 369 doing a lot of damage, but crucially the taunt turning away from Caps. Caps now 3 kills.
I just love
honestly,
eating food, dude.
Pace, G2 are snowballing. They're turning it up. They're creating some chaos here, and that has resulted in a 2,000 gold lead being retaken for them. It starts with making an early positional play into TES jungle during the reset. That rewards them the kill onto Jackie Love, and then step by step, they kind of take more and more.
Pepperoni,
and now
dude.
They want the biggest prize of Summoner's
Just your
Rift.
legs?
Oh, no,
I don't really have
hairy
legs. It's not as hairy as other people.
As Kanavi is in the area.
Second blue trinket
come down.
Spots it out. Skewmon, of course, happy to tank up a lot of this damage.
Oh.
Massive risk to be certain. Temper Fate available. TES group. Labrov holding onto it as long as he can. Kanavi.
Okay.
Ready to go. Stun onto
wait, Jackie Love?
Caps immediately going to follow. Redemption
oh, Jackie Love's instant dead.
Once again, Jackie is picked off. Cream coming in with the Q3, but it's just too late.
Kanavi ult didn't land?
He isn't able to grab the
oh, G2's winning.
Goes. G2 might not get the Baron yet, but they sure as hell take the fight.
A scary situation that is masterfully handled. G2 find a nice turn.
I was last in
onto
War
top
Suit
esports,
last year
who
when I
don't
was
find
coaching.
all 5 members. They put the pressure onto Kanavi. They get the pick onto Jackie Love, and they're looking to secure their first Baron of the series.
What a domino effect for G2. And picking off the Rumble in the side lane results in the pressured 5v4 at Baron. They get all the kills, they get the Baron. Vedius, you can breathe a sigh of relief.
The pick onto Jackie Love. He steps up a little too far. Caps locks him down. Hansama's positioning. He's so aware of the threat of Kanavi. He's already fallen prey to Cream once before. He doesn't want to allow it this time around. Lebrov, his ultimate wasn't the best, but his Q's made up for it as he allowed G2 to chase down their opposition. And now they're looking to equalize this series if they can use this Baron to close things out.
A lot of stoic faces.
The fucking heads.
Not so stoic face in Ramaz. G2, 5,000 gold. TES were doing everything they could to bring it back. They found 1 or 2 good plays to shut down Hansama. But G2 righted the ship, have remained in control, finding picks on Hong, finding picks on Jackie Love, back-to-back across multiple skirmishes, and now looking to leverage the most they can from this Baron, from this Red Bull Baron power play.
Yeah, and they're so tanky at the moment.
Thanks, man.
You know,
Thanks.
Rise scaling up
Thanks
very
for having
nicely.
big
Mundo
head.
Scaling up very nicely for them, and they have the coverage of these counter-engaged champions we talked about with Galio and the Bard here ready for themselves, so they can safely play 2 lanes very easily with a lot of extra disengage and coverage for themselves. That allows you really impressive use of a Baron buff that guarantees towers will be destroyed, gold will be accrued for G2, and the poise that they have showed on stage here after being demolished in game number 1 results in G2 knocking on the base of TES here, only 27.5 minutes into the game.
Oh, that Civet starting to hurt a little bit. Caps brought down to less than 50% HP.
Okay, never mind. It's not going to be 3-0, dude. This looks like a pretty good fight for G2.
Haven't quite given up just yet. The game is not over. Dragon is alive.
Waiting in the darkness. Q3 from Cream connecting nicely. Redemption to heal him back up. 350 additional HP to hold the line here as G2 knocking down the tier 2s, but haven't broken the base quite yet. Maybe hoping to catch TES.
I'm looking for a good fight from TES.
The Baron buff on Caps means that he's not going to have those empowered minions. He's going to clear out this wave, but that mid tower is soon to fall as G2 continue their siege on the bot side of the map.
Yes. Using the equalizer to clear
Dude,
this
like,
wave,
look at
knowing there's only 1 more coming in mid,
wave
1 more
clear?
coming in bot before the Baron will fade away. Skewmon chunked out. Nice magical journey to usher G2 into the mid lane, out-rotating TES for a brief moment. Does mean the inhibitor should fall.
I mean, they can use Rise ult to minion to bot tower.
Afford to force a fight, especially with the Kiana at this
No,
angle.
they're not.
Big
Okay, never
walls
mind.
to play around. So hard for TES to get that 5v5.
Yeah, honestly, I think TS just have to play
Wow,
damage control.
okay,
G2 are keeping up the pressure, though. These Bards rotating everybody over to bottom side, and they're going to get this tower as well.
Oh, Hong!
Looking for the 3-man to be
Oh, no one else follow up on that.
Creep cannot find the ulti, but Skewmon sure as hell can't find the back line. G2 moving through, but Kanavi found the shutdown. In the meantime, the healing now going in. It's a jungler down, but Hansama is dead as well. Jackie Love in 369. Needing now to hold the line. 369 moving through. Jackie Love in the mid lane. TES a bit over-eager on the force there. G2 happy to punish as Cream manages to find the knock-up. Continuing to poke at G2.
G2 might win, though.
Only be the second inhibitor as G2 set their sights on their third
G2
dragon.
looking good.
I mean, credit to Kanavi. The fact that he's able to continuously find these kills onto Hansama speaks to how good he is on this champion. But the gold gap, I feel, is just too big right now. Flashes came through from G2 to disengage from that scenario. The Galio ultimate to zone the rest of top esports away meant that G2 could secure their second inhibitor. They'll put themselves onto sole point, and they'll hold on to the lead for now.
Yeah, TES, they don't have damage to kill Mundo at the moment. They either need more damage out of Jackie or they need some more damage from Cream. Here's another look at the engage. They only basically got Broken Blade, and Broken Blade still escaped and came back for the re-engage on top of Mundo. That being said, Kanavi's still able to find his target, killing the Lucian at the very least, and ensuring that TS at least don't lose their Nexus right now. But still, it's such a power play for G2, you know, for the mid stage of this game. They can look forward to that Baron.
Dude, Jackie Love is so far behind on items. What the fuck,
from
dude?
Top Esports is Hung got 3 flashes instantly.
He's
Hung's
still
the
working on
Braum
his
and
third
Broken
item
Blade
while
all
Hansam's
taken off
almost
the
done with
board.
his fourth.
Caps also used his flash, chasing down 369 in the base, which means the Top Esports, if they can find another pick, maybe they can still salvage some of this game.
And they do now have the Infinity Edge for Cream, so the Yone is going to be more threatening.
I
Jackie,
thought
of course, because
Sivro
he's been
should
pushed
get
so far
the
behind,
healing
needs
reduction
a lot
item
more
because
time,
then it'll ricochet and
to be able
bounce
to
off the
really
others.
catch back up. And so G2, they're not going to give him that time. 2 inhibitors down.
Dude,
they're coming forward the
I'm
third.
surprised this draft is like
pressure up.
not winning.
369 uses the equalizer to clear the wave, and they've got Cream split pushing in a side lane. Knowing that G2 don't really have the threat to full commit here.
I would kind of like if
ultimate.
G2 threw this
They could
game
use it if
because
they want to
the
try and
red
force a
comes
dive,
to
but
D.
G2's engage isn't the quickest.
What the
They are
fuck?
quite reliant on Skumond
damn,
just
dude.
running at his opposition. Maybe Caps landing a root. Good damage comes down onto Skumond.
Another wave here. Cream finally going to reset. Ready to engage in the fight. 2-man ulti coming in from Kanavi, and Labrov is on the way. Falling over the wall. Taking down Hung as 369 also trying to fire back. The Flame Spitter doing a decent amount of work, but here comes the Realm War.
Dude, they're not comboing their abilities though.
Make it out of this one. The Grass Blade keeps him standing though, crucially. Flashing from Cream. This time,
Okay, here it is.
got the movement. Manages to make it out of the way with the Relentless Pursuit, and now Caps chasing
No,
down the
never
remaining
mind.
members of TES. G2 firing back in this game too, and they may just look to end it here.
G2 bounce back in a masterful way. They stick to their comfort.
Kanavi, decent start to the fight, but it's just not enough. You said it, Betty. A masterful bounce back. We had questions. G2 had answers. The series tied at 1-1.
Beautiful game plan. Attack the bottom lane. G2 just destroyed.
Let's go
Jackie and
G2. Better than.
They need to secure a few more kills before they round things out. Smiles, handshakes on the face of Broken Blade. He was kind of left out to dry this game. But hey, he did what he could. He landed what taunts he could where he can.
Zero's already back.
This game really was very much about that bottom
I mean, they
lane,
sent
finding
teams
that
home
early
like
lead.
the next
Let's hear
day,
what
dude.
the analysts have to say.
G2 strike back. They don't let Top Esports run all over them, and they do it with Lucian, question mark? These are just one of the things we're going to talk about in this segment, but first and foremost, though,
Mundo! And you are talking shit about the Mundo pick. Mundo OP!
Perhaps also some snafus from both teams, but a very big win and recovery from G2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a massive win from G2. You know, going back towards this Mundo, work for them against FlyQuest. I think it has been a really successful pick. But I think the big surprise for everybody is that they went to Bard Lucian, and it really did work out early.
Yeah, the
It
Bard
created this
Lucian was
massive lead
actually
for
so
them.
good.
And I have not been impressed by Labrov's Bard so far, and I know EU
Me
Lucian
too.
is a dangerous subject to be talking about, but they created such an early advantage.
And I really want to highlight this exact moment because this could not be further apart from the story in Game 1, where Jackie and Hung ran that lane starting level 1. This time, they make colossal mistakes level 1. Jackie takes a huge chunk, has to back, and then G2 play it out perfectly immediately. Labrovka, or rather Skumond comes over, they zone Jackie away from the turret, chunk him down, and this is what sets up to what I thought
then
was
Skumond
gonna
started
be
headed
a
towards
great
bot.
and clean G2 win, because this early game was played out. Really, it was textbook.
And the fact that they end up getting these early kills onto Skumond is huge as well. He's able to start to snowball when it comes to the experiences. You've set Jackie Love massively far behind. Like the fact that Brawl was hitting some of these stuns in level 1, I was like, they're not angles I thought he could hit.
Wow, okay. Okay, Doug. He still won the game, by the way. Hey, but talk about EU Lucian to me, because there's a reason why we didn't have a lot of faith.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see the win rate 2 to 13 was Lucian all time this year in the LEC, and it's an absolutely absurd time.
Well, if they win, I mean, Jackie Love got completely fucked, right?
No, it's going to be going 0-2 immediately. But we managed to
Hong,
get
Hong,
the early
Hong.
plays. We snowballed.
Don't say that about Hong.
Sama was doing such a good job with the culling in these fights.
There's
to
no
actually
way.
set up for a lot of these victories, and it's the enabling that we haven't been able to get right in LEC, but G2 were able to do just that here in this game.
I think he deserves his international Lucian license, and yeah, I'm glad that he did, because the bot lane was the strong point for them back in 2024. But Maurits, run me through our next replay, which is a great move by G2, thanks to the reliable Cisco network, because they needed this.
Because I really was on an emotional roller coaster, because at first I thought J2 deserved to win this game, then they made a couple of big snafus, but then they kept their heads cool. And they made sure that this series didn't end up going to a 2-0. I think that would have just been the end of it, but they immediately isolate Jackie Love. Kanavi is unable to hit the wall, and if this fight doesn't go their way, and we were skeptical because Skumon didn't have his ult, and they lose here, they lose this game.
Can I ask you, if you're playing a game, would you advise this positioning at Baron with your team?
Well, Rumble was dead with no ult, so I think that's why they're going for it, but it definitely, you've seen those plays go wrong so many times, right? If Kiana gets in the pit, gets a multi-man ult, Yone's there to follow it up, it definitely could go bad, but Jackie definitely stepping too far forward, and I'm kind of with you guys on this journey of thinking it was going to be super one-sided after the early game. And then we have to be honest, you know, G2 did make a number of mistakes. Lebrov in particular kept getting picked off. Their bot lane got both picked off, and you're like, oh my god, wait, are they going to lose this? You cannot lose a game like this and take out an LPL or LCK team, but they were able to stabilize, and they were able to punish mistakes then from TES, like Hong getting caught a number of times. And G2, you know, were able to stay calm and battle through that.
Both have to work on their mistakes and their timing specifically, because as you say, Azael, I've seen this versus BLG, even though they won that game.
Fuck.
I've seen
Okay, I'll
this
be
versus
back.
FlyQuest in that last
Dude, I'm
game
kind
as
of
well.
hungry.
And
I
you
didn't
can't
eat.
make those mistakes at this level.
I do want to highlight, though, is that coming out of draft, I actually think that G2, thanks to their great early game, did come away kind of scot-free, because this draft should not have as much early power, and that's something that I am still worried about going into next game.
But it's even, look at the picks you've taken away from top esports. It's the Rumble, it's the Kiana, it's Cream's Yone. These are massive picks for top esports that they were not able to pick up a win on. The fact that G2 had a plan, even if it ended up a little wonky, actually came through here, and being able to now move forward in Fearless, knowing that so many of these power picks for this LPL representative gone, now makes things a little bit easier for G2.
Yeah, they gotta see if they can really make it work in Fearless into game 3, 4, and possibly 5 for G2. Very good that they fought back. They're still in this World Championship, and they're still on course to possibly win this series, but Top Esports in their own house has something to say about that. It's gonna be a banger of a game 3. We'll be right back.
The grass blade ready to go. Stun onto Jackie Love, connecting. Caps immediately going to follow. Redemption coming through, but it's not enough. Once again, Jackie is picked off. Cream coming in with the Q3, but it's just too late. Kanavi trying to make his way out, but he isn't able to grab the grass blade, and down he goes. G2 might not get the Baron yet, but they sure as hell take the fight.
When I was a player, if I was to like make a misplay, maybe it's my mouse, maybe it's my armrest, something feels wrong. If you were at home, you wouldn't do that.
The Infinite Precision Armrest is part of the larger Circulab on Stage standard initiative, aimed to bring your home or training room settings to the tournament stage.
이제 저뿐만 아니라 다른 선수들도 세팅을 더 원활하게 할 것 같고
가장 편안할 때 더 강력한 플레이가 자연스럽게 나옵니다.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Oh, I can make cup noodles after. Oh. Oh. Oh, fuck, man. I'm so tired from yesterday. Yeah. Did you cry last night? I cried a lot. Yeah, I was really sad, man. I really believe then that CFO could make top 4. But there's always next year, so.
Hey guys, it's G2 Scumon, and this is my first time at Worlds. It's been pretty amazing since we're out here in the bootcamp for the Worlds in China. I really love the vibes and the country in general. It's pretty different than Europe, and I like it a lot. A moment that I will never forget about Worlds is probably like 2022, DRX against EDG, the game 2 where Def was one hit away from winning that game. This game in particular gave me a lot of hope and this feeling of actually never giving up. Doesn't matter if you're 0-2 down, 2-0 up, you always need to stay in the moment, in the present, and
1 minute long
actually
video.
Focus on the next game, the next second. People were saying this version of G2 will probably not even make it, but we are now in quarters, and I really think that we can go even more.
What do you?
So thank you for your support, for you guys, and for my French fans.
What the fuck do you guys watch on YouTube?
No au revoir yet. 1-1, a tied-up series, G2 versus TES. This series, above all others, was one where you could tell me anything happened, and I would probably believe you. HLE 3-0 Genji, I got questions. TES 3-2, 3-1, 3-0. It's plausible.
I mean, Mundo goes where he pleases. Scumond definitely did that game. Nobody could kill him. They put the Sivir so far behind. Jackie Love, was unable to do any damage to him. So I think that was a really good look for G2 as far as progressing in the series here in Fearless. I'm very curious to see what other things they can craft.
You guys watch weird shit, dude.
Remember that the changes that G2 made was because they felt like that they weren't meeting their expectations on the international stage. It was that jungle and that support position that came in for G2 to replace Yike and Mickey. And as Scumon himself said, expectations were lower, especially after failing not once but twice in the finals in both winter and spring, to then winning out summer, the culmination of their year. This team very much has been a growth story throughout the year. And now 2 games away and they can find themselves in the semifinals, but Top Esports made some changes themselves. And I feel like one of those changes that we saw, that man in the jungle, is a man that is no easy opponent to get through. He's only been to the World Championship 3 times in his career, but 2 out of the 3, he made it to the semifinals.
Yep, looking to get there once again for Kanavi. And pairing with 369 as well. His buddy to do it with. Honestly, they were not the problem in the previous game. It was the other side of the map.
bot lane naturally where we're going to have to turn our attention.
I mean, strong winning lane seems to be the name of this series. Getting that early advantage is so important. So let's see how things shift as Top Esports choose to remain on the blue side.
And now
blue side.
Again, we're going deeper into the
G2's like the only team that prefers red side.
That means Caps gets targeted more.
Yeah, LeBlanc now taken away as well. I think good news for G2 that they were able to win, especially
it would take him like 10 years to climb.
Piloted it on the desk as well, but taking away some
I'm
of
a
these
pretty
more
big
niche
mountain.
picks that can often be difficult to play against when you don't see them as much domestically is a big win in the context of Fearless.
Jarvan, I think, is a very important jungler in Game 3 especially, because when we think about the most meta, the most potent, the most effective early game junglers, I feel like Jarvan raises very high on the list, and I imagine both these junglers will want to get their hands on the pick. But is it something that's worth first picking? Is it safe enough to pick this early in the draft when we know that, especially a team like G2 has so many creative
Yeah, we
options?
could probably see LeBron Nico.
I usually like seeing at least one immobile carry for the opponents to lock in to then be able to use it. But as you say, Kanavi has been insane with this champion. Definitely very, very scary if they decide to early pick it. Of course, Kanavi's been very scary on a lot of champions.
Yeah, he has, but you highlighted Jarvan, his most played in Split 3/Summer. And a lot of the mobile 80 carries, you know, off the board.
Well, Ezreal is the biggest one, right?
Kai'Sa as well,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, Trundle is still available, so that one's definitely pretty high priority.
Sion also up, which means we may be in a situation where, you know, an early Trundle denies or at least warns against an early
So
Sion.
this could be the Kled Trundle type of draft that we could see from G2, depending on how confident Top Esports is to blind pick the Sion. And I think picking the Trundle is a really smart adaptation, because then it deters the Sion pick away from G2, and it still allows Top Esports to get it for themselves.
G2 is an awkward position to be in, right? Sion has been so consistently high value, kind of, unless you can 100% shut him down in the early game, which is technically what TES did to G2 in that first match in Swiss. This is a champion that feels kind of this inevitable front line that will be hard to deal with, but with a Trundle locked in, G2 may be forced to give it away.
Poppy also got through the bans this time around, so as we progress and we start to see, you know, dash carries actually picked up, have to remain cognizant there, see if they decide.
Dude, Javin's Prime Minister. I don't even know who the fuck the new Prime Minister is.
And it seems like the read that you had, Vetty, talking about pushing lanes, lane dominance early on. And
I'm
this
gonna
could
be honest,
big.
dude. I have
Locked
no
in.
idea.
Cast your minds back. 2024
Oh,
MSI.
Ivern. Let's
it
go.
was Yike on this Ivern. Double 80
You know
carry
what?
compositions
I fuck with
for
G2's
G2
drafts, man.
and Top Esports helpless from minute one.
Cast your mind back a few hours. We were in the back room saying,
Ezreal
does Skip
Karma?
play Ivan? We were going back to logs. Yeah, he's got a
But
few.
Nico's open. Did he go kill Nico?
I wasn't going to go back to like, wait, does he play?
But I mean, I didn't expect it in Game 3. I saw that Trundle and my instincts immediately went to, I think Ivern could really be good here, just because it facilitates this idea of a strong pushing bot lane. But I don't think Top Esports have responded poorly by going for the Ezreal Karma. They've gotten a bot lane duo that can look to match this Caitlyn with good range, good safety, and good wave clear.
Ivern is one of the champs that's always so annoying for Trundle, though, because it does have so much safety that can lock him up.
Now, if you are an OG fan of
Parlay's
LeBron,
cooked.
you love to see this Thresh. If you are a 2025 fan of LeBron, it's been cursed. Multiple high-pressure LEC finals and clutch games, the Thresh was brought out. It failed.
Maybe Nico wouldn't be
catastrophically.
too
Not
good with
entirely because of
Ivern,
the
but-
pick, but this is a massive sign of confidence for the G2 support, and we're going to have to see if it pays off.
Wow, okay.
So they already locked in Caitlyn. That's why I was like,
he wants to play a champion
confused.
that he is extremely comfortable on it. He has a long history on it, and we'll see how it performs.
Where are you on that scale, Vedius?
Pessimistic.
Okay.
I think that Thresh is just kind of a bad champion, if I'm being really honest.
That's my guy. That's my guy. Yep.
And I think that Karma just has so much poke.
Yeah,
the
Karma
problem
is
with G2 right now is the
tough
lack
lane.
of lockdown, I feel like, that they need for a champion like Ezreal. And for Top
Like,
Esports,
I mean, you could
think
probably
they
just
wanna
swap
try and
it,
stack
but
up the range. They want to make it as difficult as possible.
if you're gonna lane
for
swap, then
G2
why
to
would you
close
pick
that gap.
Thresh? You know.
The question is, what direction do they go? I think removing the Sion is a good adaptation. The Jax, a comfort pick for Broken Blade on the top side, also removed from Top Esports. And you can see how the approach, G2 trying to remove some of the more traditional standard meta things that can just be synonymously
Horn
strong
and
with
Sion
what
gone.
Top Esports already have. Top Esports really targeting some of these comfort picks, the LeBlanc, the Jax. I wonder what else to look to try and remove from G2's pool.
Yeah, I mean, TES are showing pretty dang good poke comp, and so poke comps are worried about the hard engage, so Kled definitely makes sense with all those Kled comps that G2 did run. But Trundle Pillar with Karma and Ezreal is like a shooting gallery of poke damage towards the mid game. See how effective they can be with it. Root Collars and Death Sentences from
Dude, I don't know what
the
they blind pick here. They have to blind pick mid or top, right?
When you've got the extra speed that TES have.
Nope. It looks like a relatively safe blind pick for the G2.
Hey, Renekton blind.
And the Renekton, of course, synergizes nicely with the Root Collar from the Ivern. As TES now debate on what their final 2 picks are going to be. Now, as much as I'm skeptical of the Thresh, it's important to highlight if G2 can pull ahead early on, Thresh is a fantastic champion at snowballing lead the hooks that can come from Fog of War. That said, the range discrepancy between these 2 teams right now is starting to feel enormous.
Again, I just love the poke comps that are centered around Trundle Pillar. Trundle Pillar is just such a good ability at setting them all up, and so Hui makes a lot of sense here for TES. We've seen 369 with amazing Aatrox.
I mean, we saw it in the Swiss game. We ran it side by side with the Shy replay that we all know
seen
is
a lot of
cursed.
Aatrox,
And I'm just saying, they looked pretty much the same.
They only had 2 different champions in their first game here in Swiss versus G2. Instead of the Hui, they had Orianna. Instead of the Ezreal, they had the Yunara. But
really? Caps' Silas into this much range does... You know what, I question the Lucian. Great pick from Caps. I mean, what you've got is... Ivern has a lot of champions to support, whether it be Caitlyn on the back line or Silas / Renekton on the front line. Silas both and Renekton are great skirmishers in their ability to...
Dude, I think G2's draft is actually kind of nice here. I just don't like the Thresh
make it
pick.
difficult for them to play. But again, top esports have a huge amount of range. And I've always thought one of Renekton's biggest struggles is closing that gap against champions like Hui and like the Ezreal.
Yeah,
but I'll see how good Ezreal Karma is.
Pretty heavily.
Dude, Ezreal, like,
really
it's either like super good or like super bad.
Discrepancies here. I feel like the pressure on G2 was
it's very
snowbally. Something that is going to be able to close the distance and get the engage, and that is going to be difficult for them to accomplish.
They have the Silas, they've got the Renekton, the Root Collar. Still going to be so hard for them to get on top of these key targets. And again, game 1, all about early domination. Game 2 for G2, the same, through that Lucian Bard. Game 3, the advantages in lane have often been the key component of who comes out on top.
It might be overcooking, but I mean, G2's drafts have always been like weird, but
G2,
successful.
They need to find one again. They want to fire back in this game 3.
1-1, game 3.
If G2 beats TS, I swear I need
first game.
Trust my gut.
The hope died a little bit for EU fans.
I don't know.
But then G2
I trust
back,
my gut.
And we find ourselves in a tense series.
Sometimes copium is very bad.
We'll be one step closer to the semifinals at Worlds, while the other will fall further behind and closer to being sent home. G2 with position on the bot side of the map. We have to bear in mind the split map. Both AD carries want the support of their junglers. They'll be contesting for that push, and we'll see if either side try and fight for early enemy jungle control.
Let me remind you, in the game in Swiss that they did play,
training against your own team? I know, but like, I actually got into the copium a lot. I really thought CFO could do so much better. I think any other day CFO would have done a much better job. I just think they kind of underperformed against KT. But I mean, cause BDD and like even Peter, they played really fucking well, so I don't want to like discredit their play.
In the early stages, then
that's a better draft. I kind of want to see G2
here setting up for a similar game plan.
And it is important for TES to find
EU fans,
because as much as they have the range advantage,
EU fans molding over
G2
bad
have a lot of
performances
CC.
was always funnier. I mean, most funny is NA fans, right? Because they keep believing that they are like good.
Pick the right angles. Early lane should favor them. Rob obviously can get early access to the death sentence, but Karma Ezreal, I mean, it's been an oppressive 2v2 for 10 years of League of Legends at this point.
Lebrov needs to mitigate the incoming damage.
Like, I don't find EU fans that annoying.
Fighting over the push.
Like, there's some, like, you know, nationalism and stuff, but I don't really pay attention to that.
As expected, to try and make use of the Karma Ezreal poke. Same thing in mid lane, though. So G2 are going to have to deal with both mid and bottom. being kind of weak points as far as the push goes. Sylas, of course, always has the opportunities for going for all-ins when you have an Ivern jungle. And that's the one thing Cream does have to be a little bit careful of.
Nice trades there from Cream, though. Punishing Caps when he can. The farm from Caps, pretty solid overall, as Broken Blade at the very least has push on the top side of the map. Those hooks from Lebrov, there's going to be one going wide, and that gives that bot lane that extra push.
Also remember how quickly Ivern clears. So first clear, you always have to be worried about the Ivern early move, because you do have this extra time over pretty much all other junglers with the
3 minutes and done, dude.
Clear, and he's going to use that time to go towards mid, as we were talking about, trying to help Caps out, maybe with a possible all-in.
Instantaneous fear. Could use the despair from Cream just to make
yeah,
sure
but Caps is pushing in.
To at the very least push out the
hard to
wave.
gank Cream
for himself, but Kanavi now looking to punish. Cream still moving in. Root Caller going to hit. Root doesn't quite connect. G2 are able to walk away, but obviously playing a little bit on the edge there because Trundle can do so much work in those early skirmishes.
And the other part of this is that you know this Ivern's been chased up to the top of the map. So that allows Hong and Jackie Love here to continue to try and throw out some poke and try and wear down on the Caitlyn and Thresh extra potions that they have. Currently, Lebrov is dry.
I do think EU's good. Like, I think EU's better than NA, but because like Swiss draws and stuff, and we saw, like, for example, G2 is like the second best team in Europe
as they continue to focus.
when they went to MSI. So like, I hate when people don't factor in like first seed versus second seed. Like NA beat like, you know, like the first seed would beat the second seed from EU, but we never saw first seed from first seed except for that one time with NRG.
Avoid as much damage as possible. Now,
like, also, like, for example, FlyQuest was second seed at one MSI, but they didn't qualify to playoffs or top 8 because he lost to PSG.
Still waiting for that cooldown though, might not be able to finish it. Does not want to go under tower. One more auto.
Wow.
Skumond manages to seal the deal.
Beautiful CC combination.
Losing against HLE Genji in T1. Yeah.
Ivern and G2 grab first blood again.
I really didn't think that Broken Blade would actually have the damage to secure that kill, but they're
it's
just
just
able
that, like,
to secure it.
KT, you know, yeah, they were losing to, like, T1, Genji, HLE. It's like the playoffs,
around mid lane.
you know, they got third seed, but I think they would have been the fourth seed in reality. They didn't get that upset against Genji. Because I don't think they would have beaten T1.
To risk it. Instant flash comes
So that was my
in,
thought process. And also the Swiss format
to try and counter jungle.
is kind of bad for KT. They didn't really beat anyone good. They beat TES, but TES didn't look good either.
This champion gets a little bit of a lead.
So I thought, you know, the bottom teams would be KT, G2, TES.
So getting that Renekton ahead early, a nice advantage for G2 that should set up Broken Blade for success.
Yeah, if G2 can.
But we couldn't play against TES, so we would only be able to play G2 or KT.
Then they can
and I thought KT was the second best option.
Something they have to be very careful of. Again, they get the resets right back out. You get the early Dark Seal plus your Lucidity boots here. So Skumond definitely
TES beat CFO. Though we lost to AL and HLE.
Allow these roams back and forth.
Hansama, flash forward from Hong, looking to lock him down with
which, in my mind, AL, HLE are some of the best teams in the tournament.
W going a little bit wide here as Hansama tries
okay.
to back out.
Wow, Hansama just lives forever.
Lebrov ready to body block as well as Cream is moving forward, has access to the ultimate.
This is probably not good by Lebrov.
The shields.
Oh, he has to flash out.
Lebrov is forced to flash away. TES with control of the bot side rivers. There's an all-in top. Dominus already used by Broken Blade.
Okay.
369 on the way out with the Whirlender. Should just be able to walk it off.
That priority on bottom lane, though, is going to result in full river control for TES. Kanavi goes off of the dragon to look towards mid instead, but there's no flash on Lebrov.
Kanavi now level 6. Caps level 6 as well, moving in right into Cream.
Okay.
Able to find the 1v1 as Kanavi now starting to run. Caps
nice lantern.
Kanavi forced to use the subjugate to stay.
Did not have the damage?
Debating if he wants to commit to this, but it's
oh wow, everyone's coming. Never mind.
Caps quick dash out with the abscond. We'll just be able to retreat, but both sides fishing for these angles, looking for these plays.
I really thought Caps would commit harder, but he has much better map awareness than I do. Realizes that the bot lane of Top Esports is ready to collapse. They can probably collapse quicker than he would be able to get that.
Yeah, that's why I never believed in the FlyQuest hype, because I didn't feel like they beat anyone that was like
He's going to steal the
worthy,
Karma
I
ulti
guess.
just to connect the Mantra Q to interrupt Cream's base. Nice little play there from Caps. He's not really going to have much mana though. This Cannon Wave going to force Cream to stick around for a little while longer, as it's actually bought time for Hansama to make his way towards mid.
Brav going to use the Lantern to bring Hansama into mid lane that much faster.
How accurate was my tier list, actually?
Not even that will get denied, so good lane assignments from G2, good use of the Lantern once again.
It was
I
a scary
tweeted so
situation in
much.
the river there, hung with great
Usually I don't tweet at
awareness
all.
that tether range, as long as he flashes early enough, Hansama wouldn't be able
My
to
top
escape from.
8 teams? Yeah, I didn't have KT. I had KT at
He
9th.
was so close to getting a big kill onto Hansama.
So that was
but
wrong.
as
I
you
had
highlighted,
BLT at
Vegas,
3rd, so
the
that
use
was
of this
wrong.
lantern,
I
something
CF
we
at
haven't seen,
4th,
it
so
feels
that
like
was
in
wrong.
years. Coming to full effect here in Game 3 of this best of 5.
What is it? BKS at the bottom. Oh, I had Huckies at the bottom as well. That was kind of wrong.
He can feel so powerful.
Yeah, same thing for Caitlyn and the Caitlyn traps. Nice little brush line here.
Oh, overall not bad.
The quicker stack up as well. Lantern safety is still there. Nicely done from G2. All 3
Poor team that lost to KT.
acquired.
A bit of a
Hey,
misplay there though, as Hansama
let's go.
and
G2 better than CFO?
both Skumon and Hansama were
I
in
would probably
awkward
have to say
positions
yes
there.
after
Skumon
watching
loses
this
his
game.
flashes, 369 ultis.
And they're traded. Infernal Chain's mission.
Although I do
369
think
doesn't wanna
CFO
push
and
them
G2
further.
are pretty close.
Cap's going to quickly get away to safety. Has the TP available very soon.
A CFO friend of
Keep
mine
your
was
eyes on the
saying
minimap,
how
though.
next
The
year it was
rotations
quite
seem to
likely
come through
that
from
the
G2.
roster would be gutted by
This time around, it
LPL.
looks like they wanna
Also
send Caps
possibly
back to
LEC,
mid. They wanna
LCS.
have
No,
Hansama
not
go
LEC,
back to the top
LCS.
wave.
People
Dragon, it seems G2 is more than
or
happy to
overestimate how
concede.
influential
As 369
LEC,
is, now
LCS
fighting up
teams
against
are.
the G2
Like
bot.
LCS is not paying
This man
money
is clearly
like in the
very
past.
comfortable getting the short end of the
And
stick.
also a lot of
See
like,
now,
you know,
likely has the lane
like Eastern players that go to those regions just end up
don't
like
wanna stick around, don't wanna
ruining
push
their
the advantage,
careers.
Instead want to match lanes with G2. Moment of indecision.
Like, because we saw Bo, right, in LEC, and people were just saying, like, oh, Bo's overrated, Bo's shit, Bo's disgusting. If Honky went to LEC, the same thing would probably happen. They wouldn't have, like, good infrastructure. They wouldn't know what to do. They would try and make Honky play like an LEC player, and then he would not do well, and then they'd just be like, oh, he's just shit. It would just have, yeah, that's my opinion on, like, LEC, LCS, dude.
Yeah, should be able to just grab the dragon there for TES.
Yeah.
Top side. Getting some turret plate money. as
Civ players
G2
don't really
continue
speak
to
English.
Apply pressure though.
But that's like Korean imports, right? But with the Korean import, you kind of like know.
This should be an uncontested objective.
Like
Ivan
China,
hovering around
Taiwan,
mid lane means that
Japan,
369 shouldn't
like
feel
Korea are
he's in too much
similar, but
danger.
still different.
Hansama
And
LeBron
plus
with
the
his
language
fish for poke,
barrier.
and you can see
Like
the
we
edge
kind of saw
ult as well.
Evie,
Coming
right?
through the top lane, trying to thin out that wave.
He
Also
took a while to
threatening
come online.
G2's bot lane in the
Like
event
I
of
think
dive,
towards the
but
end, Evie
Lance
was
is more
looking
than
pretty
happy to just
good,
play
but
for
at the
plates
start,
right now.
it was
Despite a
pretty
difficult
bad.
first few levels, right, where Jackie Love and Hong are able to put all that pressure down, Hansama and G2 have been able to bring themselves back in this game.
LPL teams? I don't know. I don't think
to take
so.
away some of these camps. Lebrov is there with the lantern.
Oh.
Can it get him out this time?
Oh, how many pink was they putting down?
Gonna fall, but gonna go move with the fancy footwork just in time for Jackie Love to
God
snipe out
damn!
the kill.
They put down 3
Triple
wards.
dropped plus extra bodies on top of the lantern. Good luck clicking that thing. Zoom in all
Like,
you
so
want.
from my experience,
Skumon
like,
takes his own root
top
collar
teams
into
probably
his
would not
death at the Gromp.
get
Yeah,
them.
really a big
And they
misplay
wouldn't
there
go
from
for a
Skumon. He
bottom
doesn't
team. Because,
respect
like, we saw,
top
like, in the
forces.
past, like, bottom
Likelihood
teams.
to swap to
Like,
try and
bottom
match
teams in
this bot
LPL
lane.
are like bottom
And,
teams
he
in
ends up
other
getting punished for
regions.
it.
Where
Hong
it's
in a
like,
great position.
you go, you look
For now,
bad,
top
everyone
esports,
calls
they
you
have
shit,
advantages
you
in
know,
terms of gold on the bottom
your
side of the
value
map.
goes
Jackie Love
down,
picking up
and then
that
you
kill,
can only
very
join
valuable
other
for
bad
this
teams.
Ezreal as he continues to work towards that Trinity Force.
And while Broken Blade does have you know, a decent individual lead, 300 gold, 369, now level 9. Big break point for the Aatrox. Maximum
What?
rank of
I'm
the
not
Broken
wrong.
Blade allows him to just essentially spam it infinitely.
Ejong Waka went to freaking UP? Yeah.
Individual matchup
Dude,
is
okay,
going
but
to be
they
a
went
bit more
to UP,
difficult,
and I see a lot of
know what
comments
they
saying
can do when they
Wako's
find
shit,
those
Ejong
root
is
cars.
shit.
They have this short
When,
range
like, in my
competition,
opinion,
get the
Wako's
setup, but
pretty
so
good, and
hard for them
Ejong
to
is
find
pretty
those angles.
good.
They're not pushing out these waves. First, however, Hansama remains a thorn in the
Like,
side
your
of TES
value
at the
goes
top lane.
down. Like,
Jackie Love, not in a great
Doggo was in
position
a
to
similar
all in, so
situation, right? Looked
just
good
to
on
accept being
BYT,
pushed
went to
in.
LPL,
Notice
joined the
an
bottom
experience
teams,
difference
you know, got fucked
built
over
up
by
between the
BLG
two
with their
sports.
Uzi, like, set up.
Brov, a few more
And then,
minions
like,
and that
everyone
will
just
become level 6.
wrote
There
off
it is now
Doggo and just said the doggos
Hung
shit,
has spent a lot of
you know,
time
he's
hovering
not
around
good.
Jackie Love to get what farm he needs. Kanavi Running into Skumond.
Yeah, Walker retired. Yeah.
Not gonna stop
But I
too
just mean
much
like,
here. Skumond just
do you
lays
think
down another brush to
do
keep
you
the
think
vision.
Ejong would get on a top half team
now in the
after
darkness, Jackie
his
Love.
performance this year?
Long have to be careful here. Lebrov, the threat range. They're gonna risk the blind hook instead. Knows that if they
Like, I would
reset,
be
they'll able to
surprised
fast
if he
push
joins the
this
top
lane out and
half
very
LPL
likely
team.
take
Like,
down
we're
the
talking about
steering
top
tower.
8, right?
Looks like it. I don't think there's
Or
much
top
that
7,
Esports
fuck
can
it,
do
whatever
as they
you
need
want
to
to
get the
say.
reset through. The objective's in a bit of an awkward spot as the first dragon was taken very late.
No,
Herald actually
you
gonna
would,
spawn
but do you
before
think
that second dragon, 2 minutes away.
Weibo would take
Maybe
someone
both
like
teams will set their
Ejong?
sights on it.
Like, the thing is, like, that perception of, like, you're on a bottom team, you look a lot worse, that hurts your value.
With these first item completions starting to come in across the rift. Navi low hover here shouldn't result.
Like, the only
in
reason
too
why,
much,
like, a top team like
but maybe
BLG
Cream
would
can
take,
get
like, a bottom half
a little bit of
player is
pressure.
because they have issues,
Cream
right?
having
We
that
saw with, like, you
individual
know,
lead. I guess the question
Wei
is,
losing Shun,
if we go late,
losing Wei, like,
we
we
said
got
earlier the
Beishuan,
range
we
advantage
got
for TES
Shadow,
would be
like,
hard
they're
to
just,
deal
like,
with. Is
panicking.
keeping it this close favorable for TES?
I mean, I just feel like
JDG
it
took
depends on
Xiaoshu from
RG2
disband
gonna be
RNG,
able to
yes,
land some
but
of their single target CCs.
JDG
You know, they have
would not have
the
wanted him
Silent
if
Stun, they
Ale
have
and
the
Missing
Death
were playing
Sentence,
well.
they have
Those are like
Reactive
panic,
flashing
like,
and single
like, oh,
target
who can we
stunning
get? We'll just
somebody.
get anyone
And
we
then
can.
Caps, if you're looking
Because
at
Ale
stealing
is
an
not
ultimate,
playing
is he
well.
gonna, you know, try and steal a Hui ultimate to try and make use of the big AoE slow?
Like, because that was like
TES,
mid-season
I feel like they should be
changes.
able to just keep up pressure, and they are at least gonna trade top side for bottom side pressure.
We'll see. I mean, like, I would be surprised if he joins the top half
There's a lot of
team.
tools to protect Hansama. Not quite able to work through that objective quickly, even with the power of 3 grubs from the plays early on.
And I think Top Esports want to keep this going. Even with the grubs advantage that G2 has, they're going to commit to the recall. Really can't afford to approach the
CFO
wave.
would
He
probably
has his
not be able
ultimate
to
try and
match,
protect it,
like,
but Cream is on his way as well. TP
S
committed.
tier
Cream
or
forced on
like
the move
top
as well.
3 in
I think
LPL
sees the
probably
TP and all of
outspend
TES just call the play
CFO.
off.
After that, it gets more
Rob still looking for a bit of a hook here, but just posturing.
finicky.
Not going to be able to find the angle. TES playing really well on that side wave to force G2 to respond.
And a nice
LPL's
catch
limited
from
salary
369
cap.
as well. He's already going to
Yeah.
get the push out. G2
Like,
have committed
orgs like, you know,
5
like
members to the top
NIP,
side.
they don't really
wanted to
pay
use
well,
the
right?
redemption
Like,
to
for example,
interrupt the back,
JDG
but
would
the
pay
prediction
well,
of where they were
BLG would
didn't
pay
quite
well,
come
top
through.
esports would pay well.
It should be an easy cross map for Top Esports.
But is top esports going to get Doggo over Jackie Love?
The problem
I don't know.
for 369 is hook. He doesn't realize that there are 3 wards on the
IG
backside
has
of the
2
map.
Koreans, so they
TP
can't.
is available for Caps. TP is about to come up for Broken Blade. They could look for a very deep flank to get a collapse.
I don't think
on
any team would throw the
369.
bank at Doggo Honkyu, for
Also 20
example.
seconds away
Yeah.
from that Mountain Drake. TES were able to grab the first cloud. Instead, G2 happy with the Herald. See if Caps wants to burn the TP down to this bottom lane tower. Instead, it seems like he'll be happy to catch the wave wherever it's at. TES, though, see an easy angle to
I
set
mean,
up
there are
around
years where,
this
like,
Drake.
LNG, for example, would, like,
G2 aren't gonna
spend
have
high, but, I mean, they didn't
bot
spend
cryo.
this
It'll be
year,
difficult if they
right?
want to contest this. I think more likely that
UP
they just give it
didn't
away.
spend, I
think
mean,
it's
I
the
don't know when
trade.
last
My
time they
question
spent,
is,
but
are they going to try and send 3 people towards Cream at the moment? We have LeBron
like, I guess, like, you know,
wall here
a lot of
to
teams
see
go
if they can
up and spending
pressure
down
this
and
way.
spending up and spending down. So, like, you know, they have 1 year of saving, so the next year they can spend high. Like, there's a lot of teams like that
Mainly because
in
369
LPL.
spent so much time isolated in the side lane. Cream doing the same. They both have about a half a level lead. As G2 pushing this top wave in with the Heralds. Not much the Top Esports can do to stop it.
Ulti onto Broken Blade.
Caps has to be so careful here. He is completely isolated from his team. And of course, when I say that, that means that he has to fight.
Playing on the edge. LeBron obviously moving into the mid lane, as is
JG.
Hansama.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Too far forward. Has
Like,
Skumon
JDG
to
spends a lot, right? But they
Not just
have
one redemption
Scout
Vedius, but 2
and
ready to go.
Pays. So they'd have to get rid of one of them
Yes, I think pretty okay with this.
for
trade.
import rules.
Obviously, they had already lost the Herald, so losing a tier 2 on top of that isn't unexpected. Are still able to get pressure bot as well as the second Drake.
There's going to be so
Wait, I guess if
much
we're talking about
healing and
mid
shielding
80,
in
I
this
guess
game,
JG could.
with the setup
But I
here.
don't think
Question
they
is,
would
are
have
they gonna be able to keep people
the 3
in
other
long
positions, because
fights?
their main problem was, I mean, mid was a problem, but top and support, I thought support was kind of bad.
You know, we've got a lot of speculation. We talked about in draft how it feels Top Esports' composition has a lot of range. They're very easy to play out, especially when
LNG,
contesting these
NRG,
neutrals.
RNG,
But
or EG would look to
G2,
restructure
they'll
at
be
bad
relying on
year.
finding these flanks. They have
With the
Ivan
discount
support
teams.
as well.
Yeah.
Right now,
I mean, there's a possibility,
board, both teams will be prioritizing
EDG would
their items.
spend, but I
Second item is
doubt
being
it.
worked across the board for both sides.
It's also not about just spending
This
money,
Ivern,
right? Like, even
it's
if
a
they spend
champion that
high,
throughout my
like, do you
career
think
I've
someone like Doggo
underestimating
wants to go
how
back to
much
LPL and
scaling
play
he
on
really
a
provides.
dysfunctional
And often we see
team
him
while
paired
getting paid
alongside
mega
other
bucks, like
enchanters
I
or
don't
engaged
think
supports
so.
even, but I'm just thinking about
Yeah,
Caitlyn
RNG is
with
on
an
the brink of
RFC
bankruptcy,
with
so they're not going to be a
an
thing.
Ivern on top. That seems quite scary to me the later this game goes, and we've seen that type of combination pop off before, so really, who knows how this late game or mid to late game will play out.
Like, players, you know, they want money, but they also like winning,
gets first set up on that
right?
objective is in such
That's
a
also a thing you have to
fantastic
keep in
position.
mind.
The rush, the traps, the ease
Essentially,
of
like,
hooks when you know someone is
I
going to
think
walk
if
into you. The general lack
if an
of people who
LPL
really
team
want
spends
to
more
face
money
check or are
than
comfortable face
CFO,
checking on
plus
the TES lineup,
can go to like
see what
international
you said
events
about
like
the Azure
MSI
range, the play
and Worlds, at least Worlds, right? If they can't go to Worlds, then you're just like, what the fuck am I even doing here?
It's also in these mid games where G2 is
So
the
that's
type
why
of
I'm
team-
just
I mean, we
thinking
saw
like,
it in,
okay, well, top,
game
BLG,
one where they
you know,
can
maybe
just get
IG,
caught, you know, because right now
like
there's no
AL, those are
real
like some
objective to play for.
like
Mid is not an
options
easy
team
objective
players would want to
to
leave
siege on.
CFO for.
And so I'm very
But I
cautious
doubt
about how G2
those
play the
teams
map
want
right now
these
because
players,
you-
and I doubt they
your
were willing to
priority
like
should just
spend.
be soaking up as much farm as possible. Caps is slow pushing bot wave to scoop as much farm as possible. He knows he doesn't need to
$1 million,
push
$1 million. Yeah, but $1 million on like a
because
shit
there's no
team
need,
is
there's no
not going to
objective
make
that
you
he
feel
needs to be
better.
present for, there's nothing that he
Because at
wants
the
to
end of the day,
enforce.
these players are
Meanwhile,
pretty
top side of the map,
competitive.
Cream is just gonna quickly come
Like
out that
there
wave.
are certain players that are like, you know, washed or like, you know, oh, I just want to retire.
Caitlyn is happy
They'll
to
take the $1
work
million
to
and just be
really
happy on a
end
bottom
game
team,
crit
right?
builds and fully fill
But
out.
a lot of
Hansan
players will be like, yo, I'll take a pay cut if I get to play with
potential
Caps.
as
Like that's
these
just like a
crit
thing.
multipliers do start
Like
to
in the
come
past,
and
TSM would be like, yo, I just want to play
put up the
Bjergsen.
extra brushes,
And people just
you know,
join
for him
TSM
to
no matter
headshot
what
from
because
as
of
well, and all
Bjergsen.
the healing and shielding that they have to kind of kite backwards. He can become.
But
this
no one's gonna
Caitlyn
be like,
turret
oh man, I can't
as
wait
we
to play
progress
on like
deeper on into
fucking
the game.
LNG. So I can be bottom of the map and just get fucking fisted.
Chase, flash away from the abduct. Knows that if that single piece of CC hits, that Daisy very likely means there's nowhere else to go. So flash and ulti
I just want to see how to play
Kai
Kaiwing. Of course,
32
dude.
seconds ahead of that Otacon spawning.
I would be surprised if these teams immediately try to force the Otacon, but that Dragon looks like a juicy target. 369 with his flash unavailable could be the target of an
no.
unsuspecting pick.
So
so
the
much
way
more from the
Asian
side
teams
lane. That
do
vision control on the side
roster
back very much in
changes
favor of G2, but the
is
opposite
they
is
usually
true.
wait
Top
until
spirits
after
on the top
Worlds.
side. Good river control, wards littered, making it very difficult for G2 to see anything, and that's giving Cream the safety to push out that top wave as well. He's pushing as deep as he can.
So
That top
CFO
tower,
hasn't,
remember, earlier,
and
took a lot
with the
of
players
damage.
as well, haven't done
Now he has
anything.
to back away. Hung
Because we were
running up towards
in
the
Worlds
top
till
side,
yesterday,
providing more
right?
information and vision. Kanavi just going to start this one off.
They still have no vision.
Like for example,
control here through the
PSG
Tribrush.
or
There
and
we go.
DCG haven't
Now
done
we're gonna take it away,
anything.
and of course, this is the
Even though
difficulty
like
for
they're
G2's
out,
phase
but
checks.
you have to wait until
Into Cream,
TCS
into
is done with
Jackie
Worlds.
Kanavi already pulling the Otacon back. Doesn't want to be too close.
Kalen's backing. They have no idea.
One player
Now
takes
they
it,
suspect
one's taken to the
TP
airport.
coming in from 369. Might not have flash, might not have ulti, but there to back the team up on the objective.
There's
If
no
they don't
open
have Caitlyn,
spots,
They cannot
dude.
fight. So the timing window here for Hans Watson.
Dude, we just lost yesterday. What the fuck?
Objective.
And credit
Stop
to
gutting
TES
my
recognizing
team.
the strength of their own composition, that they had enough control on top side to go for it, not waiting for deeper vision, happy with just that Tribrush.
Yeah, I mean, just fantastic setup. Completely suffocate the vision from G2. Have full control over the river, and then they use the Mantra E to speed through the river, head straight towards the Dragon. G2
last year in
is
BLG
just
lost World
watching from
Finals.
the top side after the Otacon has already dropped. Kanavi's going to be cheeky and even look to steal away the blue buff. And I
Yeah,
think
but wasn't it like
Kumon in no position to respond.
roster
Might be
talks
the
and plans
third Drake
and the
to
plan the
TES
way home?
immediately
Yeah, but that's
following.
after Worlds though.
This could be the fight. Broken Blade's going back to buy.
Caps on the side, but spotted out by TES. Knockup is good.
Like Western teams do it during Worlds. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, sure, there's re-signings, right? And tryouts, but there's no like signing of the contract during Worlds.
Have much effect. Hook connecting on the Hong, but LeBron stuns himself
What
to
the
throw it
fuck?
down, and it's a secondary bolt from the skies.
Oh, they're
to
getting
knock him down.
fucked!
Caps will fall as well as
Jackie Love,
fearlessly
lethal
shifts
tempo.
forward.
The Jackie Love engage.
HLE night rumors? Those I don't think those are actual rumors.
And they They take down Lebrov, they take down Caps, and they will take down the Dragon.
Top Esports are playing with their range flawlessly. G2 cannot approach at all. They suffocate G2 away from the vision. They take apart their
Yeah,
HP,
it's really nice,
and they
fake.
catch
It's
Caps-
like
they catch Caps
it
out
was
of
someone that
position.
was
This
like
is why we thought this
potentially
rush
going
could
like,
very
oh,
well
let's
be a
make another
liability.
HLE super team. Who would you want?
Shift right on top of it, as long as you have
And how much
confidence
would
to
you have to
dodge,
spend? It
the
wasn't
hook
like
shot, but
actual
It
leads.
started out with Caps being the one that was a bit of a
Hey,
liability
Vale,
here.
self-promoting.
No flash, chunked out, so they know Silas is out.
Can we fake the kid of the post and no shit poster?
Lebrov, he's looking for a hook.
Oh, the tweet
He
is
does
deleted.
connect it onto Hung, but
I
then
saw it like
it's an easy
it wasn't
chase
it
down from
in
Jackie
Japanese or
Creep.
something like
They
that. Someone
secure a
posted in
pick. They convert
Japanese.
it into another
When I
one.
saw it, I was
And
like,
again,
oh,
like,
this
the
guy's just
question
like
comes back,
fucking
how is
around. Like he
G2
wasn't like
even really
leaking
start these
anything.
fights? And the way is,
He
they
was just
have
like
to
doing
be on the
hypotheticals,
objective
like how
first.
much would you
They
have
need
to
be the ones
spend
forcing their opposition into them,
for like
controlling that
Knight to
space.
come to
But they
Korea,
haven't been
and would
able
it
to
be
do
worth
that this
stuff
game.
like that?
As Top Esports goes to Soul Point.
You have a
And they find a
Viper?
surprise pick.
Root Collar over the wall. Broken Blade immediately going to stun him. So
Oh!
much damage. Barely gets a chance to push the subjugate. And likely still going to fall. The shutdown is
dying
there.
still.
369 running, but the second Root Collar crucially does
Roster
not connect.
talks jar
So
appears.
G2 gonna be happy with that single pick.
TES can push mid
Posting
as
a
a
bullshit video.
countermeasure,
Yeah, but
honestly, yeah, whenever you're
it wasn't
down,
like
go into
yeah,
the
people
enemy
just
jungle and look
misunderstood
for
it
a
as far
pick.
as I know.
They do find
It wasn't
at
like
least
supposed
one
to be like
here, some money
leaking.
back getting Kanavi, but
At least that's how I
it's
interpreted
a
when I
little
first saw
bit
it. But
late.
I didn't think it was a rumor. Like, what the fuck kind of rumor would that be?
Siege the tower here, but
Like,
lot more threat onto Cream.
that'd be crazy.
He effortlessly deletes these waves. Daisy gives them a few more autos.
Yeah. Like, Jar, like, we're just talking about roster shit
Low,
and, like,
they're not going to be
it's
able
the
to grab
link.
that additional gold.
He can't finish that one off, but Cream quietly been farming away this game. He has a 1.1k
Oh.
lead over Caps.
Oh, never mind.
Horizon
It does
focused
say
on all that
rumor.
damage. Ezreal ulti
What
not
the
going to interrupt
fuck?
any backs, but this Ezreal just continues to get
I'm
stronger.
wrong.
Appropriate, given the skin. And I want to go back to what you said earlier, Betty, because you called out something that I think we haven't seen yet, which is neither side getting
What
picked off
the
too much. I think
fuck?
arguably
Never
the
mind.
Broncos
I
did
apologize.
catch him.
It does
Now
just
it's eyes
say
on G2, because
rumor
if
on it.
anyone gets caught on the side lane, the Baron is gone. But the scary part is, TES have so much control over the mid lane in this pit that they might not even.
Yeah,
need to
but
push
you
up.
haven't signed
Caps
anyone
is on
yet,
the long
right?
flank. Is this a
You're
good
still
one,
just
or
like
is
in
this a
talks with
bad
people.
one?
Like,
Caps
I feel
on the
like
side. Subjugate gonna keep him healthy
Eastern
for a damn
teams
long time.
wait
They
a
haven't used
long
it quite
time
yet.
before they sign
Caps going in
anyone.
to heal him up as well.
If you were like saying, oh,
Actually,
who's leaving on
down
CFO?
goes
It's like, dude,
Daisy.
none
G2
of that
bullies their
negotiations
way
have
into the
happened
river.
yet. See, yeah, no, not yet.
Well, they will.
Like
get a bit of
PSG,
vision for
DCG all
themselves.
have
Caps
not
is
made
gonna go
any
back to
like
top lane to
final
push out that
decisions or
wave.
signings.
Broken Blade is even rotated
Unless
up.
if it's
He doesn't have his TP
like
available,
you know
so
renewing
he's wary of a
contracts.
fight
That's
breaking
about
out.
it.
Caps is still
Signing a
pushing those
new
to close
player
out that
usually
wards.
does not happen until
GT, they're
after
just kind of
Worlds.
looking for picks right now. Of course, that mid wave is such a difficult one to see.
No idea who's
I'd be
even
shocked
available.
if
Yeah,
they
that's
just
why all the
started off
teams
the
wait.
bat. But Broken Blade now going to go back to bot wave. G2 have to retreat because he does not have that TP available.
Caps does get the ulti out of Kanavi.
It'll be a
Already
link
burned the
after
flash
the game to
before.
see how
Caps'
bullshit
flash
it
will
is.
be up soon, so potential summoner spell advantage for the side of G2.
I mean, a much
Only
slower game
6?
than what we've seen so far in this series, but a very well
Oh,
controlled
please,
game
Jar,
from
don't make
Top
fucking
Esports.
6 roster
The objective
changes.
control has been incredible. The way that they've been pressuring with their lanes has been good, and patience is the most important thing with a composition like this, and they've demonstrated it in abundance.
DLC
and if you
exploding
get an
internally,
Ocean
aren't
Soul
they?
on a comp that has so much poke damage and
Oh,
so
yeah.
much speed to disengage.
I'm not sure
like,
actually.
I don't know how you make your fights to
Thank
actually
you.
kill them. So this Ocean Soul to either side just adds tremendous sustain on
I want
what
success.
is already in the game.
I
And
do
you can
too,
see-
dude.
We talked about how much healing.
Listen,
in this
if
game.
you're gonna be
Healing
in
reduction is there
PCS,
for
I don't want you
TES
guys to
have
fucking
AoE reliably
suck
profit
ass.
across the
That'd be
team fight.
fucking
G2's only bit
depressing.
of healing reduction is on Broken Blade, and doesn't really, unless he's in the thick of it,
The
isn't gonna
on
be
is
profiting
gone?
a lot of those crucial targets.
Probably.
And against an Ocean Soul, this might be a bit of a nightmare for G2. Again, you're already outranged, and now when they hit you with something, they heal. That's just not a great position.
I mean, I'm personally very worried about a Hui level 16. You get the extra rank in that ultimate for Cream, and the team fights are just so hard to
Crowning the
play.
ground
For
0.
everybody except for
Oh
Hansama,
no!
because the rest of G2
We're
are
on.
going to be plumping.
Yeah.
The Brav.
Oh.
He just completely isolated himself. Flat forward with the play. Broken Blade ready to come over the
Whoa,
wall.
what's going on here?
But Jackie Love is still standing.
They're fighting this? Dude, LeBron is dead? Okay. Dude, Hansamas is shooting everyone. Oh, there goes Broken Blade. Oh, Hansamas in trouble now. Oh, Skewbon's dead too. Look at that fucking damage. Oh, machine gun! Oh my god, they're trying to give him the quadra. They fuck up because they try to give him the quadra?
Still on the hunt, even though
Dude, I think they fucked up.
It does not matter. That is going to be TES awaiting the arrival of their
got
Ocean
eliminated.
Soul.
Damn!
It does not matter the year, it does not matter the game, it does not matter the team. The LPL Aatrox comes all the same. It is the fear of all European teams.
He's going to bro.
Comes up
Dude, listen,
in this team fight. A triple kill secured, a soul secured.
I don't want that to happen.
G2 find a flank into the fight, but it still was not enough as Jackie Love and 369 navigate the fight beautifully.
And they can endlessly start up Baron. They have Ocean Soul. They can sustain forever.
Dude,
Skewmark is
on.
so far away on the Ivern. Steel is very difficult. Okay, Lantern can get him closer. Is the miracle here?
Well, BLT decided one jungler.
Okay, getting lower. Caps waiting over the wall, taking a bit of poke already. Root down from Skewmont. All D's coming in. LeBron getting lower. 369.
Oh! Holy fuck! Just go straight into Skewmon.
Kanavi remains on the Baron. Caps hoping for a desperation
Ocean Soul
steal,
OP. Ocean Soul OP. Ocean Soul OP.
Work. The Ocean Soul, the Baron empowering TES as they take the objective. Hansama, Q connecting, Infernal Chains, it's beautiful from 369.
Top Esports deny the steal from G2. Top Esports is hunting for more kills, and Top Esports is looking to go match point in this best of 5.
Lantern there, but TES running G2 down.
Oh,
Caps
they're
finally
so
going
fucked.
in, but that's not a 1v1 you want.
Dude,
Jackie
I thought...
Love in melee range, fist fighting the Silas without fear. And TES
I really thought this
inside
was
the
a good
base.
draft by
They've got Baron buff on. They
G2.
can just go for the rest of the buildings. Reset coming in from Broken Blade. Skewmon
Dude,
there.
Ocean Soul so
But it's not
P!
enough. 39 seconds on Caps, 13 on Hansama. The True Shot Barrage will not connect, but TES just keeping the siege going.
They're still full health.
One tower to fall. Broken Blade marked up by the Spiraling Despair. Trying to hold on to the
Oh
mantle
my God.
in the final moments as the last member of G2 falls.
There's just Barbie
Hansama there
KDA
just
now.
in time to watch TES move on
Oh,
to match point,
Hansama.
and they're making it personal as they take him down.
Kanavi flashing
Oh my
the
God,
JDG
dude.
sign right there. Him and 369 want it back in semifinals.
A 6-0-6 scoreline for Jackie Love. The range discrepancy was too much for G2 to handle, and Top Esports go to match point.
That they do. Incredible stuff from this lineup. A much closer early game, much more even. But playing their comp beautifully. Both of these teams have made mistakes in this series. Both of these teams have been caught
Mega
out.
overcooked.
Bouncing back beautifully as we send it over to the AD.
Top Esports get to match point. First, have their eyes set on that
Dude,
semifinal.
I thought that
in front
draft
of
was
their
pretty good,
whole
though.
Crowd and how did they do it? I think if you had to pick one reason why they were able to overcome G2 in this game, is it as simple as one missed decision by G2?
Maybe a little bit. I think it's always two faults in these situations.
Yeah.
I think that G2 was outmatched, had an opportunity to accept that.
Let's
but
go
instead
G2,
doubled
come
down,
on.
Because I think the initial setup on the first play that I think tilted, or we all think tilted the game, was all TES. I think they had a really good read there, and it was a very smart setup that then unfortunately led to the collapse of this game.
Yeah, I think it just all comes down to the Atacon play, to be honest. I think G2 had set up the game really well early. You get the early kills, you manage to set yourself up, but when you get to the position where you end up just window shopping at Atacon, it all falls apart.
You want to break my heart again in 4K?
Yeah, I'm very sorry, but we have to do it because I really want to highlight here, because TES are immediately full sending it on this Atacon. And the reason why is because if you look here for the Caitlyn, IE isn't done. That is a crazy spike. And right here, the battle lines are already set up. Kanavi can just do the Atacon by himself. And our real issue is not here. Here you're outmatched. TES identify that you're not able to do anything. But it's G2 still committing. They're still going. They got the IE and they're looking for the fight. But look at the Atacon. It's already gone. So now TES have first move towards the Dragon. You need two backs that still come through, and you're behind in double tempo. Just giving away Atacon, you could have gotten away if you traded for Dragon. But instead, now it's here, the entirety of TES set up on the river, Caps get found on the flank, and even with the double redemption, they again get pushed back. And LeBron
they got
tries
fucked.
to make arrow play, it doesn't work out, but that to me isn't the essence of it. They got straight up out macro 2 sequences in a row, and that was the end of the game.
Yeah, and especially when you've already given up this much space, like that is the worst possible scenario for G2. The way their composition relies on is we are going to control the space. You have to face check into Ivern, Q's.
You got fucked by that.
This is where you're at your most dangerous. But the fact you end up giving it all apart just makes it miserable to play.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the sorts of games that I have seen G2 lose is where they find themselves without much agency. Even though they're doing okay, they overplay somewhere where they don't necessarily have to. And conversely, the enemy is 2 steps ahead. And I think that's what Worlds is about and this high-level play is about.
And if you're a TES fan, you're like, see, I told you my team was smart. They could do it internationally. as well. See, this is what you see all year. And then the fact that they actually do it in the game is, I think,
favorite League of
that,
M.
at least on this one, as a TES fan, you're gonna be super happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I didn't even notice the elbow slam,
at least
dude.
from the beginning, might have had a chance, but this was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. You've already just
elbow
right in front of Seoul. We have this full send where LeBron ends up getting caught.
If you had unlimited money, what would your dream CFL roster be?
You had a chance, but it was the fact that you had to pull the trigger early because Top Esports were able to find the collapse. And at this stage, that game is already done and dusted. And it is heartbreaking because I think when we started this,
I think top lane I would want to get
a wonderful start, and a lot of that was coming off the back of Skewmon.
Alfari,
Ivern, which I think
jungle.
People a little bit unaware.
I would look at Kanavi
because he's only played it 4 times in his career.
Mid lane is
exactly
tough.
A champion you
There's a lot of
commit
good
to
mid
Skewmon
laners.
on, but in this sort
I
of
would bring in
situation,
leader mid.
They're copying their own homework from a couple of years
For
ago,
ADC
but the score has
support,
changed. So what are they supposed to do? When we go ahead now, the jungle matchup maybe Chronicler. I think
I'm gonna go with
coming into this matchup.
Uzi, ADC, and double lift support.
At this level versus someone
I think double lift can just roll swap and be a good support for Uzi. That would be my dream team.
Partially,
If I had
really
unlimited
seen
money,
both
of course.
teams make a lot of decisions in draft that feel a little questionable to me. I think this Skewmon
Gory's a good option.
Win. This was a smash hit for me.
You know what? Swap out leader for Gory.
But the early game pathing was good, which has been one of his biggest criticisms. I'm looking more towards that Silas for Caps. That for us didn't really hit the mark. I felt like there weren't a lot of great ults to steal. It didn't really seem to have the impact that he historically has on the pick.
If I want either of these teams to have success,
you gotta watch out, dude. If Alfari, Uzi, and double lift all come out of retirement,
did you happen to say success? Did you say success?
I think I put in one point for every reason. Oh, you know what? Fuck Uzi. Can I get my boy Yutapon in?
Controlling this early game. And Skewmon on the Mundo got that early game.
TFL's highlight for 2025 so far is Kevin joining in January. Congrats.
Had control of this game off the back of Skewmon once more.
You're welcome.
You were able to have that for G2. I think that's your biggest bet for Game 4. Otherwise, Top Esports, as long as Kanavi's able to dictate the pace of this early game, that is where they are most dangerous. And as they've just shown, they are more than capable of finding picks and more than capable of out-macroing G2 when push comes to shove.
I did hear that G2 will now finally move on to the blue side. So we're going to see a different plan in this 4th game of Fearless, which sometimes I think, shouldn't you be on the red side for that one?
I like the swap, but I feel like, for me, red side becomes stronger the deeper you go into Fearless. So
they must have some priorities that they absolutely want to drive
I understand the swap as well.
I get it. You got to try something else. You got to mix it up. Otherwise, it's going home for G2 Esports. Whether it is for TES, they are looking to
Vasily, Clid, Toys, and aiming.
Here and get that ultimate success on home soil. Surely.
Dude, what even happened to the Vasily guy? What happened to Clid? Clid was really good, wasn't he? Clid was really good, and then he joined T1. I feel like people call him shit, and then just disappeared. T1 ruined Clid. Do Doggo and Kaiwing have contracts till 2026? The contract database is not 100% accurate. Because apparently 1+1 contracts don't consider as 2-year contracts. Last time being good was like 2018 JG.
Much has changed.
Yeah, right? But then he joined T1, it was bad? What happened to him?
March with us and shake the earth.
He was on Hanwha. Wait, what? Player receives a 12-month suspension from all affiliate, and 18-month suspension Korean tournaments. Continue. Oh shit! I'm Okay. Since you're as unprofessional moral conduct, criminal offenses. What? Oh, fuck you, Sabo. I didn't know that about Clint.
There is much to be learned.
Oh my god. All right. My bad.
Techniques to master.
Dude, every player just has fucking mental issues. Nice.
The path of history.
This is League of Legends. Wow, I really like this player. Oh, you wait until you find out what fucking horrible crimes he's committed. You're just like, Jesus, dude. Yeah, I didn't know about the Clid lore. I was like I know about Silly and Toy aiming. I didn't know what Clid was there, so I was just confused. Man, how am I can't keep up with all this shit, dude. Fuck that, man. Fuck you guys. Fuck you and your stupid shit. How the fuck am I supposed to know how horrible all these players are? Ugh. Can't keep track.
누굴 만나도 이길 수 있다는 자신감 정도로만 생각하고 있습니다.
Break down my walls, but I won't rise again. 'Cause I stand tall in my environment. How could I ever close my eyes as they silence sins? They try to take me down with their violence.
Oh, they go back in! Bishop flashes in, and down goes Light!
Alright guys, I just landed in China. Let's go.
Play the local way, pay your way.
Have you ever seen the Great Wall at night?
Play the local way, pay your way.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Okay. Okay, listen, man, I'm gonna say Ripple aren't as bad as those other people on your list. Like, Bippo... I would not put Bippo on that list. Yeah, toys, I mean, it depends culturally, right? I feel like the others are way worse. Did you put yourself on that list? Dude, I don't
Welcome
go
back
outside.
to Worlds 2025 and G2 versus TES. We drop hot into picks and bans. G2,
Oh, we're just straight into...
after losing,
oh, okay.
have opted into the blue side and are looking to bring us to silver scrapes as the Jarvan, Aurora, Yunara, and Azir are already taken off the board.
Sion.
I know, but like, for example, in Asia, right, in Japan, weed is considered really bad.
With the Jarvan ban taken away.
Whereas, like, in America, it's considered okay. So it just depends culturally where you're from.
Top esports look to remove it with the Aatrox gone as well. Feels like some of the good answers. Yeah, and that Mordekaiser is screaming the priority on the Sion.
Also, yeah,
I mean,
I don't do
once
drugs, just
Trundle
smoke
has gone
weed.
from
Weed is a
fearless,
drug.
It is just everybody looking at those mega tanks. Sion, the premier one. Will TES be okay giving
Allegedly,
it over
allegedly.
looking for their counter?
I think it was convicted, but whatever.
Still
for legal reasons, this is a joke.
Okay, so this means Talia's now open as a first pick. Something that we've
Wait, this is the first time G2's on blue side? And they're doing it for game 4?
I think due to a lot of the more creative jungle picks, we have an unusual amount of solid junglers within the meta still available. You highlighted the Jarvan being banned. Pantheon, a champion that's dropped a lot in priority, but is still on the table.
What will that first pick be? Cheeky Draven hover. No, whoa! Draven first. I mean, we talked about how lane priority is important, but to lock in Draven first pick. Wow.
We were also saying we wanted more proactive gameplay.
Draven first
pick? We're going
pick?
to get it here. Draven instantly, and remember, you can
Yo,
lane
Doggo,
swap the
is
Draven up to
Draven's
the
first
top
pick
side
legit?
to go
What the
1v1 with
fuck
a
am I
lot of top
watching?
laners.
I really do love the Ziggs response, though. It's a very safe, good wave clear. I would prefer the... Okay, I'm a little surprised to see them shift in this direction just because I felt like Ziggs was such a safe option in response. Zyra Khan likely going to be the lock-in for top esports as they get themselves, at the very least, a strong bot side.
Jackie's most played champion in split 3. But obviously, the Ziggs felt like the safer pick. Instead, it seems like comfort is the name of the game. Excellent engage, obviously relative safety once you get past that level 6. But G2 really the team where we need to see more to understand the confidence in this blue side Draven first pick.
I mean, I just feel like you didn't need to be much more proactive. In the games where we have seen them sit back and be fairly slow, it has not looked great at Worlds. And so this is a look that I think is much better for them.
The
You get
Nico.
that is guaranteed action. Nico Draven here, so much power.
They're copying us,
the Poppy
CFO.
that we were talking about and has been left up is locked in. Broken Blade used this to solo kill Bin as the top lane Poppy. It could be, you know, flexed to jungle as well currently for Skumond.
I mean, you can flex the top, but who the fuck is going to pick something that will get fucked by
There's no way they
Poppy
voluntarily
top?
pick a Vi into a Poppy, though. That would be quite the surprise. Neferi makes a ton more sense.
Kanavi Neferi is pretty good.
Kanavi not afraid to play the AD assassins in the jungle. Zed, the one that comes to most people's minds, but was extremely proficient on this champion as well.
All right. Question is now, mid lane, I guess, becomes the focus as Cassio gets banned away from G2. A little surprised to see the Cassio ban come through. I'm trying to think what that could mean. Perhaps another...
Talia to me. I mean, you mentioned it at the very beginning.
Yeah, true.
But I think the Talia
you know how comfortable they can be
very
around.
high, you know, banning that out as well.
You imagine that would come through from G2's
Is Honeypop
side,
banned
as top
on
esports
Twitch?
will be the first to lock in afterwards.
I've never played it.
Annie can be the one to
Like people
follow.
were
So
like
yeah,
super
this mid lane
hyped
is
about it, but to
definitely
me
a
it just
target
looked,
from both sides.
it just looked like terrible.
The thing is, if top esports do lock in Talia, G2 still have LeBlanc. So they might be waiting for the Talia or the LeBlanc ban on the side of top esports before committing. Okay, so there's the Talia ban. But then it brings to the
Ban on
question this idea
Twitch?
of LeBlanc. I don't
Yeah.
love Poppy LeBlanc as a jungle mid duo.
Oh,
but
I just saw this
it
whole
is one
list
Cap's
of
comforts and go-tos
champions.
that we've seen so far at this Worlds.
Yeah. And really getting deep into Cream's champion pool. Annie, of course, a champion we've seen less of at Worlds, but was comfort for him. And
Yeah, I mean,
the
Annie
utility
Nefiri is a pretty
alongside
good
an
combo.
AD assassin jungler is usually, at least the very least, the conventional choice. Galio, also another champion who has been completely taken out of the pool because he was played top lane earlier in the series. So Cream's going to need to dig deep to find a solid angle here.
The Yorick targeted towards 369, something he's shown a decent amount so far this year. Victor, I mean, I was just thinking to myself, does it make sense here? I feel like it's a little slow for both sides, but with the mid lane pool going the direction that it
I'm
has,
fine with Victor.
It feels like that's just kind of one of the best options that
I'm not
you
sure what
have.
else you would pick.
Scaling mid, mage, very safe, good wave clear. But the question is...
I want to see that attack.
Oh, wow. Okay. Syndra now the lock-in for Caps. Obviously a champion who can be really frustrating to lane against. Considered incredibly vulnerable, but was buffed. 2 seconds off of the scatter, the weak cooldown. Makes her a lot more of a threat. Showmaker himself, that was his biggest complaint as to why we didn't see the champion more. Caps maybe feeling similarly as now the Ornn has come out too.
I love this. Throwing down the Syndra, having some kill threat level 6 on this Victor. This champion
Ornn would be really nice
no
for 369.
dashes to its name. It puts a lot of extra emphasis on the mid lane matchup here because either of them could be prime gank targets.
Nar!
And trying to keep track of the Nico can get very difficult as well.
You can hear the crowd getting excited of the prospect of 369's Nar. He's played a lot so far this year, and he's going to be bringing it out.
What the
I will say,
fuck,
though,
Sabo?
as good as it
What
is in
are
the
you
matchup,
saying?
I feel like G2's composition
Yeah,
all kind of
damn,
wants
this
to do the
CFO
same
loses,
thing.
and now
Hit
it's just
the
like
target that's
degen
in front of you,
time.
And with a Poppy,
We went from
ability to just
insulting
remove someone from the
CFO
equation,
to just
gain
talking
easy
about the most
access onto the back
weirdest
line,
shit.
and just their ability to start fights is definitely there. Whereas for top esports, they've kind of got a skirmishing jungler with a scaling mage, a proactive bot lane. I feel like top esports is comp.
When is Resident Evil Requiem coming out?
Kind of wants to do
I want to play that shit.
I mean, yeah, honestly, I want to see G2 getting this Poppy, early ganks towards Syndra, early ganks towards the Draven as well. He's got options there to be very aggressive, go Hex Flash Poppy, and try and put out some pressure towards the bottom side of the map. And just tell Broken Blade, you know, you're on farm duty up there. Buddy.
Yeah, I do like the TS draft.
369 Gnar is going to be annoying, but you know, try and exert the jungle pressure to play off of Syndra and Draven.
I think the other thing we have to consider is the potential for that AD swap to topside, because Gnar, while he is a ranged champion, that range is incredibly low at early stages of the game. And look, you've got an Ornn, you compare it with support. We've seen what it looks like when you just weather
Dude,
the
if
storm.
you fuck up on
Draven,
like...
Dago gave the world the recipe, and we're going to need to see if G2 are going to replicate that, or perhaps how TES
My
will
Steam store's not even
respond.
loading. What the fuck?
You can hear Shanghai come alive. It is match point for top esports. It's a bit disconnected, but comfort seems to be the name of the game as G2 try to bring themselves to match point, to silver scrapes with some spicy picks.
I mean, so one way to look at this comp from top esports is that Mega Gnar. We haven't really seen it much this year. It's a champion that has kind of fallen to the wayside, but as
Quick shots on Nightmare stream? Yeah, dude. Quick shot's awesome.
That multi-person ulti into a wall, the Victor combo on top of that, the layering of
Yeah,
the
they're
feathers.
they're having a
You can
G2
see
watch
the
party.
team fight potential that this top esports composition provides you with, and Kanavi hunts down a low health target, gets that initial kill, and then all of a sudden top esports have control over the game. So we'll see how they navigate through this early game, and we look back at their
and remember, top esports, of course, a team that has always been held in high esteem, but has always fallen short. 2020 was the last time they were in semifinals, the same last time that G2 was there as well. The pressure is on for them to close this out and to look convincing, because the competition only gets tougher from here. We already see an early level 1 evade, and it seems like Han Sama is being moved up to the top side of the map.
Yep, as we were looking for, they do the Draven swap, and they do use the Draven to help push Nefiri out of the jungle. Kanavi, though, he wants to stick around for a fight.
But I feel like
February
isn't Han Sama
27th
just
on
losing
my 6th
XP
year.
top lane. He will path up towards there now, but
Jeez,
so
will
there's
be a
one minion.
G2 cry party.
There's 2
dude.
minions, and that's 3. So he's just lost half a wave. 369 is going to clearly get level 2 first.
But have you read Draven's Q ability? Because it is very gross. Does a lot of additional damage, although the fact that Hansama's not able to get that auto off the ward down, I might be wrong, Betty. Perhaps level 2 power spike from Gnar.
What the fuck?
For 369 to
Yeah,
take
why
full
did he?
control.
And this jungle was split, but look at this. Kanavi is not done with it. The dog is back in his own jungle, and he's trying to sniff out the Poppy.
Kanavi's going gank
Skewmon now needs to make his way out. Kanavi still has access to the flash, so we'll take the big
Oh, he's
away.
getting
Hansama's
everything!
Level 2 as well, though, so he's starting to get a bit more control on the top side. Kanavi still with no red buff, but feeling much healthier overall.
I love that from Kanavi. You just grab your level 2 off your wolves, and then go back to just aggressively fight this Poppy. This champion here has so much damage
smite,
early
though.
on in the game as we see the root.
Blade rooted.
Broken Blade.
Not keeping him standing as LeBron and Broken Blade doing their best to hold on here.
What the fuck?
Jakulov not going to overcommit, but that's the heal down. Kanavi moving in, takes the camp away too.
This guy is just too good, man. And Neferi early on has so much damage threat here versus Poppy. Now he's got level 3 advantage.
Skewmon dashing through.
Oh my god, he's missed both Qs.
Yeah, crucially not going to.
It doesn't matter. He still wins this.
There from Skewmon, especially the Q2.
Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, really just great awareness from Kanavi. You're already singing his praises, Kobe, and I really just want to double down on that. As
is Neferi going to also counter this?
Poppy in the early game.
Kanavi coming to steal even more.
What the fuck? Skewmon's getting completely fisted.
Out of the jungle, and what started as a proactive level 1 in favor of G2.
Dude, why is Kanavi so good?
Well responded to by the side of TES.
Yeah, using the early power of the Neferi, and the roam over from Rakan just completely locks Skewmon out of his own jungle. Huge clap back here for TES.
Cream getting some very nice trades in the mid
Yeah,
lane as well,
Kanavi is
leveraging
such a
the
good
early
jungler.
power that Victor provides. Broken Blade finds himself isolated on the bot side of the map. Farm-wise and experience-wise, he's not in the worst spot. Still holds onto his flash for now after TPing back into lane. But so much of this series has been about early game
Skewmon's still level 2?
And G2 wanted to get off
Oh no, he's
to
level
an
3 now.
early
He's level
game
3.
lead.
Never mind.
They wanted to deny camps away from Kanavi. They wanted to isolate.
Oh, that was Nico. That was
369
Nico. Fuck me, dude.
Hansama
I
to
was
allow for this
confused.
Draven to ramp up, but that has not
Nico
gone
shape-shifting
the way
into
of
Poppy.
G2 whatsoever. Kanavi
He didn't touch blue buff,
creative
though.
pathing and nice aggression gets his team an early lead.
Like, Skewmon still hasn't his blue or ground.
As well here, so as Skewmon was able to take away second spawn of Raptors, he knows it's too dangerous to stick around again at those Krugs. And Kanavi, again, will be able to defend it and pick it up. Hung as well has come over to help out as far as the 2v2 goes here for 369 to allow him to safely pick up the cannon wave.
But a really solid start for the side of TES. You highlighted it so well. Making the most of the bot lane 2v2 advantage, getting Cryo, really shutting Skewmon down. Hung taking a bit more damage than anticipated, but we'll heal it back up with the Gleaming Quill, and the map state definitely heavily favoring TES at this point in the game.
I mean, the good news for Skewmon is that catch-up XP in the jungle is a very powerful thing. He's going to make his way through his blue buff now, make his way towards the Wolves.
He still hasn't gone back, though.
Between the two junglers is not that significant, but of course, Kanavi still has all those bot camps to clear.
And Kanavi also got a reset off, so you know, having the extra inventory here really helps out in clear speed and is going to allow him to clear out those camps you're talking about, plus then pressure for possible even early dragons for TES. Reset does come out for Skewmon, though. After his Raptor camp, you would assume. He tries to finish it up.
Moving over. Double daggers, trying to
take
a few.
Kanavi's an item up, dude.
As fishes for the angle on the heroic charge, but Kanavi will just walk right out. He's content. He's already got so many of his own camps, has some to return to if he so chooses.
Yeah, I mean.
And Conquer.
He just can't be stopped.
I just love the aggression from Kanavi, playing without fear. Even though his bot lane didn't even have that much prio, he's just like, hey, this Poppy really can't do anything to me. I'm not afraid to fight him in the enemy jungle, and maybe I can...
Dude, Kanavi, man, Lila!
Is quite uncomfortable with how this early game is going.
Luckily for him, though, he did just barely finish off and smite the Raptors.
369.
Excuse me?
What? He wanted to flash ulti and then decided against it.
I have to believe that was the plan.
Maybe
because
it was like
no buttons after flashing.
I mean, I was in middle school once. I remember you flinch, you lose. And credit to LeBron, he did not flinch.
Was it could have also been he was maybe typing timers?
Typing timers, fair, fair. Someone might have in all chat said D to dance. We can check that with production.
Let's investigate further. Rewind, enhance. Let me get the comms.
Yeah. And for now, we can meme about it. But if in the next 5 minutes he goes down, that's really going to hurt because he's been pretty comfortable despite laning against the Draven. Now, however, Caps just trying to clear out mid as best he can. Obviously, very easy for Cream to trade early on.
I mean, Kanavi was good on Kiana, but he didn't really get his chance to pop off that game. Mundo OP.
Kanavi very close to level 6. Once he gets his red buff, he'll be able to pick up that. The mid wave in a very awkward spot right now as it slow pushes towards Cream. Which means that... Oh, where are they actually sending Caps? He seemed a bit indecisive.
Dude, we're just seeing these two supports like hit each other for like all eternity.
And Broken Blade does have his teleport ready, so he
Lobro didn't complete support item though.
But since that rotation you're talking about delayed him, the Ornn is actually kind of slow to the bottom wave at the moment, and 369 is working away at a turret plate down there.
Yeah, like Hong has his support
so he's got the
item.
extra pressure already applied.
G2 though, taking the time, hoping that they can get control of the grubs. Have the Scuttle Crab down. Caps see some damage there. Skewmon potentially ready to flash over the wall. Look for the angle onto Cream to find the stun.
And then fight for his grubs.
Getting ready to fight, but they're at a man disadvantage for now. Skewmon and Caps on the way up. Remember, the Draven. The potential gold income from the stacks could be massive.
Here it comes.
Han's zoned away completely right now, and they
Broken Blade's moving towards top side though.
Gonna go forward. Hong
Hong missed.
Clever use of the heroic charge from Skewmon.
Okay.
Off to the side.
Hong.
The knockup is there, and Hong might just go down.
Oh, first blood.
And the first blood.
How much gold was that?
Kanavi wanted to steal away a grub, but he gets Ornn ulted.
Ornn called. Kanavi still running, zoned away from the objective. LeBron pretending to be a melee
Broken Blade.
They've TP'd Broken Blade up here, though, and that's just giving 369 free access to this bot tower. It is good news for G2 that they secure first blood and they get those grubs, but 369 on the meanwhile has nearly soloed this tower on the bot side of the map. It is not a completely one trade for G2, as still 4 members of top esports walk away from the grubs.
Yeah, you kind of trade a Cashin for Draven for a bunch of extra turret plates and further accelerating.
I don't know how much extra gold Draven got from that kill.
Going to apply. Plus, with the added benefit of G2 got the 3 grubs. So also the objective to their name.
But we look back at the play and the heavy commitment onto Labrov, I think, was a bit of an overforce.
Yeah.
Flashes to knock up Skewmon, but he uses Kanavi to get away to safety. The gravity field tries to slow G2 away, but Hans Sama gets the ult off Cream. Forced to back off a little bit as Labrov, level 4, very weak.
The spells, Kanavi. No access to the ultimate, so won't be able to chase, but they do get the flash from Labrov. Crucially, we've seen that the teams that are comfortable just running into the Nico, collapsing on her before she can start the fight, often have the most success. Skewmon now backing Labrov up as they take control of the Scuttle Crab.
G just played pretty well though, all things considered.
Low on mana, opted
for it is an LPL team.
How lethal the Syndra can be, but hurting in the overall mana department will be forced back.
Yeah, nice move here from G2. They use this Draven power on the bottom side of the map to push in bottom lane and guarantee that they can then shove Kanavi away from the Scuttle Crab and get the Dragon on top of it afterwards here. So really playing around the Yuntal completed Han Sama. Getting that cash in to get this item very early really helps out. You stack it up quite quickly here. And speaking of stacking, you know, Syndra is a real scaling champion now as well, since there's so much more emphasis on getting those splinters and keeping track of those breakpoints there for Caps.
Caps though, gonna get ultied up by Crane. Tries to zone away, just get control of
LZK-ish, just slow and calculated, home coaching, yeah.
4 minutes away from the major objectives, however, so pretty comfortable to do so as G2 continue just to leverage the strength of that Draven. Love that you highlighted that 700 gold might have been a pickaxe.
LZK teams usually do super well,
which
so
really does make all the difference in terms of whether or not TES can approach.
And on the top side, there's not much that top esports can really do to cross map. Jakilov finds himself in a similar position to game 2, obviously not as far behind, but being zoned away.
Okay, Jakilov?
Cleanse.
Pull back on the
TP
feathers
as well.
Excellent position for G2 to be in. And you can see Broken Blade immediately.
Yeah, okay, that was actually well played by G2.
It also makes the dive a nightmare for Kanavi. This is usually why we talk about split damage types being important, as we see Jakilov forced to ult, traded with Han Samas.
There's so much value for G2 being accumulated here.
Yeah,
And
that's
it all
actually
kinda
crazy.
stems from the early breakpoint they
Dude, this
achieved off
Draven's actually
Draven,
popping
'cause
off.
You saw the teleport down to the bottom side from 369. That allowed Broken Blade similar situation on top side. Where he pushes
Draven
that
first
minion
pick
wave in, and
is
Victor has to just walk
crazy.
his way up there.
How is this even
369
possible?
here. Safe. Level 9 though. Ulti available, as is the flash. G2, they've got Skewmon in the way, but they need to be careful not to go too soon.
Is he joining
Root does
JDG?
connect onto 369. They spot Skewmon now coming in. Hansama forced to flash
Okay.
away. 369
Oh,
manages to get to the wall.
Hong!
Flash forward, 2 into the wall.
What the
and
fuck?
Here comes
Oh shit, I didn't even see the Poppy ult.
369 playing with patience, punishing G2.
Oh, 369 is insane. He alley-oops into the wall for Kanavi.
Dude,
to
Hunk
clean
just
it
hit
up.
level 6
Comes
during that
down and
fight.
gets 2 kills onto the Nefiri. That is absolutely insane for a play that G2 had been waiting for and prepping for, waiting in the brush.
Excellent patience demonstrated by Top Esports, and getting that kill onto Hansama as well to try and slow this Draven down. Kanavi will pick up 2 kills. The superstar of this team being put in a position to carry is a great way for Top Esports to reclaim some control here in Game 4.
And Kanavi is going to become a problem. Hansama's strong, but for Lebrov, for Caps, the kill threat is massive, and how easy it is for this dog to dodge the cooldowns, dodge those crucial abilities. They're going to need to be careful on the side lanes. You can see the pings down now onto Caps. Kanavi moving down. Caps will see this coming. But Kanavi taking his time to move in. A nice backstep. Scatter the weak.
There's a rumor.
Eyes on Caps. 369 starts to stack the rage. Ulti's still not quite available.
The rumor is he's joining K-Corp.
Down because it's Broken Blade
Huh?
out of nowhere on the flank to secure the kill.
Top laners really want to be bot lane. They TP to bot, Broken Blade assists with the kill. He'll help his team get the first tower of the game as well. Cream will be left isolated top to pick up farm where he can. But was Top Esports now being the proactive players looking for a pick onto Caps in the bot lane. Turns as Broken Blade arrives with a good TP.
Yeah, the good TP. Ornn ultimate, they get the kill, they get the first tower. I mean, the next kill is going to determine the feats or the next objective for G2. They are very close to getting them. Top side here is kind of being answered and will eventually go down, so is at least going to be Cream, the victor, getting some extra money in recompense for TES.
Dude, I mean, they're playing really calculated and
Gold
slow.
is so close. First
Oh,
item starting to be completed across the board. Very different from the previous game where it felt
I'm
like
surprised
G2
Poppy's
were
actually
kinda compositionally being
like,
bled
dude,
out,
I see a
didn't
lot of
have
Poppy
angles
jungles,
to
and
attack.
it feels
Both
less
teams
effective than going Poppy support.
setting their sights on the Drake and the Herald. Perhaps just a trade of objective, but maybe G2 want to leverage the strength of this Draven to force a fight.
I mean, right now, the Draven isn't that much scarier than Jaculad is. Does, of course, have that BF sword, having Fulgon upgrading his boots. It looks like he's heading towards Infinity Edge, which I will say is a bit of a surprise compared to the BT that we often see. Caps not quite connecting those skill shots on the Hung as he navigates his way around that. But the vision battle begins once more. The Herald is alive. It's G2 to start off this objective as 369 looks to secure another tower for his team.
369. Gain and then lost.
Oh, they don't have ults.
1v1 after Broken Blade was able to
Or TPs, I mean.
First kill. Cap zoning hung off. Cream now moving
Wow,
in.
okay. Another feat of strength goes over to
Won't be
G2.
able to steal away the Herald. G2 are able to secure it in exchange for the bot lane tier 1 as you highlighted, and that is the feats.
My big question is going to be, how can G2 play side lanes later on into the game with this Gnar having Trinity Force already for 369? I know he is going to allow TES early moves on a lot of these objectives by pushing in one lane. There's not a lot that Broken Blade can do about it except kind of like collect the wave once it gets up to the secondary tower. And it does result in a Chemtech Dragon here for TES.
Absolutely, and Syndra is also not a great side lane champion. Admittedly, Victor isn't the best, but he does have that additional movement speed that he gets from his upgraded Q, which I do believe he has right now. So G2 kind of have to cover this side lane. They have to overstack, and they have to leave Broken Blade on the weak side of the map in order to really play through
dude.
these side objectives.
I should've ate.
Caps will secure that tower, equalizing us.
Teleport play here. They're trying to pincer 369.
369 starting to back up. Extra movement speed from the hyper proc. Ulti out. Not a lot of rage stack.
Oh, they
Not
missed!
going to find the angle. And
Oh, never mind. It doesn't matter if they miss.
Stacking. 369 living for an extra moment, but not nearly long enough. Cream comes down, but it's just too late.
Ooh,
Okay.
G2 bursting down just in time. Close to going
They
mega
missed
there,
a lot, but it
the
doesn't
teleport from
matter.
Caps is good. That's how they're going to attack the side lanes. They teleport this Syndra in. They 2v1 it.
They also get Cream's teleport, which is just an extra advantage.
Yeah, but I don't know what I want
for
to
G2.
eat. Like, I don't think I should order more food. I feel like I'm ordering too much these days.
These small swings back and forth. We're still waiting for that big
going
momentum
outside and
shift
grabbing food
as
is like,
objectives are still ways away.
Chopped cheese sandwich? Fuck, dude, that sounds good. I don't even know if that's a
Usually
thing
the
here.
make or break point for so many of these games. Remember how important the flowers are, how important that experience could be for Broken Blade on this Ornn. The items he's able to give out. For the side of TES, they found some good picks, they found some good angles. Kanavi is 2-0-0, but it just hasn't been consistent when it comes to these fights. It seems like G2 have been trading up across the board.
You can see Lebrov is hovering around bot lane. Jackie Love, he's looking for a bit of a fight, but Skumon will be forced to retreat, knowing that Kanavi is in the river. I've been keeping track of the gold, and Hansama is very close to his Infinity Edge. This minion wave should, in theory, be enough to get it for him. Wait, did he actually get that cannon minion?
I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to have to say yes as well. All right, he's going back to base, so I'm going to assume that he did. Empowered recall.
You can cook too, man? Yeah, I could.
Infinity Edge now completed, so that's a big spike for the Draven.
Yeah, his Yuntal is already fully stacked up, so he has the full crit from that, plus IE, very big power spike. 369 does slip away.
Nice escape. Jackie stunned. An extra second as he tries to turn back onto Caps with the feathers, forcing the heal out. The additional movement speed takes him away, but now he needs to be scared of Hansama.
They get the cleanse out from Jackie Love. It's a scary position for Desire.
I mean, it's hard, dude.
That he has to be cautious
I'm
of.
just
The
so
rope from
lazy to
Lebrov,
go
the stun from
outside.
Caps, getting knocked into a wall by Skumon.
It's also been raining a lot.
He has to be
cold,
very decisive
tired,
around which one he uses his ulti in
all the
response
excuses
to,
you can think
as
of.
G2 will be gunning for Jackie Love in these fights.
Yeah, and Broken Blade with the massive armor stacking here. So Jackie's going into very early armor penetration for himself. G2, I like this move with the Rift Herald. They have extra pressure towards mid lane.
And so much threat. You can see the
Dude, I mean, they're pushing these towers pretty hard.
Poke out Kanavi. Jackie Love, shorter range, all things considered, so can't really walk up to that wave without risking his life, as he doesn't have the ulti. He doesn't have the cleanse, and you can see it's hurting. Knock back into the wall onto Hung. Is forced to use the quickness. Taking his time on the blast cone as G2 remain laser focused on this mid wave. Kanavi waiting over the wall.
Can I hook you up with a job?
Look at bot lane though. Cream doing what he's been doing very well throughout this series, just playing through these side lanes, pushing out what waves he can,
sure, man.
collecting farm to get that slight edge over Caps. While he is behind
Yeah, I wonder
the goal,
how like
he holds on
weird
to the
people would be
XP
if I
lead.
just started
Caps gonna be a little
hiring
late to go
people
and
from
catch this
Twitch
wave.
chat.
Cream is already back out on the map.
And Caps has been stacking those splinters I was talking about pretty effectively. He's already past the 80 break point, and so he is almost at the 100
what's
for
up,
the
Moon? How you doing?
execution, for his ultimate ability. It's not going to be ready for the Otacon fight, though.
Skumon's already started this objective. The TP early used by 369. Both teams looking for a brawl.
No control.
I mean,
over
Cream
the
should just
opposite
be
side
poking
from
them
G2,
with
but it
E,
seems
yeah,
like they are
yeah.
concerned, happy to just force the front to back. Hung on the flank.
Oh my god.
No quickness
Just
available,
ult
but he
them,
doesn't
ult
have
them.
exhaust. 3K on the objective. G2
Okay, here it is. Oh! Kanavi got it! Oh, wait! Poppy died too! Oh, they're getting fucked. Otacon throw!
Delivering the objective to the side of TES.
Oh, there it is! Oh my god, dude, 369 popping the fuck off.
The Hyper Procs coming in, scout of the week. Pushing back.
Ooh, that
TES,
hits?
But G2 losing so damn much.
Yeah, G2's hopes come crashing down as Otacon
Dude,
is
that's fucking
stolen,
crazy.
And they are killed in retreat. I saw 7 HP on that Otacon, and Kanavi is able to get it. They also kill Skumon, pushing him out.
And it's Cream that gets the double kill as well. This Victor, a full level up over Caps, accelerating into the mid and late game. Top Esports, we were saying, what will be the fight that really breaks this game open? And I think we just saw it. Top Esports now with a huge advantage here in Game 4.
We take a look back at this fight, and again, as good as G2 looked before this, They make it look effortless for Kanavi.
And they saw the flank from the Rakan as well around this side, and then the Victor puts so much pressure, so much damage out. Flashing in immediately, Skumon trying to escape with his life, but he just burns down, and they could not clutch it.
I think G2 just played way too fast. They funneled themselves into this narrow choke. We go back to live.
369 likely to fall here. Caps laying down a good bit of damage. They're going to give the cash out to Han Sama, crucially. Big chunk of gold, 1,000 immediately into his pocket.
Second kill of the game.
I completely agree as far as the Otacon fight, though, Vedius. I mean, G2, they position themselves against this big wall. They kind of take away their own mobility options, and they put themselves into a very, very bad position. And they're the ones who start out the call must have been that they could, like,
I don't think
really
so.
quickly.
I don't think I've had English black or
the no ulti on
English
Rakan is what
black
I think they really
pudding?
wanted to exploit, which is why they weren't afraid of him being on the flank, but they just completely
Oh,
disrespected
what
the
the
damage
fuck
that
is
Cream could
that?
put down on a narrow choke point like that. And then
It
for
looks
Kanavi
like
to get
a
that steal,
burnt
maybe they even believed even if we lose
hamburger
members, as long as we get
patty.
the objective, it'll be a worthwhile trade, but they lose the Otacon, they lose the fight.
Okay.
And Top Esports, I will say they had a 2K gold lead. That's disappeared, but that's just because Hans Sama did cash in.
Hans Sama's printing money right now. He is causing massive inflation. This is all very misleading. But
Drayflation.
Yeah, Drayflation. The Coinbase gold grind. Obviously, the others is actually his passive gold. You can see he's already earned 1640 from it as Lebrov.
Okay, Lebrov?
Here. Chase coming in from Cream.
Kanavi's 3 levels up on Poppy. Oh no, on Nico.
G2
Never
don't
mind.
really have an angle to push any further. Just a trade of
I
abilities.
keep being confused, dude.
Lebrov able to walk
This is why
away
I'm not a
with life.
caster.
6-9 coming in from the flank though.
369.
Be able to burn him down.
He's about to hit Mega. He's about to hit Mega.
Kanavi there as
Can
well.
he get
Hong
in?
now has the ultimate waiting for the W from Skumon. Excellent.
Oh my god,
patience
Hong
with the
ulted for
Poppy on
nothing.
G2.
The TP is used by Broken Blade. He's gotten involved in the fight. He has his ultimate, but he's hesitant to throw it out. Top Esports just playing with their food.
I mean, health bar's just getting chipped away. The feather pull from Jackie Love.
His
The Death
blood was
Laser from
fat.
Cream.
What the
Hopefully
fuck?
Tom has enough life steal.
Is it good?
Back up, but neither side wants to pull the trigger on the engage.
But they get the TP out from Broken Blade, a big summoner spell. And we talked about how Top Esports, it feels like they have an easier time playing through these side lanes. And we're also seeing it in the experience. Top Esports pretty consistently in this series have just kind of been higher levels than G2, and it's because of how well they play through their side lanes, picking up what farm they can. But you look across the board, level advantage in favor of Jackie Love. He's very close to level 14. Cream with a full level over his counterpart. Skumon 2 levels behind Kanavi, who's just been power farming on the Rift. And 369 in a similar position with a level up as well.
And maybe taking the Otacon, all the experience
That
it
as
could have
well.
given
Yeah, the
G2
Otacon
could
helps
have
too.
balanced the scales,
Why
but
is
only
Hong still
put
level
these solo
9,
laners
dude?
Further ahead when it comes to overall
Yeah,
XP.
sometimes these supports, they're
Lebrov
just
is
so
pretending to be a
gapped,
melee
like
minion.
XP. It's like so weird.
Wasn't very convincing, but thought it might work this time around as TES. That Baron just a few seconds away. G2 Noah trying to get a bit more control. Lebrov tries to read the dash over the wall, but Kanavi not caught out. TES once again.
We have pick blood. Sorry, my bad. Holy fuck.
I mean, very
we have
tense
pick blood
game
here in Taiwan.
TES also have
I don't
so
really
much
like
armor
it.
penetration with a black cleaver completed for Kanavi, and the second item, Lord Doms for Jackie. They can actually just go right through this.
I think this is something you have to grow up
even with
eating.
all of
Like,
this
there's like a
Jackie
lot of
armor.
food that, like, if you don't grow up eating, it's kind of hard to like.
Extra bit of safety.
Your day is ruined? Why?
The Caps has, the threat that Draven has, the 3-item Draven, something that I think Top Esports will be very wary of. A minute until Dragon, the Baron alive, the tension that you're talking about, Kobe.
Keep
This
pretending,
is do or
Kev.
die. Top Esports.
Okay, my bad.
Initially find Kanavi.
How to roll?
We'll
No.
just dash back.
Is that even a thing?
Summer clearing out that vision. He's got to be very careful here.
That seems like some cowboy
Has to wait,
shit.
though, as long as Q-Man has access to that steadfast presence, it's really hard for TES to force a fight. Meanwhile,
$60
on the bottom lane,
US? That's not that
369
much.
Shadowing, waiting to move back into the wave, matched up against Caps. He's not feeling too bad, but doesn't have too much MR to his name either. As G2 ready to fight over the Raptors.
Will go the way of Kanavi as he continues to
Both teams are kind of just farming.
the
Kill
jungler
Dragon.
of Camps. Take what farm he can. He's going to look to take the red
Cut
buff as
down.
well.
Oh, there's a lot of things I need to do.
Camps as a cheat code. Can scoop that one up
for a few
They
moments.
don't have damage though, so.
No, it's denying the brief window of opportunity, but it is important, right? Red buff across 5 members at this point in the game is big.
Poke from Cream. Nothing to underestimate. You can see the health
Wow.
bars.
Kanavi already used the W.
Okay.
They see this opportunity to go
Gets
in.
3.
Instant
For 2.
poke is coming in for G2, but Kanavi still
Oh my god,
stands.
LeBron solo.
He is
Oh,
one in
there
the
it is.
storm, and it's Kanavi now
Here goes Hong! Oh! Let's go, Hong! Damn! Oh, he lives!
Top Esports hold the line.
Oh, they just threw the
engage
game.
from G2 does not set up the fight that they were looking for, and the response was brutal. Top Esports find 4. 369 is looking to take out Caps.
About to go Mega. One more hyper proc, giving him the extra movement speed. One more.
Oh! 369.
369 finishes the job, and TES will take the Baron.
We look back at
What
this
the
fight
fuck?
as G2 force
We'll
and
get players that
engage,
actually get
thinking
paid
that they
anything
caught
wanting to be
Kanavi,
coached by you. Why not?
but they can't quite coordinate.
It
Syndra
seems
is
cheap.
separated from the team. This connects onto 2, the route onto Kanavi. The ulti is good from the Poppy, but then they can't quite close the gap. We turn back to live.
Another fight breaking out. This time LeBron in trouble.
Lebrov?
369 there. Kanavi on a rampage. Baron still empowering TES.
Oh, I hate Liver.
They thought they had the angle. They thought they could kill the Nefiri. They didn't have the damage in the right place, and the entire fight fell apart.
I mean, Jackie Love and Kanavi, all they had to do was flash
Got me a
away,
huge
and that
fan
was
base.
enough. G2 then couldn't chase the rest of the fight. Top Esports played it patiently.
I don't know.
Very nice re-engage. And you have to
Like
feel
people
like
like
that
LS
was
charge
the final
more,
fight of
and
the
like
series.
I mean, I guess
6.5K
Veigar
goal lead for Top
V2
Esports, a Baron
has
as well.
been doing
Another
it a
pick
lot.
onto Lebrov. Things are falling apart for G2.
Ulti coming in from Kanavi. Goes intangible, and Caps just gets cut down. Everything connecting, the reset on the ulti there. Hansama not powerful enough. Skewmon tries to get the space, and it's the cash out. TES over.
Dude, how many? Dude, Hansama gets 3 kills, all of
still
them.
Mounting as the tier 2 falls. The
No
Baron
assists.
still there, empowering the remaining members of TES.
1v1 Tetris,
Just a
I don't even know
1-for-1
what that's
in the
thing,
end.
dude.
The gravity
What the
field
fuck
coming
would you
in
even
too.
do?
The ulti to follow. Hong with an ulti of his own, looking to lock down Hansama, who for now is untouched. The lifesteal is there. He's looking for an extra moment, but here
Oh,
comes
Hansama!
Jackie Love.
Oh my God, Jackie Love! Layla! Oh, it's over, right? It's over.
No man left standing.
Cream even lives, and TES, they are going to go inside the base. The Baron buff still on. They're looking at semifinals.
They waited 5 long years. Jackie
I feel like
Love,
Tetris is like half the fun is the
5 years
music.
since they've been to a semifinal. They don't want to wait any longer. They don't want to give G2 or Caps a moment to breathe. TES.
Can they end?
Take down
Oh,
Caps,
that knockup still
take
lands?
down G2. Strike revenge for MSI and move on to the semifinals.
Holy fuck. Rest in peace, G2. Hey, they took a game.
A single fight was all it took.
Oh, my pick'ems are completely fucked.
Esports outperformed in the team fights. Kanavi took control over the game, and TES will return to the World Semifinals.
I got 10
And
points.
Control is the perfect word here, the name of the game for TES. Slow and methodical at points.
Dude, look at my
but
pick'ems,
just
dude.
turning it
Look at
on.
my
The objective
pick'ems.
control,
Oh
the team
my
fights.
God, my pick'ems.
Well played.
This was pure cope.
About
This was
the
pure
home
cope.
crowd
But this wasn't.
here in
This
Shanghai.
wasn't.
A 3-1 victory
Oh.
was convincing.
I got
After
one
game
right.
two,
Thank you,
multiple
Genji.
members were getting caught. The haters and the fans
Oh.
alike started to wonder, is this going to
Oh
be
my
another
God,
collapse?
dude.
But you're so
If
right, they
AL
stayed
loses,
the
I'm
course.
so
They kept that
fucked.
composure,
I'm
even
so
in messy
fucked.
games,
I
even
got
when
10 out of
Hansama got the
160.
shutdowns, when the Draven started to snowball.
I'm so fucked on my
TES found a
pick'ems,
way.
dude.
They kept their composure, and they closed out the
I
series.
shouldn't have coped. I shouldn't have coped on CFO.
For G2,
I should have put
the
CFO
roster
as
changes
losing.
took them a
That
step
way I
further.
can say that if CFO wins, I can be
They'll
happy.
walk
But
away
CFO
with
loses,
an
at least I can be
NL
right on my
returning to the
pick'ems. I should have done that. I
quarterfinals
should have done that. I do it all
for
the
the
time.
LEC.
I do it all the time. But that
But this
one
will be
time
the
I
end of
decided
their
no.
World's 2025 run.
The end of their run, indeed. Yeah, we're gonna already start talking.
Like,
Sorry,
my-
Dracos, great cast on the day as we see Caps
Dude, I
bow
got
to an
all
audience
the
that
teams
holds
down
him in
here
high
correct.
regard, but he
Gen
probably
G
didn't
fucked
live
me.
up to his own
BLG fucked me.
expectations
And
when we come to
G2
this
fucked
best
me.
of five.
Can you
And we'll be able
believe
to
that?
talk about that a little bit later. I do first want to shine a light on the victors here.
Why did I
For
put? I should put
a team
HLE
that
up
has been
here.
heavily scrutinized when they have stepped onto the Rift internationally. For a team that has been doubted at times
My
in terms of if they
pick'ems.
could close the door. They really do in this one. I think their individuals stepped up.
None of these
and
quarterfinal
they
games
had
are
a
going game
sovereign
5.
And I think they did it in
Yeah.
the style that they were known for in the LPL as well, which was this control. They just take over a game. They are very solid when
Yeah,
it comes to
I mean,
objective setups,
we've
and
got
they
3-0,
approach the
3-1,
macro,
3-1.
and been able to find that success in these moments, and then letting the team fights come alive. And there was
Yeah,
a couple of
ALT1.
individual players that really stepped up across the team when it came towards
I
those
mean,
fights.
on paper, I feel like AL
should
should win, but you never know with T1. And plus, they played much recently compared to AL.
And they seem to be the team that was always making the better choices. They're the ones that are putting the pressure on the objectives. They're
You're
the ones
delusional.
that are going to autocon at the correct moments, setting up dragons at the correct moments. And I just felt like they played a really kind of calm, composed series.
Confident series, I want to say as well, because you're right, Maurits? You see that from a team. They kind of exuded as they were walking on the rift, knowing that, no, we have the right reads, so technically we should always win in these positions, and they did. I will say.
Anyways, guys, have a great day.
dropped the ball a few
I'll be
times
back
at some of
tomorrow.
these
I'll have more
objectives as
energy. I'll
well.
feel a lot better. Today was a tough one. I mean, yesterday was a really tough day, dude. Yesterday was so fast. We don't talk about yesterday. We're only talking about today. And yeah, dude. As always, go fuck yourself. I'll be back tomorrow, feeling a lot better. And hopefully AL doesn't get me fucked over. Hopefully AL can win, and we get to watch AL versus Gen G in the grand finals. That'll be great. All right. Take care, everyone. Peace, peace. I'm out.